The scene unfolds at Hamo Ridge, Qingshan Ox Mountain. At this moment, in Hamo Camp, two brothers are talking to each other. When the big boss was alive, our Hamo Camp was so prestigious. All the bandits around here had to submit to us, but as soon as the big boss died, the brothers scattered, leaving only a few of us. Meanwhile, the government troops are about to come and surround us. Relying on the strength of a few of us won't last long. Let's disband while we still can. At this time, a young man carrying 2 bundles on his shoulder passed by, shouting, "Damn it, the boss is dead!" Leaving behind only the new 18-year-old young master, and you're already talking about disbanding. Whoever wants to get lost, get lost. Now, I'm getting out of here first. Hearing this, the two brothers also invited each other to scram. The scene shifts to Cheng Dalei, who is now sitting on a chair, his head aching like it's splitting open. Countless memories keep flooding into his head. Is this transmigration? So what? I'm just a normal college student who was playing a game called Heart of a Bandit. Suddenly fainted and woke up here. The memories of this body and the memories of my previous life are merging. The mountain camp is under attack, this dirt room, and I've become the young master of the mountain camp. Young master Cheng Dalei recalls. The Great Wu Dynasty, 120 years after its founding, divided into 13 provinces and 108 cities, once expanding to the sea, with mighty soldiers stationed in all directions. But that was probably a long time ago. Today, the Great Wu imperial power is weakened, wars are continuous, corrupt officials are rampant, and the people live in misery and suffering, without enjoying peace. Those who can't make a living have no choice but to go into the mountains and become bandits. This is a world with countless bandits, and Hamo Camp is one of them. Back when the old boss was still around, Hamo Camp in Qingshan Ox Mountain still had some reputation, but not long ago, the old boss passed away. Countless brothers under his command also sacrificed, and the rest abandoned their belongings and fled. It seems that only I am left. While pondering, he suddenly hears a call. Young master, young master. Cheng Dalei turns around and sees that it is Xu Shenji. Xu Shenji is the mountain camp's strategist, a man whose wisdom makes people sigh in admiration, whose good plans can be counted on one's fingers, and whose dirty tricks are countless. Truly, only in a strong wind is the strength of the grass known. Only in troubled times are heroes revealed. I will remember this kindness in my heart. Young master, you misunderstand. They've moved all the stuff from the mountain camp away, leaving only the skinny horse that no one wants. I'll take it away. And your tiger skin. Take it, take it. Cheng Dalei said while sighing. Military advisor Shu calls out, Shu Lingshare, quickly lead the horse away. After we go down the mountain, father and daughter have to rely on it to make a living. A gloomy atmosphere surrounds Cheng Dalei. How am I going to survive alone in this strange world? Just when he doesn't know what to do, a hand reaches out in the space, slapping him like a thunderbolt, almost knocking Cheng Dalei off his chair. He shouts, "Who? Where is this place?" The scene at this moment is very hot. A very beautiful girl. A halo bursts forth, enveloping his form. The brave youth has arrived. The girl exclaimed. Cheng Dalei, still dazed, questioned, "Who are you? Where am I?" This is the system space, and I'm its manifestation. Congratulations on successfully activating the Bandit Heart. Suddenly, a beam of light flashed. Bandit Heart. Isn't this the game I played before transmigrating? That's right, no mistake. Moreover, I'm the closest manifestation to you. Our game begins. Beginner Carp Village. Desolate and deserted. Owner Cheng Dalei. Population includes the boss, the strategist, and the stable hand. Holy crap, how pathetic is this? After transmigrating, the system came along too. Cheng Dalei sighed. Current main quest. With only 3 people in the mountain stronghold, failure occurs, and the system shuts down if the number drops to 1. Quest issued. No turning back now. System integration commencing. Player exudes youthful energy after quest issuance. The current number of people in the mountain stronghold is too low. You must quickly complete the main quest. Retain the strategist and the stable hand. New quest. Your strategist and stable hand are about to leave. Retain them, using your most sincere method. Is that all? I can do this quest, but how do I get out? A very interesting question. Get over here. With that, the girl grabbed him by the collar, and with a whoosh and a loud voice, "Go!" Cheng Dalei shouted as he was thrown back into reality. He woke up panting. Was that a dream? Or a hallucination? Before he could collect his thoughts, the girl's voice echoed in his ear. "If you don't complete the mission, you'll be killed." Cheng Dalei took off after the strategist. Strategist, please hold your steps. Little boss, don't tell me you regret it already. The girl beside him paid him no mind, turning to her father and saying, "Dad, let's hurry up and go." That was Shu Lingshare, strategist Xu's daughter. Cheng Dalei asked, "Strategist Zhu, who is this young lady?" "This is Zhu Linggeber, my little girl. She usually tends to the horses behind the mountain. You've never met her." Truly, even heroes can't resist the charms of a beauty. Seeing the beautiful woman, Cheng Dalei's eyes lit up. At this moment, he began to use his glib tongue to persuade the two to stay. "Father-in-law, ah no, strategist, Shu, sir, without you our mountain stronghold wouldn't be what it is today. I can't let you leave." Shu Shenji thought to himself, "Don't expect me to budge," then replied, This old man is reluctant to leave too, but an old-timer like me doesn't want to become an extra burden for the mountain fortress. Cheng Dalei retorted. A burden? Is military advisor Zhu scolding me? Now that you've said it, I absolutely won't let you leave. If I have food to eat, I definitely won't let you and your daughter starve. Moreover, where would military advisor Zhu go after going down the mountain? The whole place below the mountain is full of soldiers. There's nowhere that would take in military advisor. Military advisor Zhu replied again. But there are only 3 of us on the mountain. How will we survive in the future? What's there to be afraid of? Live off the mountain if you're on a mountain, drink water if you're by water. Bring me my weapons, I'm going down the mountain to fight right now, Cheng Dalei said while thinking to himself. Looks like the mission is about to be completed. I wonder what the reward is. Besides that, he still can't stop thinking about Zhu Lingshi. I wonder how old she is this year. Does she have a fiancé yet? Then he imagined the scene of himself in white robes, fluttering in the wind, holding a peerless sword, stepping into the mortal world. Just thinking about it made him as happy as winning the lottery. At this moment, Zhu Lingshi came over with a very heavy look, muttering as she walked. So heavy, Cheng Dalei panicked. Is this my weapon? Can I ask? Does Auntie have steamed buns? At this time, the system girl appeared. Mission completed. Retain the military advisor and stableman. The reward is the Dai Yu secret manual. Not bad, not bad. Rewarding you. The system girl said that it originated from Cheng Yaojin's Di Mu. It is rumored to have been passed down by immortals in a dream, created by a constable picking his ears and digging his teeth. Scene change. Military advisor Shu said to Cheng Dalei, Little fortress master, it's too dangerous for you to go down the mountain alone. Cheng Dalei looked at military advisor Zhu with a suggestive look. Military advisor Shu, seeing this, replied in surprise. Me? At this time, Cheng Dalei said, no, it's not just me, it's me and you going down the mountain together. He said with a serious attitude. What, do you have any objections? Military advisor Shu, seeing this, knew there was no other way, so he had no objections. Let's go get our horses. A new mission appeared. Before dark, complete the first robbery, complete the mission, and receive reward. Number 1. Failure results in death. Military advisor Shu, with an unhappy expression, was about to ask Cheng Dalei something. Little Fortress Master, Cheng Dalei interrupted. No, from now on, don't call me Little Fortress Master, call me Great Boss. The two looked into the distance. Cheng Dalei waved his axe high, looking very majestic. At the foot of the mountain, at this time, there were 2 young heroes leading the way, along with a group of soldiers leading carriages. Steward Huang called the person with the spear on his back Lin Xiaogaxia. There are bandits here. This time we are escorting the young city lord's fiancé. We must be more careful, Lin Xiaogaxia replied. Bandits. If they dare to come, I will let them know the power of the spear in my hand. It's been a peaceful journey. My spear is already very uncomfortable. At this time, Cheng Dalei and Shu Shenji were also walking in despair because it was almost dark, and they still couldn't see anyone to rob. Shu Shenji said to Cheng Dalei with a tired face, Great boss, it's almost dark, no one will come. Let's retreat. Cheng Dalei only replied with a grunt. Wait. Lin Xiaoyu and his crew are still on the mountain road. Steward Huang is a careful man. So even though they haven't encountered any obstacles, he still reminds Lin Xiaoyu. Thanks to young Master Lin's protection along the way, but this time, escorting Miss Su to Haoxi City to marry the young master is a big deal. We should still be careful. A soldier shouted. Steward Huang is too cautious. With Qing Cheng Lord doing business, who would dare rob us? Don't they want to live anymore, big wedding? The soldiers whispered to each other. Little do they know that Cheng Dalei and Shu Shenji are watching from above. Shu Shenji counted the number of people, and found that they were quite numerous compared to their 2, and said, Big boss, let's bail. Too many people. I understand how you feel, Cheng Dalei replied with a heroic look. Military advisor, don't be afraid, I am willing to live and die with you, Shu Shenji quickly replied. But this old man doesn't want to. Seeing Lin Xiaoyu's group getting closer and closer, Shu Shenji thought in his head, of the 36 stratagems, running away is the best, I must find a way to escape. He approached the horse's rear and said to Cheng Dalei, Big boss, I think the horse's butt is very smooth. Cheng Dalei didn't understand Shu Shenji's meaning, and asked, Huh? What? Then he held the sword in his hand, and stabbed the horse's butt hard. The horse, in pain, thought it was going to the afterlife to meet its ancestors, and rushed towards Lin Xiaoyu's group. Only now did Cheng Dalei understand his intention, and only managed to shout, Shu Shenji. Not only that, he added, robbing you is the Hamo gang, Hamo Great King of Hamo Mountain. Run, if you don't want to die. After saying that, he turned and left with a scheming look. Sorry, little boss, I still have to raise my daughter. I will burn enough spirit money for you later. At this time, Cheng Dalei's horse was still rushing forward. Sitting on the horse's back, Cheng Dalei did not forget to scold Shu Shenji. You old dog. Not only did you sell me out, but you also gave me the name Hamo Great King. How am I supposed to face anyone with this title? The horse finally stopped. Now Cheng Dalei is facing Lin Xiaoyu's group and Steward Huang. In that moment, Cheng Dalei felt screwed by the system. Maybe this is a good choice. Steward Huang looked at Cheng Dalei with a confused expression. You're alone. Cheng Dalei quickly came up with a way to play him, Zhu Shenji answered Steward Huang's question. You've got the wrong guy. I am not Hamo Great King. I am the jade-faced scholar Zhu Shenji. Leave the toll if you don't want to die, the soldiers shouted. This little thief really came to rob alone. Then they laughed loudly. Steward Huang shouted. Soldiers, silence. Do you know who we are, young man? Life is not easy. Don't seek death. At this time, hearing the noise outside, Miss Su opened the curtain of the carriage to see what was going on. Seeing the extremely beautiful girl in the carriage, Cheng Dalei couldn't help but exclaim, I didn't expect there to be such a beautiful woman in the world. He was mesmerized by Miss Su's beauty when the system smacked him hard on the head. Wake up, you pervert. Only Cheng Dalei could see this system's avatar, Cheng Dalei said, full of resentment. Could you please not hit me on the head every time you show up? The system girl said. Looking at your hopeless state, I'm just helping you calm down. The difficulty of this mission exceeds your current strength. You can choose to decline it. Then, the system issued a secret mission. Snatch the Madam of the Stronghold. Accept or decline. Cheng Dalei thought to himself. Secret missions are rare, but when they appear, the rewards are huge. Besides, just thinking about the breathtakingly beautiful woman on the carriage got him excited. Succeed and its wedding night bliss, fail, and its head rolling and blood flowing? Thinking like that, Cheng Dalei took a gamble and clicked, accept mission. Seeing Cheng Dalei smiling to himself, Lin Xiaoyu said, stop grinning, we finally got a dumb bandit, don't scare him away. Then continued. This idiot is mine. No one is allowed to interfere. The soldiers chimed in upon seeing this. We've only heard of Lin Xiaoyu's skills before, now we're finally seeing it firsthand. Be careful, Lin Xiaoyu, but don't kill him instantly, or we'll have nothing to watch. Lin Xiaoyu confidently said to Cheng Dalei. Little thief, if you can just withstand 3 strikes of my spear, I'll spare your life. This is Kanghai Lin Xiaoyu, just a wandering hero, born poor, skill is wave-breaking spear, hidden attribute is a man determined to become a great hero. Cheng Dalei, without fear, replied. I won't die in the hands of an unknown ghost. Who are you? Tell me your name, Lin Xiaoyu declared heroically. I am Kanghai Lin Xiaoyu. What about you? Are you Toad King or Jade-Faced Scholar? Cheng Dalei thought for a moment. May. Then came up with a name. Wing Chun Yip Man, he replied. Lin Xiaoyu was confused when he heard the names Wing Chun and Yip Man. That Lin Xiaoyu had no idea what it was. Because in this era, there's no Wing Chun or Yip Man. Lin Xiaoyu was stunned. Dao Wu Empire, 13 provinces and 108 cities? I've never heard of a place called Wing Chun, and that name is a bit strange. Without giving Lin Xiaoyu any more time to think, Cheng Dalei spurred his horse forward and shouted, Enough nonsense. Prepare to die. Hand over your head. Cheng Dalei wielded the divine axe in his sturdy hands, slashing towards Lin Xiaoyu. His divine strength forced Lin Xiaoyu to brace himself to defend. Lin Xiaoyu exclaimed. What the hell is this? Worthy of being called a divine axe indeed. The power to fight 100 alone, with just one axe. Lin Xiaoyu was knocked off his horse, pressing the attack. The soldiers, seeing Lin Xiaoyu defeated with just one axe, panicked. Cheng Dalei jumped off his horse, kicked the carriage driver away, then snatched the carriage, and ran, hitting the horse's ass hard with the axe. The horse, in pain, sped off. Steward Huang could only yell, Chase! Chase after them. If you lose the young madam, you'll all die. Quickly chase after that guy for me. Zhu Shenji had already run back to the gate of Toad's stronghold, shouting as he ran, Call for Linger! Lin Ji, quick, shut the camp gates. Lin Ji, still dazed and clueless, only saw her old man running back. Dad, why are you alone? Where's little Master Shu Feng? She asked. Not even bothering with his daughter's confusion, he headed straight inside, muttering, That idiot's a goner. If I hadn't been so quick-witted and bailed at the crucial moment, you wouldn't be seeing me right now. How awful. Lin Ji, assuming little Master Cheng Dalei was dead, rushed to comfort her dad. What's done is done. Don't be sad, Dad. Sad? I'm sad about that horse. What a waste, he sighed dramatically. We can't stay here any longer. See if there's anything worth taking. I think there's still some garlic in the kitchen. Meanwhile, Cheng Dalei was whipping his horse like crazy, with Lin Xiaoyu's crew and Huang the steward hot on his heels, making it a super dicey situation. Suddenly, Cheng Dalei heard a ding, and the system popped up. Secret mission complete. 1 lucky draw available. Wanna spin now? Cheng Dalei barely managed to reply. This system's got jokes. Here I am, about to die, and you're still roasting me, Cheng Dalei. Full of youthful vigor, thought, horse or draw. So frustrating. Cheng Dalei yelled, I want to draw, Grandma. System, you want to draw my grandma? Or draw what? I want to draw the prize. Is this thing trying to kill me? Can't you just be decisive for once? With a snap of the system's fingers, the lucky draw machine appeared. Please begin. The system teleported the lucky draw machine right in front of Cheng Dalei so he could spin. Lin Xiaoyu's crew was closing in fast. Steward Huang, brimming with anger, shouted, Little thief, I'm gonna chop you into pieces. With the situation hanging by a thread, Cheng Dalei urged the system. Look at those guys behind us. They look like freaking demons. Can you hurry it up? I don't have much time. Just then, a lucky draw ball popped out of the machine. Congratulations, player. You've received Elite Hunter Chin Man. Cheng Dalei was dumbfounded. You can draw people too. But where is he? It's empty around here, not even a ghost. Is he gonna fall from the sky, or do I need to chant a spell first? Lost in his thoughts, he began chanting, "Go, Pikachu, I summon you in the name of God, all watchtowers. Will you arrive or not? May hope gather, leading to a new horizon, becoming a dazzling light. East, summon warrior of royalty, in the name of the moon I will punish you." As he was chanting, Lin Xiaoyu's spear came stabbing, nearly skewering Cheng Dalei's face.
"You despicable little thief, if I don't kill you today, I swear I'm not a man," Cheng Dalei gasped,
when suddenly, a tall figure stood before Cheng Dalei and boomed, "No need to worry, Chief. Chin Man is here, everything's fine." Chin Man was a towering, muscular man, wielding a plum blossom spear, truly a noble hero. Cheng Dalei finally understood. The system can't just poof rewards into existence. It arranges them in a sensible way. Lin Xiaoyu, oblivious to the impending doom, still roared, "Get out of the way, I can't control my horse." Chin Man's face remained impassive as he simply said, "Dismount." With a spear thrust as swift and brutal as an ex's betrayal, accompanied by a deafening yell, I said, "Get off your horse!" With that single strike, Chin Man sent both Lin Xiaoyu and his horse flying backwards. Seeing this, Cheng Dalei thought, he knocked away the horse. This guy's seriously strong. The soldiers were terrified. Steward Huang swallowed hard, pretending to be okay, and said, "We are from the Blackstone City, Lord. Release the person now if you don't want to die, or else when the soldiers arrive they will level this place." Without letting that butler Huang spew any more nonsense, Chin Man flicked his spear, sending the rock under his foot flying into butler Huang's mouth, causing him to lose several teeth in agony, and roared with eyes full of fierce light. Scram! The group of butler Huang, scared out of their wits, turned and ran. "Quickly, report back to the city, Lord." After chasing away the butler Huang gang, Chin Man finally came to greet Cheng Dalei. "Great boss, Chin Man has come to join you." This is Shin Man, the unknown elite hunter, 31 years old, skill plum blossom spear level 3, hidden attribute, a hunter living near Blackstone City, forced to join the Carp Mo camp because he is wanted by Blackstone City. Chin Man was originally an ordinary hunter near Blackstone City, living with his wife. Only because the Blackstone City Lord heard that Chin's wife was beautiful, he sent people to kidnap her while Chin Man was out hunting. Driven to desperation, Chin's wife jumped off a cliff. When Chin Man returned, it was too late. Enraged, Chin Man stormed into Blackstone City and killed a dozen guards, becoming a wanted criminal throughout Blackstone City. A few days later, Chin Man decided to join the Carp Mo camp. After learning about Chin Man's situation, Cheng Dalei felt extremely sorry. This is probably just a character's backstory, but this is what Shin Man has gone through. It's tough to survive in this world. The horse that Cheng Dalei had abandoned earlier had already run back on its own. Cheng Dalei turned to Shin Man and said, "Brother Chin, get on the horse, let's go back." The two of them got on the horse together, heading towards Carp Mo camp. At this time, the father and daughter Shu Shenji were still working hard to pack up all the remaining belongings at the camp. "Ling Shui, bring that pot, see if there's anything else we can take." Shu Ling Ser, seeing that she couldn't carry anything more, replied to Shu Shenji, "Dad, I can't carry any more. Do you think you can? How can I survive down the mountain without these things?" While the father and daughter Shu Shenji were talking, a voice echoed from the door. "How about I give you a horse?" Zhu Lingzhe. It's Cheng Dalei who's back, and quickly called his name, "Little Campmaster." Old Zhu Shenji was extremely surprised. "Great boss, you're not dead." At this moment, he began to show off his acting skills. "I'm relieved that the great boss isn't dead. I know the great boss blames me for being useless. You don't need to kick me out. I'll leave on my own." Cheng Dalei was not to be outdone. "If old Shu Shenji wants to act, then I'll act too. Just go." But when I said my name was Shu Shenji, they were looking for you down the mountain. Old Shu Shenji continued to act. "This old man may be old, but my bones are still good. If they dare to make things difficult for the great boss, they will have to step over my dead body." Cheng Dalei didn't want to act anymore, so he exposed him. "Old Shu Shenji, enough with the act, old man. Quickly come and help me lead the horse." Then introduced the two father and daughter Shu Shenji. "This is Chin Man. Get acquainted." Then he divided the work for everyone. "Linger, feed the horse. Brother Chin, cook. Military advisor Zhu, take the person in the carriage to my room." After saying that, with a smug look on his face, "Tonight, this king wants to consummate our marriage." Shu Shenji was leading the carriage into the camp. After arranging everything, Cheng Dalei now remembered that he had completed the secret mission earlier, ran too fast and hadn't checked the rewards yet, and then snapped his fingers. "Come here, system." Still a hard knock on the head as always. The system appeared, saying, "No manners. You can call the system like that. Call me Lord System." Cheng Dalei could only reply with a "Yes." The system continued, "I didn't expect you to complete the mission of robbing the camp's wife. Not bad. The reward is that the camp will have someone awaken a hidden attribute. As for who awakens it, find it yourself." After saying that, the system disappeared. While dazedly wondering about the random chance, Cheng Dalei heard Zhu Shenji's voice. "Great boss. Heh, don't tell me you're the one with the hidden attribute." Night had fallen. Cut to head butler Huang and his men, plotting how to explain things to the city lord. Huang asked the soldiers, "Do you want to live, or do you want to die?" Being the cowards they were, the soldiers replied in unison. Of course we want to live. If you want to live, I'll ask you this. How many bandits were there today? One honest and quick-witted soldier answered. One person. Another, understanding Huang's intentions a bit better, replied. There were 100 burly bandits.
But that still wasn't the answer Huang wanted to hear. 100 burly bandits, you say? Are you blind? Clearly there were over 300 bandits.
We risked our lives to hack down dozens of bandits, but sadly couldn't protect the young madam, and young hero Lin Xiaoyu's whereabouts are unknown. Listen up, grab torches and follow me back to the city to ask for reinforcements. Lin Xiaoyu stood not far away, his face full of contemplation. So much for my reputation as a wandering swordsman, head butler Huang begged me, but in the end, I let Su family's young lady get kidnapped by bandits.
Head butler Huang? Rest assured, I'll definitely rescue Miss Su Jia. Ahem, let me introduce this character. This is Xu Shenji,
a rotten, good-for-nothing strategist, 49 years old. No skills, hidden attribute is, dogshit strategist, has 0 IQ. Following his plans will likely lead to bankruptcy, heavily to death.
After learning Xu Shenji's information, Cheng Dalei was utterly disappointed. I thought below average was the lowest you could go, but turns out there's even dogshit below that, especially that hidden attribute. Seeing Cheng Dalei's expression change slightly, Xu Shenji approached and asked, Great boss, what's wrong? Cheng Dalei replied, Nothing, just that my luck's kinda bad. Speak, what happened? At this time, Xu Shenji began to say to Cheng Dalei, After gathering some intel from Su family's young lady, great boss, that young lady's name is Su Ying, and she's the fiancée of the young city lord of Blackrock City. Kidnapping her is a huge disaster. You don't know how formidable Blackrock City is? The old boss died from an unhealed arrow wound he got while fighting Blackrock City. If we provoke them this time, we'll all die when their army comes. From behind, Linger came over, interrupting their conversation. Dad, great boss, let's eat. Let's call Big Bro Chin Man over. We'll discuss it further during dinner. During the meal, Cheng Dalei asked, Does anyone know the situation with Blackrock City? Chin Man replied. I do. Blackrock City is 150 li from Hamo Ridge. The city lord's name is Han Huju, and he's extremely lustful, wicked, and tyrannical. There are over 5,000 elite troops in the city. Hearing this, Xu Shenji was full of fear. 5,000 against 2. Great boss, do you think we have a chance? Then what do you say we should do? We've already kidnapped her. Why don't you take her back, tell them we made a mistake, and kneel down and kowtow to them, see if they'll forgive you. Forget I said anything. At this time, Shin Man interrupted Cheng Dalei and suggested, Open a path of blood. Instead of passively defending, we might as well take the initiative to attack. We'll kill our way to Blackrock City and intercept Han Huju. According to my calculations, we have a 70% chance of success. Hearing Chin Man's words, Xu Shenji and his daughter were even more afraid. Linger, we should still pack up and run. It'll be too late if we wait any longer, Linger pouted. Dad, we're already too late. After hearing the opinions of Xu Shenji and Shin Man, Cheng Dalei began to analyze the situation and come up with a plan to resist. Running is definitely not an option. There are 3 reasons. First, we kidnapped the young city lord's fiancée. The young lord of Blackrock City doesn't lack wives, so it's impossible for 5,000 troops to attack. At most, 100 or 300 people. Second, we're 150 li from Blackrock City. Going back and forth will take at least 5 days. 5 days is our chance to occupy the terrain and set up an ambush. At this time, the system appeared, giving Cheng Dalei a new mission. This mission is the first defense of the mountain stronghold. Defeat the enemy. This mission exceeds the current capabilities of the stronghold. Good luck, young man. Third, there's my father, the previous great boss of Hamel Stronghold. He was injured by an arrow during an attack on Blackrock City. In the end, the wound got infected and he died. Besides, Big Bro Chin Man and that Han Huju have a blood feud. If we don't avenge this, how can we call ourselves men? Therefore, we must defend if we can, and we must defend even if we can't. After hearing Cheng Dalei's analysis, Xu Shenji began to explain the terrain of Hamel Stronghold to everyone. There are only 2 roads from Blackrock City to here. One is the main road, which can accommodate 2 carriages at a time. The other is a small path that goes through a mountain pass. If we want to ambush them, does Great Boss know which road they'll take? Cheng Dalei immediately thought of Xu Shenji's hidden attribute, which was being wrong, meaning he'd be wrong every time he had an idea. Listening to him would surely lead to defeat. Thinking this, Cheng Dalei asked Xu Shenji, in strategist's opinion, which road will they choose? Without thinking, Xu Shenji immediately replied, Of course, it's the main road. Hearing Xu Shenji choose the main road, Cheng Dalei already knew which road to choose. He further asked Xu Shenji, According to strategist, can we overcome this danger? Xu Shenji answered without reservation. Great boss, I don't have any hope at all. After hearing Xu Shenji say this, Cheng Dalei replied, I wasn't sure either, but now I feel much more at ease. Now I'm at least 50% sure we'll win. Who says Xu Shenji is useless? This hidden attribute is clearly a super weapon to eliminate wrong choices. Cheng Dalei looked up to the sky and secretly rejoiced. Just like a roll of toilet paper, even a pair of underpants has its uses.
Heaven doesn't forsake me. At this time, Su Ying was all alone in the mudroom. After the conversation ended, Cheng Delay brought food to her room and invited her to eat. Seeing her sitting quietly with her clear eyes, Cheng Delay had a dark thought. In this room, I can do whatever I want to her. But then his reason kicked in. What am I thinking? I never did anything bad in my past life, but as soon as I got here, evil thoughts started popping up. If I go down this path, I'm afraid there's only an abyss ahead. Seeing Cheng Delay's righteousness, the system appeared again and gave him a new mission. The mission is to woo the chieftain's wife. Phase 2. You must not use violence to move Su Ying's heart. A true man must have both the ambition of the world and the tenderness for a woman. Go for it, righteous young man. After receiving the new mission, Cheng Delay brought the food closer to Miss Su and said, The night is long, and it's impossible to sleep. I thought I was the only one who couldn't sleep, but I didn't expect Miss Su couldn't either. Miss Su replied, My family is the Four Seas Merchant Guild of Luoye City. As long as you let me go, you can choose any of my belongings. Moreover, I am also the future city lord's wife of Blackstone City. You should know what the consequences will be if you harm me. Cheng Delay quickly soothed Miss Su's anger. It's a misunderstanding. It's just that I have a father-killing feud with the Blackstone City lord, so I captured you. When this is over, I will safely send you back. Seeing Cheng Delay's lies, Miss Su retorted. You're lying. Your eyes are full of greed and desire, no different from other men. I just want to say don't hurt me. Other conditions are negotiable. Character introduction. This is Su Ying. 17 years old, no skills, hidden attribute is a special woman, sees everything clearly. After learning Su Ying's information, Cheng Delay knew he couldn't be careless and had to try harder. Then he began to show his smooth talking skills. Miss Su Ying, I know that in your eyes I am just a rude mountain bandit, but if I could live a stable life, who would want to be a bandit? I used to be a teenager with ideals. Ideals, huh? My hands once held the books of sages, once held a Thang Fong sword, once wanted to practice both literature and martial arts with the emperor, once said that a man should have great ambitions in all directions, holding 50 prefectures of Guangshan. But when I traveled around, what I saw were refugees like dogs and chickens, and nobles like tigers and wolves. I hate the sages. I just want to ask why the world is like this. At that time, I had an ideal to save all living beings, escape from suffering, and liberate the people from the abyss. Now my hands just want to hold the hand of a maiden. Miss Su, do you want to complete the ideal with me? It seemed that with such sweet words, Cheng Delay had conquered Miss Su's heart. She felt that they were all lies, but she didn't think Cheng Delay intended to harm her, although she didn't know why. Just tell me what you want, as long as it doesn't harm me. After thinking for a while, Cheng Delay said, Can you tell me a little about the world out there? This is the only sincere sentence from Cheng Delay since I entered this room. I want to know about this world, and the person in front of me right now is the daughter of a merchant. Waiting for a long time without receiving a reply from Miss Su, Cheng Delay said goodbye. Before leaving, he left the sentence on the table. Nan he bu dai wu gao. Kui shui guanshan, wu shi ju. This sentence made Miss Su worry and think, what is wu gao? Is it a very sharp weapon? Where is this guanshan? The empire only has 13 prefectures. Where did 50 prefectures come from? Clearly knowing that Cheng Delay's words were false, but why did she feel that the lie was so beautiful? If these sentences were recited at the poetry meeting for those so-called talented people to hear, I guess they would be so scared that they would jump up. Chinman, who was standing outside the door, had heard the whole story of Cheng Delay and Su Ying. First chieftain, please stop. Brother Chin, why are you here? Could it be that you have a hobby of standing in the corner and eavesdropping? Chinman knelt before Cheng Delay. I originally thought that the first chieftain was no better than those who harm the people. But after hearing your words just now, the first chieftain's broad ambitions make Shin Man admire you. From now on, I am willing to follow the first chieftain. Then, the system displayed a notification. Cheng Delay has completed a hidden mission. Shin Man's wife and children were snatched away. This has always been a knot in his heart. Now witnessing you treating Miss Su Ying with courtesy, therefore you have gained a part of his trust. Cheng Delay thought to himself. The act of forcibly taking Miss Su is no different from that city lord of Blackstone City. If I had really harmed Miss Su just now, I'm afraid the first person to rush up and hit me would be Brother Chin. I knew it. How could such a strong character easily submit to me? The sky had just dawned, and Zhu Linger rushed over to report. First chieftain, someone is attacking our mountain stronghold. Cheng Delay was startled. Why so early? How many people are there? Zhu Lingshare replied. Only one person on horseback, and he looks very handsome. At this time, Lin Xiaoyu was standing in front of the gate of Hamo Mountain Stronghold, shouting loudly, You dog bandits of Hamo Stronghold, come out and face your death. If Miss Su's hair loses half a strand, I will hunt down and kill your entire mountain stronghold. Cheng Delay looked from above, did not recognize that it was Lin Xiaoyu, and turned to ask everyone, Which prefecture's young man is that? Why is he running here shouting? Then ordered, Brother Chin, quickly send him away. Seeing Qin Daigeish come out empty-handed, Lin Xiaoyu raised his voice. Go back and get your weapon and horse. This young hero doesn't want to bully the weak.
Shindage's remained the same, exuding heroic spirit, replying,
"No need." Then, quick as lightning, he jumped straight onto the horse's head, and with one hand, squeezed Lin Xiaoyu's face hard.
Shindage stood upright on the horse's back, lifting Lin Xiaoyu with just one hand and said, "This guy is too weak."
Lin Xiaoyu could only utter incoherently, "Let go." Before he could react, he was thrown dozens of meters away by Shindage.
Indeed, a youth who hasn't seen the world, get up where you fall. Lin Xiaoyu still held hope and shouted back, "I'll be back," turning back to Cheng Dalei, who was reminding Qinman, "Daje, when Lin Xiaoyu climbs back up later, don't make it hard for him, just let him lead his horse away." Qinman listened. Yes. Suddenly a system notification popped up. First Mountain Stronghold defense mission successful. Rolling out rewards. Cheng Dalei thought to himself,
"Isn't there some mistake here?" The mission reminder indicated it was difficult to complete, but it was so easy it shouldn't be like this. For such a simple mission, the system wouldn't hint at the difficulty, it must be a system error.
Before he could finish wondering, the system displayed the rewards. Reward 1 Exquisite Iron Spear. Reward all beasts in the stronghold. Get an upgrade. Reward 1 Well. Reward the Mountain Stronghold skill. Healing. This skill will be upgraded for one random person in the Mountain Stronghold.
Cheng Dalei exclaimed. "Is this a dream? I've never felt this sound so pleasant."
Reward 10 acres of land filled with happiness made Cheng Dalei dizzy like he'd won the lottery.
So excited he couldn't stand.
Reward 10 wooden boxes. Still not believing it was real, Cheng Dalei asked the system again, "What's going on? Which courageous young man is here to collect the prize?" Shu Shenji saw Cheng Dalei beside him with trembling legs, unable to stand steadily, and asked, "Great chieftain, what's wrong with you?"
After issuing the rewards, the system gave a new mission. Defend the mountain stronghold for the second time. The difficulty of this mission exceeds the current strength of the stronghold.
Seeing that Cheng Dalei hadn't replied, Shu Shenji continued, "Great chieftain, I know getting married is a very joyous occasion, but you need to control yourself a little. Don't get so excited that you can't even stand straight." Cheng Dalei retorted, "Shut up," then thought, "What's coming will come. These rewards were originally meant for the Blackstone City Lord, so he'll probably attack the mountain stronghold. Now is not the time to be happy. The second attack is the real battle, the real danger for the mountain stronghold." Outside, at this time, Lin Xiaoyu had also returned, covered in injuries, but his expression was very confident. Zhu Shenji said irritably, "This guy is here to cause trouble again, let's just kill him off." Cheng Dalei immediately stopped the strategist's intention. "Fool, Lin Xiaoxia is a benefactor of the Hamo stronghold. Anyone who wants to kill him is looking for trouble with me." Shu Shenji didn't understand the great chieftain's attitude. Next, Cheng Dalei hinted to him, "Lin Xiaoxia, are you hungry? Want to have a meal first? Our stronghold's cooking is pretty good." Lin Xiaoyu immediately planted the Qing spear into the ground and shouted loudly, "You evil bandits, stop talking nonsense. That big hunk over there, come here now, this time fairly."
"You don't ride a horse? I also don't ride a horse. You don't use weapons, neither do I."
Cheng Dalei patted Xin Xiang on the shoulder and said, "Shindage, absolutely can't hurt Lin Xiaoxia." He indicated that he didn't want to hurt him. "Be gentle. Definitely be gentle." Qin Xiang had a solemn expression and nodded in agreement. Lin Xiaoyu was determined to defeat his opponent this time. He stepped forward to challenge Qindage. Qin Xiang still rushed forward as powerfully as before and kicked him, flying thousands of miles. Cheng Dalei looked satisfied that he had completed the mission and said, "Lin Xiaoxia, are you all right? We'll wait for you here. Hurry back and report." A mission appears. Mountain Stronghold Defense Part 2 completed. Reward. Mountain Spring X1. A spring flowing on the mountain. Reward. Returning Blood Pill X10. A common medicinal pill that completely heals common injuries and illnesses. Reward Mountain Stronghold Skill United Spirit. Reward Sickle X10. Reward Wooden Box X10. The great chieftain looked at the rewards and thought for a while. The rewards for the second time are much less than the first time. Before long, another mission arrived. Cheng Dalei received the Mountain Stronghold Defense Part 3 mission. At this time, Lin Xiaoyu had returned in a miserable state. Panting as he stepped forward, Cheng Dalei asked, "Lin Xiaoxia, are you okay?" Lin Xiaoyu was even more determined this time. He roared, "Unless you release the Su family's young miss, I will never forgive you." Unexpectedly, he was beaten so badly that his face was all bruised. Cheng Dalei once again reminded, "Xin Xiang, be gentle." As soon as he finished speaking, Xin Xiang delivered another palm strike that sent Lin Xiaoyu flying. Mountain Stronghold Defense Part 3 completed. Reward. Following that, the Mountain Stronghold Defense Part 4 mission arrived, and as before, Lin Xiaoyu was beaten into a desolate state. Mission completed. Reward. His willpower is truly admirable, and just like that, missions kept getting completed. Suddenly, Shu Linger blurted out, "Big boss, let's go home, I'm starving." But Cheng Dalei didn't budge, still waiting for Lin Xiaoyu to return. "Wait, can't let Shu Feng down." At this moment, the cute blonde girl reappeared. Good people have good luck, and those with justice in their hearts attract like-minded people. Another notification pops up. Mountain Fortress Defense Mission completed. No bonus round, reward, hidden attribute. Good person.
X1. Effect. Increases attractiveness to men. Useless for women. Cheng Dalei thought to himself, damn, good person, card. Wait, why isn't he leveling up yet? Knowing Xu Feng's personality, he wouldn't give up so easily. Waiting and waiting for him to return, he had an idea. Could he have run into some bad guys? Cheng Dalei instructed Xu Lingguir, you guys stay here, I'll go check it out. At the same time, Xu Feng was standing on the edge of some cliff, muttering to himself, I, Xu Feng, am a disgrace to the self-proclaimed title of chivalrous hero. I thought I'd be a legendary figure, pacifying the world's evils with just a spear. But now I've been humiliated by bandits again and again. Sigh, my horse is gone, my spear is lost, I have nothing left, might as well die. That's it, in 20 years I'll be a hero again, and I'll roam the pugilistic world. Just as he was about to commit suicide to start a new life, Cheng Dalei appeared out of nowhere, clearing his throat behind him, making him jump and turn around. He didn't expect it to be Dalai, he said with a bitter and resentful expression. You scum of the earth, have you come to laugh at me? Even if Zhu must find death to wash away this shame, I will not endure your humiliation. Cheng Dalei was moved by the words that Lin Xiaoyu said from the bottom of his heart. I heard everything you said, very well said, but youngsters will die for their ideals. But true men can endure humiliation and live for their ideals. Xu Feng was surprised by what he said to him. You think doing that is brave? Dalei immediately refuted that idea. No, that's not brave, that's cowardice. You are a coward, a deserter, he shouted. Look at yourself. You don't have a shred of the spirit of a young chivalrous hero. Xu Feng immediately expressed contempt for his lecture. What does a bandit like you know? Dalei began to explain to him. I know you look down on bandits, but I was once a person with ideals too, Lin Yu replied suspiciously. You have ideals. Then Dalei poured out his wandering life to him. Want to hear my ideals? My hands have also held the scriptures of sages, and I have also raised swords. I also wanted to learn both literary and martial arts to be equal to emperors. I once recited the line, a man should carry and woo-hook, and collect the 50 prefectures of Shui Guanshan in spring. But when I traveled in all directions, witnessing refugees like pigs and dogs, and nobles like hungry worms squeezing every last drop without any evidence, I suddenly resented the sages. I just wanted to ask why the world is like this. At that time, I had an ideal, to save all people from their plight, to free them from the shackles of the nobles. I have an ideal to smash the rotten old world and build a new world. I have an ideal to make everyone have enough food, clothes to wear, houses to live in, and land to cultivate. Right now these hands of mine just want to hold on to the hands of my comrades. After listening to Dalei for a while, Xu Feng was truly moved by the words that touched his heart. Did these words really come from a bandit? Cheng Dalei extended his hand, indicating that he wanted to fight side by side with him. Xu Feng, are you willing to pursue that ideal with me? At this moment, Lin's eyes blurred, and his body gradually slumped. In his head he thought, could it be that the true hero, with a heart for the world, is a bandit? I misjudged him. As soon as he finished speaking, he slowly fell down. Suddenly, Dalei pulled him back, and helped him lie down on the ground. Dalei checked his body and said, this idiot. So he was enduring such serious injuries. And then, Cheng Dalei took him back to the fortress and took care of him carefully. Dalei asked Zhu Shenji, military advisor Zhu, is there any medicine left in the fortress? Military advisor Zhu also replied, it's all gone. The traitors stole it all. Moreover, big boss, aren't you afraid that he's a spy? He then said. With your words, I'm relieved to leave him here. Dalei looked worried about Xu Feng. If he doesn't break the fever soon, something big will happen. I have to find the rejuvenation pill in the rewarded items. Lingguir, where's Guosheng? I need it. After a while Zhu Lingguir brought Guosheng. Military advisor Zhu was speechless at Cheng Dalei's incomprehensible actions. Big boss, what do you want to do? Dalei replied. Dig for treasure, military advisor Zhu helplessly said. What treasure? Where can our Hamel fortress dig up treasure, big boss? Don't mess around anymore. From somewhere, the items that Cheng Dalei was looking for appeared. Found it. This must be the healing potion that the system rewarded. Give Xu Feng one pill. Cut to the horse stable. Cheng Dalei said. Brother Qin, this black horse will be your mount from now on. Brother Qin replied. Thank you, big boss. Yellow horse. Common. Skill. Escape. When escaping, running speed increases. Black horse. Common. Skill. Attack. When attacking, damage is increased. Xu Linger suddenly exclaimed. Big boss, look at this. Hidden inside the grass is an iron spear. The system notification rang again. Received exquisite iron spear X1. Dalei picked up the scroll and said, this, Spring Palace picture, who drew it so badly, signed, Xu Shenji, motherfucker. Revealing Xu Shenji's dark history X1, burned. Brother Qin slowly walked to the drum placed on the pile of rocks. Battle drum buried in stone. Zhu Linglier suddenly said, under the table is an ash-gray flag. The girl looked down at an old well and exclaimed, wow, ghostly.
The abandoned dry well has suddenly risen with water, after more than 10 years. Dalei returned the treasure to Brother Qin. This iron spear will be used by Brother Qin from now on, Brother Qin replied.
I've dreamed of having a suitable iron spear. With it, my spear skills can unleash their true power. Name, Shinman, top-tier newbie bandit. Skill, Plum Blossom Spear Form 2.
The system notification rang again.
Checking today's rewards. Exquisite Iron Spear X1, Common Armor X2, Healing Potion X10, Battle Drum Buried in Stone X1 skill included. Morale Boost, Ho X1 skill included. Recruitment, Strong Liquor X30, Sickle X10, Xingniu Mountain Map X1, Clothes for Cultivating Land X10 Mu, Well X1, Mountain Spring X1, Fortress Healing Skill, Shared Upgrade of All Mounts skill received. Dalei panicked when he felt that something was missing. Why is there a sword missing? Without that sword, what will happen to my pugilistic world dream? Dalei felt very strange.
Moreover, I remember, there are still 50 wooden boxes that haven't been found. Shu Shenji suddenly found the entrance. Big boss, there's a tunnel here. After speaking, the two went down to check. Going down to check, military advisor Shu said as he climbed down.
Boss, tell me, did the old leader leave you any last words before he passed? Brolei found something below and exclaimed. Found it, military advisor Shu glanced over and said. Could this be all the wealth the old leader accumulated in his lifetime? Brolei replied. I wouldn't know about that. Then they both exchanged a sinister grin.
Brolei said.
Let's open the chests. At this moment, Cheng Dalei was washing his face to increase his chances of good luck when opening the chests. Washing away the karma, performing the ritual to open the chests, Lei was very confident in his luck and said, as a whale like me, the RNG god will definitely bless me. Appear, my incantation, my divine weapon, my RNG god. Manifest. Unfortunately for Brolei, reality was harsh. He opened a chest full of trash-tier rocks.
Brolei was very disappointed with what he received, his face gloomy.
The boss indifferently replied, open it, open them all, maybe it'll be less unlucky than me. Zhu Shenji began to open the chests. He was stunned when he saw the black powder. Boss, look at this, what is this? Brolei picked it up to take a look, and discovered it was gunpowder.
The military advisor was curious about the use of these things. It's so black, can it even cure diseases? Cheng Dalei angrily said.
Quickly open all the chests. See how much stuff there is. After opening all the treasures, he was once again stunned by what he got from opening the chests. Gunpowder X10, rocks X2, a chest of ragged clothes, plus a pile of broken weapons. When he saw these things, Brolei suddenly found them very useful.
With this gunpowder and the favorable terrain, dealing with Blackstone City might not be impossible.
Then the two climbed back to the surface.
Let's leave these chests here, I'll still need them.
Military advisor Shu also agreed. Boss is wise, the chests are all made of good wood, no need to worry about firewood in the winter.
Brolei was helpless at the military advisor's thoughts.
I really want to burn you to a crisp, you dare break one, and I'll hold you accountable. Where's my farmland? Shu Shenji replied. Behind the hillside, it's been abandoned for years, why does the boss ask about this? Brolei only said that he was going to take a look.
Scene change. Brolei has arrived behind the mountain, the military advisor wearily said. It's already pitch black, why bother coming all the way here? It's several miles at least, Cheng Dalei only replied. Just go when you're told, remember to call Brother Qin along.
Finally, Brolei's group arrived at the location. Zhu military advisor said. It's right here, I even sowed some wheat during the spring planting, but not a single damn plant grew. Going there now will probably only reveal a barren wasteland. After speaking, the military advisor pointed out the land he had planted, thinking that they wouldn't harvest anything. Who knew that a vast expanse of golden wheat would appear before their eyes?
Shu Shenji was stunned for a moment and then said, Gods be praised, gods be praised. The blonde girl in the system appeared again and said, 10 acres of fertile land are done. Is this assistance big enough?
Brolei looked at Linger and reminded her, Linger, don't run around, you'll trample all the wheat.
Big brother Qin looked at the wheat happily and said, This can all be harvested, it should be a ton, enough to survive the winter this year. Linger gently lifted a stalk of wheat and replied, Its stalk can also be burned for warmth, winter will be less harsh, we must harvest quickly, the rainy season is coming. Shu military advisor was very grateful to heaven and earth and knelt down to pay respects. Brother Qin and Lingjer followed suit. Gods be praised, great kindness and great virtue.
Brolei stood aside at this time, thinking. The mountain village isn't a bunch of villains like I imagined. They're just trying to make a living in times of chaos, just like a village.
Brolei realized the truth that there are old and young. Some people reclaim land and cultivate, some go down the mountain to buy necessities. Calling these three mountain bandits is already giving them too much credit. Let's go back to the backstory of military advisor Shu. Military advisor Shu was just a normal teacher in the village when he was down the mountain. His greatest pleasure was earning a few coins to exchange for a gourd of wine, staring at the breasts of the village widow and drooling. But life always has hateful people. Life makes people hate it, whether on the mountain or down the mountain. And misfortune will eventually come. One day the evil bandits in the village took a fancy to Linger, even repeatedly came to the door with the intention of forcibly taking her. After repeatedly refusing without results, Shu Shenji decided to invite the evil bandits to his house. This time he was determined to resolve it once and for all. The evil bandits,
he had Linger dress up beautifully, spent money to buy wine, even slaughtered the laying hen. After inviting the evil bandits in, he began to say sweet words to lure them into the trap he had prepared. It's Linger's blessing to follow you. I'll also get to enjoy some blessings later. He called Linger and started the plan. Look at my Linger, she's so beautiful, her fair face will definitely serve you well. He invited them to drink wine to get them drunk. Let's consummate the marriage tonight, don't worry, I'll guard the door for you. After speaking, he laughed as if he had achieved his goal. When the night was late, and there was not a soul around, when the evil bandits were dead drunk, Shu Shenji took a kitchen knife and chopped off their heads. After killing all the evil bandits, he set fire to the house and their corpses to destroy all evidence. To leave this place. After that, he fled with Lingsayer, enduring countless hardships, until they finally settled in Hamo Fort. Perhaps that was the first time Shu Shenji's scheme actually worked in his entire life. But Cheng Dalei truly felt, nailed it. Scene change. The strategist and his granddaughter were sitting, admiring the grain fields under the moonlights. Suddenly, Linger said, Grandpa, I want to bring some wheat back to mill into flour, then make fried dough cakes for everyone. Strategist Shu replied, Why bother with such extravagance for fried dough cakes? Just grab some grains, eat them with leaves. That'll last us for days. Linger, feeling helpless, responded, I'm hungry, let's head back. The strategist immediately said, What's the hurry? Stay a bit longer, this field looks really beautiful to me. Scene change. The next morning, Cheng Dalei was holding something in his hand. Strategist Shu said, Isn't that our fort's banner? I thought someone had turned it into pants. Can't believe we found it again. Brother Lei held the banner, examining it for a moment, and said, I've really got to ask, who made this picture? An egg on a toad's head? Does that mean Hamo Fort is holding an egg? Strategist Xu replied, That's not an egg, it's the moon. This is a painting of the heavenly toad swallowing the moon. And yet, our big boss here calls it. Brother Lei held the banner, then handed it to Brother Qin and said, Brother Qin, hang this up. No sooner had he finished speaking, Brother Qin used his Qinggong, soaring to the top of the pole and hanging it up in a flash. After he landed, everyone was truly impressed. Everyone gazed up at the fort's magnificent banner. Strategist Xu looked on and said, We have food now, no worries about eating and drinking this winter. We just need to survive this immediate crisis. Cheng Dalei also looked at the banner and replied, This place is mine, no one dares to trespass. I guess this counts as an armed uprising, huh? The blonde girl reappeared and said, Oh, a righteous youth, huh? With that banner up, heroes from all corners of the land will hear your name and come to join you. A system notification popped up again. New mission received. Increase population. Increase Hamo Fort's population to 100 people. Reward, random draw X1. Scene change. Inside a castle, a military officer just knelt down to report. Upon reaching Hamo Ridge, a group of over 100 people charged out, their leader claiming to be the Great King of Hamo Fort. Upon hearing this, the Great King looked furious and highly displeased. The military officer then recounted the events. I was just about to charge in and wipe out those guys, when suddenly another group attacked from behind. Their leader looked like a scholar named Shu Shenji. The old strategist sitting beside him listened and replied, There are that many mountain bandits on Hamo Ridge. The military officer then tearfully described the enemy numbers. Strategist, you have no idea. There were no less than 200 of them. And then another group attacked from the flank. Their leader even called himself Wing Chun Ip Man. Huang Sanyuan knew his crime would be hard to escape this time, so he kowtowed, begging, City Lord, I was willing to die to protect the young madam, but those bandits were too many. Old Huang's 2 fists couldn't contend with their 4 hands. I was severely wounded, and the young madam was taken by those wretched bandits. Old Huang deserves 10,000 deaths. 10,000 deaths. Upon hearing this, the city lord furiously declared, Kill him. The military officer, terrified, begged, City Lord, spare my life. But 2 guards still dragged him out to be beheaded. Suddenly, a strange young man stepped forward and said, Wait, that's the young master, the city lord's son. Hearing that his wife had been captured, he immediately said, Father, please grant me the tiger tally. I will personally lead troops to flatten Hamo Ridge and rescue Miss Sujia. The city lord replied, She's just a woman. If she's dead, she's dead. Your father will find you someone better. What do you say? The young man disagreed, cupping his hands and pleading with his father once more. Father, as a true man, if I cannot even protect my own wife, how can I pacify the world? I beg, Father, to let your son lead the troops. Hearing his son's determined words, the city lord poured a cup of tea and replied, In that case, how many soldiers do you want? The young master loudly declared, 2,000 men. Hearing this, his father broke out in a cold sweat. The strategist, startled by this, exclaimed,
Young master, do you have any idea how much provisions 2,000 soldiers would need, not to mention the manpower, resources, and travel routes required for transportation? Most importantly, those mountain bandits are only about 300 men. Is it really necessary to go to such lengths? The young master replied with resolute will. Of course I thought about it, but I want to crush them completely. Taking the teacup offered by a maid, the city lord didn't hesitate to say, my entire Blackrock City only has 5,000 troops. Giving you 20,000 troops is absolutely out of the question. At most you can have 1,000. The young master happily replied, I want 2,000 light cavalry, 300 archers, 100 great sword soldiers, and 200 lancers, forming a proper army. 1,000 mobile cavalry for rapid assaults, archers for long-range bombardments, heavy infantry for defending against enemy attacks, combined with spearmen for close combat, and great sword soldiers to clean up any stragglers. Hearing this, the city lord praised his son's resolute will. Truly, my son, if you have such a dream of leading troops and generals, then go ahead and give it your all this time. Upon hearing this, the young master turned to prepare for battle. The city lord looked at the defeated general and said, You, go with the young master to those bandits' lair. Make sure you use this chance to properly atone for your sins. The defeated general was overjoyed, relieved to have escaped death this time. Thank you for your immense grace and virtue, my lord. Thank you, city lord. Huang Sanyuan thought to himself. There are actually only 2 mountain bandits. If the young master eagerly charges up Hamo Ridge, Huang Sanyuan's head was already sweating just thinking about it. Looking back, maybe getting beheaded wouldn't have been such a bad way to go. The city lord looked at his strategist and asked, Strategist Xi, what do you think of Xuan Zihi's plan? The strategist immediately replied, Given the mountainous terrain, I fear cavalry will struggle to be effective, and why would we bring heavy infantry for a long march? Furthermore, mountain bandits often rely on treacherous terrain for defense, so cavalry charges won't be effective against them. The young master's plan, one could say, has 1,000 flaws. Surely, city lord, you've seen through this too. So why do you still let the young master act so rashly? The city lord replied, unfazed. My son here idolizes famous generals and has diligently studied military strategies, so he's learned a lot, but his actual ability is just lacking. We already raided Hamo Ridge once. Where would 300 mountain bandits even come from? I'm afraid it's all just Huang Sanyuan's death-fearing nonsense. And if Xuan Qi's military dreams come true this time, so be it. Hearing that, military advisor Shui bowed in admiration of the city lord's insight. The city lord is so wise, seeing through everything. Banchuan can finally rest easy. He then curiously asked, My lord, the young master is about to deploy troops. There's so much to prepare. Aren't you going to ask about it? The city lord, looking unconcerned, immediately pulled a beautiful girl into his arms. Forget it. I don't want to think too much right now. I just want to have some fun with these pretty young ladies. Then he stood up and said, If military advisor Shu ever gets a taste of that, you'll realize there's nothing else in this world worth paying attention to. Hey, military advisor Shu could only remain silent in the face of the old city lord's womanizing ways. Scene switch. At Hamo Stronghold, inside an earthen house, a voice rang out. You mean Blackrock City doesn't have a standing army? Turns out it was Cheng Delay and Shu Lingyer chatting. Brother Lei curiously said, A standing army? Blackrock City has over 20,000 households. How could they possibly support an army of 5,000? When war breaks out, where would they get soldiers? No soldiers. If there are no soldiers, who'll defend the city from invaders? Shu Lingbrier, with her intelligent insight, replied, When troops are needed, they conscript from military households, and for large-scale city assaults, all able-bodied men are sent to battle. She also shared with Brother Lei. Actually, Shui Banchuan once intended to train a standing army of 500, but due to the immense cost, it ultimately went nowhere. Hearing this, Brother Lei grew skeptical about this guy's background. Ling Zhe explained to Brother Lei, He's Han Hu's military advisor. Since Han Hu is obsessed with pleasure, all matters big and small in the city are handled by Shui Banchuan. When you think about it, he's the real talent. Brother Lei rolled up the map, stood up, and sighed. What a truly backward system. Su Ying looked confused and replied, Backward? You mean literally? Do you know of a more advanced system? Brother Lei turned his face away and said, No way, no way. You guys better run. Blackrock City is sending troops, at least 100 or 200, but there are only 4 of you. A thought suddenly popped into his head. No. It's 5. Lin Xiaoyu is awake. I'm counting 5. At this moment, Brother Lei had arrived at the 2 small houses behind the mountain, Lin Xiaoyu's residence. Brother Lei found Lin Xiaoyu and greeted him. Hey, how's the recovery going? He turned around in surprise and replied, Grand boss. Brother Lei smiled and extended his hand towards Lin Xiaoyu, indicating he wanted them to fight side by side. Lin Xiaoyu wholeheartedly agreed, and then both cupped their hands in celebration of gaining a new brother. At this moment, Cheng Dalei and military advisor Zhu were both sitting on a stone slab under a tree, discussing their upcoming plans. Brother Lei said,
Military advisor, there's a task right now that you need to do. This matter is extremely important. It even affects the survival of our stronghold. Shu Shenji replied while eating. Is it really that serious? How about we get someone else to do it? Brother Lei said seriously. No one can do this except you, military advisor. Go to Feihu stronghold and find Gao Feihu. Military advisor Shu, who had been eating, panicked upon hearing this and replied, Grand Boss, are you trying to send me to my death? Brother Lei explained to the military advisor. How could I? I want you to bring good wine to Feihu Stronghold's gang and inform them that Black Rock City intends to send troops to attack the brothers of Qingniu Mountain. It's not just Feihu Stronghold. Gao Tuling, Hai Topo, Xianghua Ling, and Yeju Lin all have to go too. Military advisor Shu, hearing this mission, replied helplessly. But will they actually listen to me? Brother Lei smiled confidently and said, Be slick. Even though he heard Brother Lei's encouragement, military advisor Shu still looked scared and didn't dare go due to the grudges between Hamo Stronghold and Feihu Stronghold. He immediately refused. But I'm still scared. Grand Boss, you don't know about the feud between him and the old Grand Boss. Brother Lei could only comfort the military advisor. Then I'll let young hero Lin go with you, okay? What the heck else are you afraid of? Then the two got into an argument. The military advisor, dissatisfied, said, Actually, I'd much rather you, Grand Boss, go with me, Brother Lei retorted. Bullshit. Going there is hell dangerous. Then Brother Lei flashed a radiant smile and said, Military advisor, just go with peace of mind. Just leave Linger to me. I'll raise her right. After saying that, military advisor Shu showed a look of refusal, clearly disagreeing. Brother Lei understood the old man's meaning, immediately flipped his switch and angrily coerced him. You dare not go. Cheng Dalei then threatened him. I'll paste those erotic scrolls you drew right on the gates of Black Rock City. Hearing that, the military advisor's face changed color, and he broke out in a cold sweat. Finally, swayed by Brother Lei's words, military advisor Shu accepted this dangerous mission, swallowing a bitter lump of anger in his heart, as if there was nothing else he could do. Then both of them got on the carriage, ready to complete the mission. Brother Qin and Cheng Dalei watched them disappear into the distance. Big Brother Qin then asked, Grand Boss, will Feihu Stronghold trust military advisor Zhu? Brother Lei replied, Doesn't matter if they believe it or not. They'll all send people to scout. That's our chance. After that, the two returned to the stronghold. Brother Lei opened the gunpowder lid, an idea forming in his head. Then he said, using crushed stone, saltpeter, adding oiled paper, cotton cloth as the fuse. All right. The two conducted a gunpowder test behind the mountain. Cheng Dalei yelled, All right, Big Brother Qin, move the gunpowder box a bit further away. This is the last test. A loud explosion rang out, creating a huge fire. The destructive power was absolutely terrifying. Brother Qin. Looking at the explosion that just occurred, Cheng Dalei asked in astonishment, Gee, Grand Boss, is this the Earth Dragon flipping over? Brother Lei admired his achievement and replied, This is the art of explosion. Scene switch. At some imperial palace, soldiers were lining up, preparing for battle. The young city lord looked at the sky and said, The sky is clear, truly a good omen. Those soldiers down there are looking down on him and whispering, Yeah, good my ass. It's hotter than hell out here. Meanwhile, two older soldiers are chatting. One says, Uncle Wang, you're here to fight too? I remember. Aren't you like 60 already? The other one just sighs and mutters, Whatever. We're just gonna smack down some rebel scum. Nothing to be afraid of. The young lord is standing tall, holding his fan, when suddenly he pulls out his sword and puts it right up against the neck of a soldier next to him, asking, Having fun? The soldier freezes and replies, F fun? What's fun about this? The young lord closes his eyes and explains, I'm happy for you. Back in the day, great generals would always pick someone to sacrifice to the flag before a battle, and you're the lucky one I've chosen. Hearing that, the soldier chokes out, Young city lord, you're joking, right? The young city lord then swings his sword and kills the soldier, sending him to meet his ancestors ASAP. Afterwards, he tells the dead soldier, There's no joking in the army. Would I joke about something like that? The soldier slowly collapses, blood everywhere. The young lord, after killing him, just says, Rest in peace. From today on your family will shine under my name. Hearing those words, the soldier curses, Damn you to hell, you bastard. The young lord points his sword to the sky and declares, Let's move out. The other soldiers, seeing the young lord's actions, just blurt out, Is this guy for real? / is this dude for real? / is this guy nuts? Then, the young city lord's army sets off, marching with impressive numbers. Seeing the young lord enjoying himself in a carriage, Huang Sanyuan asks curiously, Young city lord, aren't we on a tight schedule? Why are you riding in a carriage? He puffs out his chest, full of himself, and replies, Am I a soldier? And I definitely don't need to be on the front lines. He says arrogantly, My responsibility is to command the battle. I can't unleash my true power if I'm suffering out here. He asks, Get it?
Huang Sanyuan can only reply,
understood. He then spouts off. You don't get it. I don't even need to leave my tent during battle, and I can still make the enemy crumble from 1,000 miles away with just one word. That's the heroic style I'm after. Huang Sanyuan is speechless at his arrogance. Scene change. Inside the city camp, Advisor Shi is rushing to report to the city lord. He bursts in and says, City lord, the young master has been gone for a day now. I'm still feeling uneasy. How about you send out another 100 light cavalry to check the situation, just in case. Meanwhile, the city lord is chilling in bed, playing with some pretty girls, not paying attention to the advisor's words, and says, what could possibly happen? Just go away. He seems annoyed by Xi's presence. The old advisor bows his head and replies, yes? Right after, a soldier runs in to announce, orders. 100 light cavalry. Gather outside the city immediately. The cavalry starts to move out, chasing after the young lord's army. The leader yells, move out. Meanwhile, it's midnight, and the young lord's army is still pushing towards Hamo Ridge. Seeing that the soldiers are tired, Huang Sanyuan speaks to the young lord. Young city lord. We've reached Hamo Ridge. Should we let the soldiers rest for a bit? They've been marching for a whole day and night. Even though his soldiers are exhausted, he replies from inside his carriage, Steward Huang, don't you even know the basics of speed is key in war. If we rest, and the enemy comes, what if they sneak into our camp? His soldiers are all worn out, one says. But the soldiers are too tired. They can barely stand. The young city lord, hearing that, says, being my soldiers means they have to have the guts to overcome adversity, the will to survive even in the direst situations. He glances at Huang Sanyuan and says, Steward Huang, we're fighting a war so people are gonna die. What's a little fatigue? Huang Sanyuan wants to throw up blood. Suddenly, they hear horses galloping. A soldier on horseback rushes to report. Young master, there's a fork in the road ahead. One large road, one small trail, and another that leads to a narrow gorge. Which way do we go? Huang Sanyuan yells, idiot! We take the big road, obviously. Stop screwing around. The young city lord, hearing this, slowly opens his family's military book and says, hold on, let me consult the strategy book. He examines the map closely and says, Steward Huang also thinks we should take the big road, but wouldn't the bandits expect us to take this road? As he speaks, he confidently says that they must be lying in ambush, waiting for them to take that road. But too bad. I won't let them have their way. All their plans are going down the drain. After leading the army down a different path, unexpectedly, they head towards Green Ox Mountain. A bandit from Green Ox Mountain notices them approaching and says, Hamo Ridge, seriously, does Blackstone City really want to wipe out the bandits on Green Ox Mountain? Then, he rushes back and says that he must quickly report to the big boss. When Han Xuanji's army gets close to Green Ox Mountain, they are immediately spotted by scouts who report to the various mountain camps. At Flying Tiger Camp, the scout returns to the camp immediately. He says, it's definitely the army of Blackstone City, but they took the path with the narrow gorge and left. The big boss's subordinate says, boss, it seems like they're not after us. That road leads to Hamo Ridge. The big boss replies, what's at Hamo Ridge? Why would they send an army of thousands for that? The head honcho sighed, worriedly saying, if only we had a strategist. Well, let's just watch how things unfold. At this time, the young city lord's army had moved to a gorge near Hamo Outpost. Chen Dalei's group was also fully prepared. Upon seeing the enemy's army, the strategist felt a little afraid and said, head honcho, they're here, Dalei responded. That's got to be over 1,000 guys. The strategist seemed to have lost heart. In the face of their power, he said, head honcho, let's retreat. This is bad. Seeing them, Dalei wasn't fazed at all and retorted, retreat, too late. We can only fight according to the original plan. With that, everyone prepared to move into their positions, Cheng Dalei instructed. Lure them into Bone Valley. When I roll the logs down, Lin Xiaoyu, light the fuse buried at the mouth of the cave. Strategist Shu, Big Bro Qin, Ling Sher, the three of you drop the explosives from the front. Seeing this, strategist Shu asked, head honcho, why are we only collapsing one side of the valley mouth? If we collapse both sides, Cheng Dalei decisively replied, surround a city on 3 sides, leaving one open. People in desperate situations will unleash unimaginable fighting power. Only when they see a way out, when there's still hope, will they not fight with all their might. As he spoke, Dalei thought, we're different, we have no way out. At this moment, the Blackstone City army had advanced deep into the valley. Someone shouted, head honcho, they've entered the defile. What to do? Cheng Dalei realized the time wasn't right yet, and said, wait a little longer. A little longer. When the enemy army had entered the central section, strategist Shu said, head honcho, cavalry have entered one thread of sky. Seeing that the time was ripe, Cheng Dalei took out his weapon, chopped the rope holding the logs, and shouted, charge. After that, all the ropes were cut. The large logs hurtled down with lightning speed. One guy riding a horse was hit in the head by a log and screamed. From above, Cheng Dalei saw Lin Xiaoyu still hesitating and urged, Lin Xiaoyu, light it up. Meanwhile, Lin Xiaoyu looked down, holding the flame and trembling, ignoring Cheng Dalei's words. Immediately,
Dalei stepped forward, patted Lin Xiaoyu on the shoulder, and said, "Is this your first time killing someone?" He trembled, and replied, "There are too many people below." Cheng Dalei grabbed him, pushed him against a tree, and explained, "This is war, not child's play. It's not glorious, nor is it elegant or refined." Then, Cheng Dalei shouted in his face, "War is you wanting to kill me wanting to kill you, that's all there is to it." At this point, Lin Xiaoyu understood something. Then, Dalei resolutely picked up the torch and said, "If we let them out of here, we're the ones who die." With that, Dalei lit the fuse, creating earth-shattering explosions. Rocks and soil on the cliff face fell like the sky was collapsing. The soldiers below looked up, still not understanding what was happening. Their faces were pale as a ghost. The falling rocks formed a wall, blocking their path. One of them shouted, "The exit is blocked." But unexpectedly, a few riders escaped, one person said. Head honcho, 10 cavalrymen escaped. At this moment, those trapped inside still didn't know what was about to kill them. One thought it was the work of demons and said, "Is this the mountain spirit causing trouble?" Suddenly, a huge explosion sent them flying dozens of meters. Other cavalrymen, more fortunate, escaped from the place where large rocks were flying overhead. A moment later, they spotted Cheng Dalei's group and shouted, "They're on the mountain! Charge!" At this time, on the mountain, Big Bro Chin and Cheng Dalei were discussing the next plan. Big Bro Chin said, "Head honcho, I'll go down and stop them," Dalei replied. "Even though we've divided Yang Cheng into many portions, it's still hard to say if we have enough." Strategist Zhu, light the rest of the buried explosives. Make them retreat from one thread of sky. Meanwhile, Ling Rare and Xiao Yu continued to throw explosives down. The sound of galloping horses echoed incessantly. Finally, the young lord's soldiers caught up. They charged towards Brother Qin and shouted, "Kill!" Facing the approaching soldiers, he showed no fear. Standing tall and firm like Shu Hai, as they surged forward, he declared, "With Qin Man here, don't even think about advancing." They charged, each and every one of them getting wrecked by Brother Qin. He roared, "I told you, you can't pass." But they didn't care, and kept rushing in, only to be sent back to their ancestors. One guy charged, only to have Brother Qin impale him with his spear, saying, "I won't allow it." The dying soldier lamented, "Damn it, I didn't get a single moment of rest from beginning to end." Below, the soldiers were still running around in chaos from the explosive force of the rolling rocks. The soldiers were desperately trying to escape, yelling, "Run, run!" And the explosions kept happening, leaving them with no chance to resist. They fearfully turned back to beg the young city lord for help, saying, "Young city lord." The remaining soldiers also ran away in terror. Quickly, the young city lord saw his soldiers wounded and fleeing. Not only did he refuse to help them, but he even forced them to turn back, saying, "Don't run. Anyone who dares to come here will be killed." He was still arrogant, thinking he could handle this. "I'm so awesome. I feel like a famous general has possessed me. What is this hardship? I will turn defeat into victory." The soldiers, terrified, ran with their heads down, yelling, "Young city lord, this mountain is haunted. It won't let us leave." They thought this place was haunted by gods and demons, so they only cared about escaping, saying, "It won't let us leave," the young city lord shouted. "Then die." His carriage was running when suddenly the wheel came off, causing his carriage to overturn. The carriage exploded into pieces. Butler Huang anxiously said, "Young master, retreat. The situation is hopeless. If we don't run now, when will we?" The young city lord was stunned with fear. "Right, run. Which famous general of the past hasn't failed a few times before maturing? This little setback isn't enough to keep me down." He held up his sword, which was taller than his forehead, and said emptily, despite the rocks falling on him, "Butler Huang, you can witness my path to becoming a famous general. It's your glory." Huang was hit on the head by a rolling stone, and after hearing his nonsense, his face darkened. He punched the young city lord hard in the lower back, cursing, "Damn you, your head is full of crap. You can live and die with your glory. Let me go so I can run." After saying that, Butler Huang ran away, leaving him alone. Behind them, the defeated soldiers collapsed like dominoes. Once the soldiers start running, it will cause the entire army to fall into chaos. One person leads 100 people like a flood, completely unstoppable. That's right, if they can live, who wants to die? Who doesn't want to save their life? Cheng Dalei stood on the cliff observing the entire battle, still in disbelief. "We won. We actually won." Shu Shenji beside him reminded him, "Great leader, we won." Cheng Dalei regained his composure, stood up and waved his hand, shouting, "Xiao Yu, military advisor, follow me to clean up the battlefield." The three of them jumped onto the same carriage. Cheng Dalei was full of vigor, shouting, "Linger, beat the drums." Linger quickly and skillfully beat the drum, creating a powerful and imposing sound. Cheng Dalei embarked on his chosen profession. The carriage arrived on the battlefield below, and Cheng Dalei shouted, "If you don't want to die, get off your horses and drop your weapons immediately. We bandits only want the horses, not the people." In front, Qin Man was full of vigor, riding his horse and stabbing his spear at the enemy. The remaining guys saw Chen Shi being overwhelmed and fled in panic. "Retreat quickly." The remnants of the army ran for their lives, none of them daring to stay on their horses. Watching the remnants of the army scatter, Cheng Dalei turned and instructed. Military advisor, have Da He lead these horses into the stables. Xiao Yu, you come with me to collect the weapons. At a cliff not far away, another group of bandits looked at the raging fire below with some bewilderment. Heh, one of them said. Boss, what do you think happened? How could those small fries beat an army of 1,000? The boss, Gao Feihu, pondered for a moment, then said, I don't get it either. Could it be they have some expert helping them? The subordinate shook his head in amazement. The world is truly unpredictable, Gao Feihu retorted. You're just a bandit. What's with all the philosophical musings? Have you forgotten our main job? He shouted. My brothers, let's loot them dry. With that, the Flying Tiger's brothers rushed forward fiercely. They fought, killed, and yelled. Spit out your weapons. Someone pinned a soldier down and shouted, I don't have new shoes this year, give me yours. Someone else, lacking pants, threatened, lie down, take off your pants. The soldier struggled, refusing. Are you serious? The threatener cursed. Who cares about your chastity? I want your pants. Hurry up, give me your pants. Meanwhile, Cheng Dalei was chasing after the young master on horseback, shouting as he galloped. My sword, mine, sword. The young master, holding the sword, ran for his life. Cheng Dalei shouted, Stop! He suddenly stopped his horse, then listened quietly. There was the sound of orderly hooves. A sharp cavalry was approaching. Seeing a teenager running towards him in a panic with a knife in his hand, Zhu Bangshuan said, Drop your weapon. Cheng Dalei hid in the distance, thinking to himself. This aura is strong. Could it be reinforcements? But why now? The young master, terrified, ran to beg for help. Shui Bangshuan, military advisor Shui, save me. They're bullying me. They're all bullying me. Immediately, Shu Bangshuan swung his blade. Just as the young master shouted, Save me, he was killed by Shui Bangshuan's blade. Blood spurted from his neck, and his body fell. Zhu Bangshuan coldly carried the body away. The system interface appeared. His name is Shu Bangshuan. An outstanding strategist, somewhat famous, age 52, skill 7 severing blade, hidden attribute, known. Cheng Dalei frowned. Outstanding strategist Xin An was also called an outstanding bandit, able to take on 100. But this outstanding strategist is even scarier than any outstanding martial artist. Sensing someone watching him, Shu Bangshuan's cold eyes swept over. Cheng Dalei was startled. He quickly crouched down, quietly hiding behind a bush. Seeing nothing suspicious, Shu Bangshuan left, going back. Seeing the army below leave, Cheng Dalei wondered to himself, just going back like that? There are still people like that in this era, so not all strategists are as useless as that Zhu Shenji. He kicked a stone lying on the ground, cursing, damn it, my sword suddenly grew legs and ran away. At this moment, the system issued a notification, mission completed. Defend the mountain fortress for the nth time, received a random draw X1, draw now, immediately draw. The system then appeared. The little girl seemed relieved of a burden. Ah, finally I'm out, I never want to go into a dark room again. Cheng Dalei was puzzled. Huh, I thought you were fine before. The system sulked. That was just my shell. Didn't you notice anything unusual? Didn't you see that even the dialogue was gone? Just the bare mission? Cheng Dalei was a little impatient. Didn't notice. It's good that way. You used to nag and beat me all day. I'm so much more comfortable without you. The system angrily kicked him on the head. Hey, remember, I was thrown into that awful dark room because of you. Cheng Dalei's face darkened. In that case, can we still play Pop the Colonel next time? The system turned green. What do you say? He flashed a sly smile. Then the little girl chased him with a giant hammer. Ugh! Cheng Dalei galloped away on his horse. Over by Shu Lingmer, she joyfully exclaimed, Dad, this is like a dream. Shu Shenji quickly reminded her. Lingshi, lead the horses properly. We still need to head back to the fort. She happily tried to contain her excitement, leading the horses while cheering, Dad, I love this white horse. Gao Feihu's group stopped ahead. Shu Shenji warmly said, Yo, old man Shu, you're doing quite well, aren't you? Can Toad Mountain Fort really swallow it all alone? Share some with our fort. Shu Shenji awkwardly greeted them. Big Boss Feihu, what a pleasure to meet you. Are you leading your men on patrol so early today? Gao Feihu replied with a laugh. Now that you guys at Toad Mountain Fort have struck it rich, remember, you gotta leave some bones for others to chew on too. Tell me, how are these horses gonna be divided? Shu Shenji hesitated. This matter, Shu Lingshi spoke up. We got these horses ourselves, why should we share them with you guys? Strategist Shu saw his daughter didn't know how to speak properly, and immediately scolded, Linger, shut your mouth. Hearing that, she angrily turned her face away. Feeling wronged, Shu Shenji clasped his hands and said, You all must have worked hard this time. Surely you've earned quite a bit, haven't you? Gao Feihu sneered. How could we compare to you? Toad Fort took the big bite. We only picked up a few scraps. One of his subordinates immediately shouted loudly, Old man, cut the pretense. If you don't want to share, we'll just come and take it ourselves. Instantly, Feihu's men charged forward with their blades, some shouting, I want that white horse. The one leading them hadn't even galloped over yet when an arrow whizzed by, piercing directly into the horse's eye, making the horse writhe and collapse. Gao Feihu's subordinate fell with it, struggling to crawl back up. Who's there? Everyone's eyes went wide with shock. What formidable archery! Seeing him fall, a subordinate immediately shouted, "Second boss!" A cold voice rang out. "As my hand enters the quiver, whoever dares step forward, dies." Qin Moyang coldly aimed an arrow towards Gao Feihu. Gao Feihu furrowed his brows. This attitude, does it mean Toad Mountain Fort really wants to pick a fight with our brothers? Such a big piece of pie, Toad Mountain Fort intends to swallow it all alone, not wanting to share even a bit with the other brothers. The atmosphere instantly turned silent. No one dared to speak up. From a distance, Cheng Delay walked over, carrying a blade on his shoulder, and cleared his throat. "So, according to Boss Gao, how should we divide this?" Shin Man felt wronged. Big Boss, Feihu Fort's men immediately started whispering, "Is this really the son of the old fort master of Toad? They say he's a good-for-nothing, but seeing him with my own eyes now, it seems the rumors were just rumors." Seeing Cheng Delay unshaken, Gao Feihu secretly wondered. He's clearly surrounded, yet this guy can still stay calm. Is he hiding some trick up his sleeve? Seeing no one spoke up, Cheng Delay then said, "Well, don't you want to divide it? Or should I divide it for you? Here's the deal. I'll kill all of you, and then everything will still be mine." As soon as his words fell, a patch-eyed subordinate from Feihu Fort pointed his blade at him, fiercely shouting, "Kid, you've eaten a tiger's guts and a leopard's guts, huh?" The guy next to him also angrily retorted, "Your old man didn't even dare to breathe a word when he was alive, and you dare to be so arrogant? Damn it, you're just a few guys, yet you're mouthing off so much." Feihu Fort's men all brandished their blades, and fiercely roared, "Cheng Delay, no need for more words. Let's just kill those mother FCKERS. Cheng Delay cleared his throat. "Shut your damn mouths." He pointed a finger at Gao Feihu, and coldly asked, "I'm asking you, do you guys even have 1,000 men?" Gao Feihu was a little stunned. "Why do you ask, Head Chief Cheng? What if it's enough? What if it's not?" Cheng Delay squeezed his fists tight, a murderous aura radiating from his eyes. "If it's not 1,000, I'm just worried it's not enough for me to kill. I've already killed 1,000, so why would I care about killing another 1,000 more?" Seeing his overwhelming aura, the men of the Flying Tiger Stockade felt a sense of unease. Gao Feihu was suspicious. The Toad Mountain Stockade only has 5 men, so how could they possibly have made 1,000 soldiers flee in terror? Despite what he was thinking, he still said, "Head Chief Cheng, you are young, talented, and your divine power is peerless." He clasped his hands together. "I admit I couldn't have done what you did today. I only wish to ask how you managed it." Cheng Delay burst out laughing. Everyone in the Flying Tiger Stockade grew tense. Cheng Delay pointed forward and said, "I have a divine technique." Then, he pointed to the sky and continued, "I can summon heavenly lightning." The men of the Flying Tiger Stockade looked up at the sky in a daze. What? But nothing in the sky changed. The sun was still round, and the sky was still a clear, deep blue. Cheng Delay's mouth twitched, and he repeated awkwardly, "I can summon heavenly lightning." Half a day passed without anything happening, and the men of the Flying Tiger Stockade continued to wait, growing impatient. Cheng Delay continued to point at the sky. "That's lightning," he cursed inwardly. Hurry up, did Lin Xiaoyu not hear me or something?" It was then that the men of the Flying Tiger Stockade realized they had been tricked. One of them roared, "Mother Schaefer! This kid is still trying to fake being a god and a ghost!" The others were so furious their teeth were grinding, their faces darkened, and they advanced towards Cheng Delay with their sabers drawn. "Are you messing with me?" Cheng Delay kept patiently pointing at the sky, and summoning lightning, along with a growing sense of panic. Just as the men from the Flying Tiger Stockade were about to skewer him, only a meter away, a sudden boom rang out, and an explosion erupted right in front of Cheng Delay, sending rocks and dirt flying everywhere. The men of the Flying Tiger Stockade stood there, dumbfounded. Cheng Delay secretly sighed in relief. "Holy SHT, I almost died." He put on a mysterious expression. "Is there anyone who wants to try my 5 Thunder Heavenly technique?" Hearing this, the men of the Flying Tiger Stockade were filled with fear, and their resolve instantly crumbled. In this time before civilization had truly taken hold, ignorance made people reject reason. In an era where a man who threw a few pieces of spirit money into a well and called it holy water could command the worship of thousands of followers, Cheng Delay's performance was truly exceptional. Gao Feihu was secretly tense. So this guy relied on the 5 Thunder Divine technique to defeat 1,000 enemy soldiers? No wonder. If that heavenly lightning hit me, I'd be a goner too. Cheng Delay continued to point forward to threaten them. "Are you going to make way or not? Watch my lightning technique." Lightning, lightning, lightning. The men of the Flying Tiger Stockade ran away in a panic, each one terrified of being struck by Cheng Delay's 5 thunders. Wait a minute. Hearing Gao Feihu's call, Cheng Delay flinched, his face turned pale. Did he see through me? Cheng Delay regained his composure and turned back to reply. "What else does Head Chief Kaoya want?" Gao Feihu replied. "With so many horses, can the Toad Mountain Stockade really feed them all?" Cheng Delay said coldly. "If we can't feed them, we'll just slaughter them for meat. What the fight does that have to do with you anyway?" After saying that, he left. It was now nighttime, and it was a quiet night.
Inside the city lord's manor, the old city lord was reveling in pleasure with two beautiful women. A sound of thud, along with the dripping of blood on the floor. Zhu Bengshuan came in, carrying a dead young man whose body was still covered in blood. The old man said, "City lord, please lay the young man down." He feigned sorrow. "Your son was ambushed and killed by a thief." Like a bolt from the blue, the old city lord jolted to his feet. What? He clenched his fists, his body trembling with either hatred or grief. He looked at his son's cold face on the ground, his voice choked with emotion. "Xuanji, my son." He plopped down on the floor and hugged his son. Two streams of tears flowed down his cheeks. Xie Bangquan on the side quietly sat up, his eyes pitch black. He swiftly drew his blade, slashing straight into the city lord's chest. The city lord was knocked backward by the blow. Clutching his chest wound, he finally understood. He glared at Xie Bangquan, grinding his teeth. "It's you," Xie Bangquan coldly replied. "That's right." Instantly, he charged forward with his blade. "City lord, you've been warming that seat for way too long. Time for a change of ownership." He aimed and slashed without mercy. The city lord quickly dodged to the side, grabbing the nearby lamp, and roared, "Why? Why?" Xiao Bangquan coldly replied, "City lord, the age of chaos has arrived. The empire is like a snake without a head, and the ambitious ones in the world crave to unify it, yet you indulge yourself in these chaotic times. You're not worthy." As they exchanged blows, Xie Bangquan continued, "So I came." The two beauties on the bed were terrified at the scene, too scared to scream. The city lord retorted, "You want to seize the world? You think you're worthy?" He smashed the lamp down on Xie Bangquan's head. He quickly blocked it with his blade, roaring, "Back when I drove back the wrong tribes, you were just a woodcutter on the mountain." The city lord angrily shouted, "You read a few books and think you can contend for the world." He thrust the lamp towards Xie Bangquan's stomach. "Who do you think you are? If I hadn't promoted you, do you think you'd be where you are today? Even if I can't keep this world, it's not your turn." The lamp was thrust with force, breaking several oil containers. Zhu Bengshuan clutched his stomach, groaning in pain as he staggered backward. He lowered his head and coughed up blood. "Cough, cough. You truly live up to your name, Han Huku. For suppressing the wrong tribe for 30 years, your talent is just as legendary as they say, City Lord." Zhu Bengshuan bows in admiration. Han Hu-ju grabbed the lampstand and lunged forward. He cursed, "You're just a dog I raised. Not content with being a dog, you dream of climbing up to be the master? Let me tell you, with your meager skills, it's already hard enough to occupy a city, let alone contend for a country and seize the world. I've slept with more women than you've met people, and I've killed enough people to fill a fortress. But you, your whole life, are just a fool who thinks he's right." Xie Bangquan had by now managed to stand up again. He used all his strength to counterattack. Han Hu-ju also prepared to receive them both, ready for a life-and-death battle. But suddenly, a pair of hands reached out. The two women who had been serving Han Hu-ju just now were now holding him tightly. One of them stabbed him in the stomach with her hairpin. Han Hu-ju looked down in surprise and roared. He never expected to be betrayed. Seizing the opportunity, Xie Bangquan thrust his blade straight through his stomach. In the city lord's heart, he was still calling out the names of the two women he cherished. Huaker, Kao-er. Xie Bangquan panted heavily. He looked down at the city lord's corpse collapsing to the ground, and he spoke. "I know I can't compare to you, but I want to try. Who knows, I might succeed, just like today." Han Hu-ju's corpse coughed. As blood flooded through his throat, Xie Bangquan leaned down, reaching out to listen. "What was that?" Han Hu-ju struggled to say. "Stone City is the gateway to the empire. Can't let the wrong tribes wreak havoc on the world. De you." After hearing this, Xie Bangquan was a little silent. He poured the lamp oil onto the curtains. "Farewell, Tiger Bro." That night, the city lord's mansion was engulfed in flames. The next morning, in a vast field of ripe rice, several figures appeared. One person with a pockmarked face spoke up. "Big boss, don't be lazy. We need to quickly harvest the rice. The horses we caught the other day are about to starve." Watching the sparrows peck at the grains, Cheng Delay huffed and puffed. I can't even breathe." Struggling to cut another clump of rice, Lin Xiaoyu replied wearily, "Can you believe a great hero like me has to do this kind of stuff?" He slumped down, lamenting, "I just can't believe it." Leaning against a rock nearby, Cheng Delay clutched his stomach in pain, groaning, "Ugh, sudden stomachache. Can't even wiggle a finger." Ahead, Shu Shenji loaded the basket of rice onto the cart, snapping back. "Cut it out, you used that excuse yesterday." Cheng Delay scratched his head. "Time for a new excuse then, headache." Zhu Shenji cleared his throat against the cold. "Big boss, stop slacking. The rice will get all the grains knocked out if it's left out in the sun too long. This year's harvest is already late enough." Cheng Delay hesitated. "Well, then his eyes lit up. "Aha, just remembered. We haven't been robbing for days. Can't neglect our main job." With that, he dashed off. Lin Xiaoyu pretended to chase after him, calling out, "Where are you going, big boss? Robbing? Take me with you." Shu Shenji was speechless looking at the two of them. Nearby on the cliffside, a group of people carrying firewood descended. The younger man at the back said,
Dad, are there bandits around here lately? Old Bao in front replied.
Are you more scared of bandits or not getting a wife? After we're done chopping wood today, I'll buy you a donkey. With a donkey, you'll have an easier time getting married. Old Bao glanced back, oblivious to his son's slight resentment. But horses and donkeys aren't the same, Old Bao immediately retorted. What's the difference? Just as he finished speaking, two unfamiliar young men wielding weapons jumped down from the cliff above Cheng Dalei and Lin Xiaoyu.
The group, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of bandits, gasped in shock, especially Old Ba, who had just asked whether his son was scared of bandits or not getting a wife. His face paled.
The four fathers and sons dropped their firewood and knelt down, clasping their hands. Great King, spare us, Great King, have mercy, Cheng Dalei said decisively. Get up, what's with the kneeling? He pointed ahead and asked.
Heard you wanted a horse,
Old Bao replied in a fluster. No, we don't have money for a horse. It's just my son's grown but can't find a wife. If we got a donkey to till the land, at least we could find someone to be a matchmaker.
Cheng Dalei pointed at himself and laughed heartily. Ha ha, your lucky day has arrived. I'm here to sell horses. Aren't you touched? Aren't you happy? Old Ba replied obsequiously. Very lucky, but I don't have any money. Cheng Dalei nodded. Yeah, you need money to buy stuff, huh? How much you got? Where's it at?
Old Ba tremblingly held out his hand. I only have 2 coins left. Cheng Dalei took them, his lips twitching. 2 coins, he pressed. Got anything else on you? Old Bao replied. There's also 4 fistfuls of rice mixed with weeds my mom made for me to eat on the road. 'Cause I'm hungry. Lin Xiaoyu took a fistful of rice. Taking a bite, Cheng Dalei asked. Good. Lin Xiaoyu tasted it, and nodded. Yeah, not bad. Lin Xiaoyu whispered to him. Big boss. Isn't 2 coins plus 4 fistfuls of weed-mixed rice a little too low? Cheng Dalei replied. I know it's a bit low, but what else can we do if we don't sell? Kill them for meat? I mean, should we really sell them? They look pretty poor. Let's consider it doing a good deed.
Lin Xiaoyu asked again. So you're saying we sell it? Cheng Dalei nodded. Sell it. Seeing the two of them whispering for half a day, Old Bei was tense, wondering if they were going to butcher him.
After they finished discussing, Cheng Dalei turned around and said seriously, Alright, consider this our opening sale, you guys got lucky. Follow me up the mountain. Old Bao prostrated on the ground, wailing. Up the mountain, Great King. If you want to catch someone, catch me. Spare my sons. They need to carry on the Lin family line.
We placed our blades in front of Old Ba, causing his face to turn ashen.
Cheng Dalei said coldly. The heck? You don't want to go up the mountain.
The 4 fathers and sons had no choice but to follow him. Cheng Dalei reminded Lin Xiaoyu. Follow and escort them from behind up the mountain. Lin Xiaoyu, take good care of our guests.
Old Bao's eldest son was tense, sweat pouring down his face. Dad, are they going to kill us? Old Bao tried to calm his son. Endure it, don't be afraid. Looking at his father's trembling legs, the son replied. Dad, stand firm before you talk. Gathering all his courage, Old Bao said to his son. When they make their move, I'll fight them with my life. Little San, you must escape the mountain at all costs. You are the future of the Li Rai family. Upon arriving, Cheng Dalei spoke. Alright folks, pick one. Old Ba flinched and yelled. I'll fight. Lin Xiaoyu cleared his throat. Fight what, Cheng Dalei?
Here, have a taste of this. Then he glanced at the horse owner and said, Hurry up and pick one. Old Bei's eyes widened in surprise.
Great King, are you really going to sell them to us? Cheng Dalei nodded. Yeah, how many do you want? Old Ba replied. Then, 1. Cheng Dalei frowned. 1. I go through all this trouble to promote them, and you only want 1. Old Ba was stunned. Could we take 2? Cheng Dalei replied. 4. You have 3 sons, don't you want 1 each? And 1 for yourself, isn't that 4? Old Bei scratched his head and said with a smile. We can't afford 4. The sons immediately opened their mouths. Dad, Cheng Dalei replied. Then 2 it is. By the way, do you guys know how to harvest rice? Old Ba happily replied. We're all farmers. What else would we know how to do? The 3 sons were speechless. You can tell he wants our help, but Dad just agrees. Cheng Dalei nodded. Alright. As long as you each finish cutting 1 mud before dark, I'll give you 2 horses. He turned to the side and instructed. Xiaoyu, give them the sickles, and take them behind the mountain.
Shu Shenji, while loading the rice onto the cart, said, Big boss, you're being lazy again.
Cheng Dalei leaned back against the tree, took a sip of water, and replied. Not at all. Can't you see I'm working hard? In his heart, he felt a bit happy. Mount Humo is like a small family now. Qin Man is the honest and simple big brother. Lin Xiaoyu is the stubborn younger brother. Shu Lingyer is the beautiful yet-to-be-married sister-in-law. Shu Shenji is the flattering dad. I think I'm falling in love with this place. While harvesting rice, Li Laoba's son couldn't quite believe what was happening, and asked, Dad, do you really think they'll give us horses? Li Laoba cleared his throat. Don't get your hopes up. Get to work. I bet if we finish before dark, they'll send us to see King Yama. As evening approached, after finishing the rice harvest, Li Laoba asked, Great King, do you need us to help grind the grain? Cheng Dalei shook his head.
No need. Go pick out 2 horses.
Li Laoba's son cheered. Dad, are we dreaming? The bandits are really giving us 2 horses. Li Laoba, riding on horseback, happily replied, Bandits? What bandits? They're immortals, immortals saving us. The sun teased. In your eyes, immortals also harvest rice? Li Laoba cleared his throat. You little brat, you've been taught a lesson. If you work, you eat. If you don't work but want to eat, you'll eat plain rice with nothing to cut it with. Immortals don't just harvest rice, immortals also eat rice and flapjacks.
The sun, as if discovering a new secret, cheered. Ah, so they really are immortals.
Wait, at night, Lin Xiaoyu brought a stranger to where Cheng Dalei and the others were sitting around the fire. He spoke. Big boss, someone wants to join, Cheng Dalei asked.
Who is it? He looked at the person behind him, recognized Steward Huang, and frowned. Why is it you? The young man behind him said with a painful expression. Big boss, these days have been so miserable for me. That day was truly a narrow escape. After being defeated, I planned to return to Blackstone City, but found out that City Lord Zhu Bangshuan, having exhausted his morals and integrity, was cleaning up the remaining loyal subordinates. I don't know if I count as a loyal subordinate of the City Lord, but I figured Shui Bangshuan wouldn't let me off the hook, so I hastily packed some jewels to prepare to flee to Yegg City, and happened to run into Lin Xiaoxia, who was preparing to descend the mountain. According to Xiaoxia, toiling and struggling is not as good as joining Mount Hamo as a bandit. Adversity reveals true feelings. I am truly moved. Cheng Dalei pondered. You mean Shui Bangshuan killed Han Huju and became the city lord himself? Steward Huang replied. It must be him, but he's spreading rumors that you sent someone to assassinate Han Huju, and even brazenly declared that he will kill you to avenge him. Cheng Dalei was dumbfounded. Bullshit. Mount Hamo has 5 people. Who could we send to kill someone? Steward Huang replied. But no one knows you only have 5 people, not even me. I didn't expect you to have so few people, and Shui Bangshuan is also spreading rumors that Mount Hamo has 1,000 people. All ruthless killers. The great king leading Hamo is a fierce and cunning beast, eating people every meal. Now he's posted wanted posters all over the city. Your heads all have bounties on them. A glint of sharpness flashed in the corner of Cheng Dalei's eyes. Oh, how much is the bounty? Steward Huang replied. The head of Hamo's great king has a bounty of 50 liang. Cheng Dalei frowned. 50 liang. Jade-faced scholar Xu Shenji. 35 liang. Xu Shenji's eyes widened. I have one too, Steward Huang continued. And the tall, dark-faced guy with the beard has 30 liang. Xin Man spoke up. It's a shame I couldn't personally kill that Han Huju, Cheng Dalei angrily shouted. Damn it! That Zhui Bangshuan dares to look down on me. Dares to put a bounty of only 50 liang on me. Bastard. The great Yu Empire has issued dragon tiger coins, which are gold coins. 1 gold coin can be exchanged for 1 lemang of silver, which is worth more than 1,000 compared to other coins. Dalei still remembers that in this era, the daily expenses of ordinary farming households are 3 to 4 lemang of silver. He turned around and asked Xu Shenji, strategist, how much was Gao Fei Hu worth? Xu Shenji recalled for a moment and replied, it seems like 180 liang. The corners of Cheng Dalei's mouth curled up. I'll definitely surpass him, Steward Huang thought to himself. You think this is a great thing? You guys are bandits, not pirates, you know? Lin Xiaoyu spoke up. Big boss, Steward Huang really wants to join. What do you think? If you don't mind, let's take him into our bandit gang. Steward Huang immediately knelt down on one knee, cupped his hands, and said, Huang Sanyuan pays respects to the big boss. The system then manifested, grinning mischievously. Unexpectedly, a foot soldier general is actually a steward. The interface appeared. Character name, Huang Sanyuan, a somewhat famous steward, 43 years old, skills are non-attribute, hidden. Cheng Dalei looked at him and asked, do you think our Hamo is cool? Huang Sanyuan was stunned. Cool, Cheng Dalei asked. What's cool about it? Huang Sanyuan was dumbfounded, not sure how to respond. Since this mountain fortress only has 5 people, Cheng Dalei then says. Your attitude clearly looks down on our fortress, huh? Don't underestimate us just because we're few in number. You gotta know each of us can take on 100 guys. Hearing that, Huang Sanyuan got nervous. Cheng Dalei seriously says, joining us isn't that simple. How about this? You write a 5,000-word essay for me, I'll read it, and consider whether to keep you around or not. Xu Shenji pretends to be serious, acting along. Alaoui is really strict. Huang Sanyuan shouts in fear. 5,000 words? Grand Chief, why don't you just kill me? Cheng Dalei crosses his arms and continues. You're making this difficult for me. Just think about it. How can you show your sincerity? Plus, what can you do for the fortress? Huang Sanyuan mysteriously replies. Grand Chief, I'm holding a treasure map right now. He holds out a rolled up piece of paper and says, I don't know if this is enough to show my sincerity. Cheng Dalei takes the map and replies, treasure map of what? Huang Guanjie replies. It's the map of the city lord's hidden stash before he fled Blackstone City. I dug it up 3 years ago. The Rong people invaded Dayu. In Dayu, they not only burned, killed, and raped, but also carried away a lot of treasures after being forced to retreat. Those treasures that they didn't have time to carry were buried underground. This map is the map to the location of the treasure stash. Cheng Dalei opens the map and examines it. Then asks, what are these points on here? Huang Sanyuan replies. I don't know. Cheng Dalei is stunned. What?
You don't know, Huang Sanyuan calmly replies. Of course, if someone knew, wouldn't it have been dug up already? Cheng Dalei thinks to himself. There isn't even a single word on this, let alone where the mountains are or the river terrain, no way anyone knows. He speaks up. This map is still a bit lacking in sincerity. This Huang Guanjia. If you want to quickly join our fortress, then prove your worth some more. Cheng Dalei continues. I remember. There are a few troublesome matters near our fortress. I'll assign them to you as an examination. If you can resolve them, then I'll welcome you to join. Huang Sanyuan inwardly laments. In these turbulent times, is it this hard to be a bandit? He asks. What matters? Cheng Dalei replies. It's like this. Last time we ambushed you guys, I managed to collect over 20 horses. Huang Sanyuan continues. Is the Grand Chief saying that those horses have suddenly become redundant and there's no way to deal with them? If you ask me, this matter should be resolved sooner rather than later. Does the Grand Chief have dealings with merchants in Luoye City? If not, then you can only sell them to the bandits around here. Cheng Dalei exclaims, and happily says. That's a pretty good idea, military advisor. Did you hear that? Shu Shenji, beside him, replies. I'm still listening. Shu Shenji puts his hand on his forehead and replies, your idea unexpectedly coincides with mine. I was just about to say that, but you beat me to it. This is what they call great minds. Think alike. Cheng Dalei steps forward, puts his hand on Huang Sanyuan's shoulder, and praises. You're doing great. I feel like you can become a full-time employee soon. Keep up the good work. Huang Sanyuan feels a bit complicated inside. Sing, what is this inexplicable feeling of excitement? He happily nods. Yes. The next morning, at the Flying Tiger Fortress's horse pen, Gao Feihu looks at the injured horse and says to the second chief, Lao Er, your horse is injured, you can't ride it anymore, you can only use it for plowing. Don't be upset, if I have the chance later I'll find one that's 100 times better. Lao Er replies. What's wrong? Is Big Brother gonna give me your horse? This brotherhood is really touching. Gao Feihu is a bit embarrassed and replies, I just wanted to say you're delusional. At the gate of the fortress at this time, Jin excitedly announces, the good news, good news, good news. Lao Er turns around and asks, Big Brother, could it be someone is attacking the fortress? Gao Feihu heads towards the gate and says, let's go see what's going on. Seeing the announcement that has been posted, Cheng Dalei and Lin Xiaoyu run out to hide behind the bushes. Lin Xiaoyu whispers, the Grand Chief and them are here. Cheng Dalei quietly asks, did you finish posting on your side? Lin Xiaoyu replies, all done, what about you? Cheng Dalei nods. Okay, let's go hit the next fortress. The people in the Flying Tiger Fortress come out and see many announcement papers posted on the tree trunks. One person speaks up and asks, what's on there, Grand Chief? Quickly take it down and read it to see if it's true. Hurry, hurry, and see what it is. The announcement reads, good news, good news. Are you still worried about not having a horse to ride? Perhaps you're still feeling depressed, seeing your friends laugh at you when you can only walk while they're galloping? Without a horse in the martial world, no girl will even glance at you. Action speaks louder than words. Those who are faster than you already have a horse and a beautiful girl behind them, speeding through the hills. What about you? What are you waiting for? Note 1. Bring this flyer and you can get an 8% discount. Note 2. The promotion lasts until the end of the event season. Seeing these perplexing events, Gao Feihu thinks to himself, the handwriting is scribbled, the writing is nonsensical, what is this excited look on my face supposed to be? Seeing Lao Er tear the paper down, Gao Feihu frowns. Lao Er, what are you doing? Why are you tearing it down? Lao Er pointed at the paper excitedly, saying, Dada Ge, it's on sale. The bandits on Qingyu Mountain quickly got the news and filled out the registration form. Bandits like Gao Tu Ling, Hai Tu Po, and Xinghua Ling were all discussing this matter. People everywhere were paying attention. Then let's go see what tricks they're up to. On Cheng Dalei's side, after waiting for a long time, Shu Shenji asked, Dadangjia, will anyone come? Dalei shook his head. Not sure, it takes time for publicity to take effect. Dalei's subordinate pondered. Could it be that our new boss is like that Xuan Jihe kid? As unlucky as a dog? Always running into crazies? Lin Ji just yelled in one direction. Everyone, the big spenders are here. From afar, a group of people rode over. Dalei urged, quick, quick, everyone get ready, don't let anything go wrong. The big spenders shouted, hey, open the gate, I want to buy horses. Dalei ordered. Qinman, get ready to send them off. Qinman immediately raised his bow and arrow towards the group. The big spenders were frightened. Don't you take us seriously. Gao Feihu also spoke up. We have principles. Cheng Dadangjia. No need to be rash. This time we really came to buy horses. Dalei smiled. Don't be impatient, Huang Guanjia, show them around. Receiving the order, Huang Guanjia quickly got to work. This time, we'll use shadow auction to trade. Gao Feihu was confused. What's that? The manager continued. What shadow auction is, I'll explain to everyone right away. Do you see the curtain on the door? On the other side of the curtain, there's a shadow of someone leading a horse, the manager explained. Each auction is for one horse. Each time we'll lead a horse behind this curtain. You'll look at the shadow of the horse and bid. The highest bidder gets the horse. Everyone clamored angrily, saying, doesn't that mean I can't even see a hair on the horse? What if you bring out a lame horse?
Also, what if you secretly switch horses? Dele shouted. Silence! If you dare to be so talkative, I'll let you taste the thunder. The group immediately shut their mouths. Dele nodded. That's more like it, Huang Guanjie continued. The manager coughed and continued. We definitely won't cheat, and in fact, light can pass through this curtain, so you can see anything that happens behind it, just not clearly see what the horse is like. In the end, whether you buy a good or bad horse depends on your luck. Think about it. You might be able to buy a 1,000-mile horse at a super bargain price, but the opposite situation could also happen. It's like gambling. If you have no other comments, then the auction begins. Let's see, the first horse. Starting price is 1 shit of grain. No one spoke. Shu Shenji worried. Dadangjia, what do we do? No one dares to bid. Even Dele was sweating. Could it be that it's too high-end? And turned into a joke. At this moment a woman came forward. She smiled. Cheng Dangjia really knows how to play. This old lady will be the first bird today. I bid 1 shi of soybeans. The others looked at her and exclaimed. A beauty, Zhu Shenji explained to Dele. This is Zhao Bailang, from Jing, Hualing. The girl who was smiling just now drew her knife and shouted, What the hell are you looking at? Go home and look at your mom. Dare to look again. This old lady will cut off that toy of yours and throw it to the dogs. The group was sweating. We're just congratulating. Bai Yangjia. May you easily get a horse, we really admire you. In their hearts they scorned. 1 shin of soybeans can't even buy a decent horse. Not even enough for the saddle, Huang Guanjia announced. Deal. The first horse belongs to Bai Yangjia of Xinghua Ling, Lin Xiaoyu. Bring out the horse. The horse was led out. Extremely strong. The people outside regretted it immensely. Isn't this the horse I've been longing for day and night? If you can't get it, then rob it, Bai Lang threatened. Want to rob from me? Ask if my knife agrees. After saying that, she put the knife in her chest, then took out a piece of paper and asked Dele. Said it was 20% off. Is that still good? Cheng Dele checked the paper and nodded. A gentleman's word. Absolutely no bamboozling the old or tricking the young, of course it's still valid. Huang the steward returned 2 jin of beans to the Bai Yang family. Bai Lang leaped onto the horse and replied, Many thanks. A truly dashing move. She turned to the group behind her and said, My sisters. Let's go. Cheng Dele watched their departing figures. This horse. Shu Shenji interrupted. Boss Cheng, the horse is sold, no takebacks. Cheng Dele ignored him, his face flushed red. So pale. And those melons. Seeing someone succeeded, the rest immediately started a clamor, each hoping to snag a good horse for his steal. This made Cheng Dele happy. This sale is finally getting on track. He turned to Shu Shenji and asked, Advisor, can you tell me about little Bai Lang? Shu Shenji nodded. I can, little Bai Lang, I understand her. Before little Bai Lang went up the mountain, she practiced martial arts at home from a young age, mastering the flying daggers. Before she went up the mountain, she had been betrothed, but her husband died before the marriage. After that, she married his memorial tablet, so little Bai Lang was considered a jinx. Everyone said she cursed her husband to death, so she suffered a lot of humiliation in her husband's house. One night her father-in-law tried to climb into her bed, she stabbed him to death with a knife, and fled to Apricot Blossom Mountain to become a bandit. Cheng Dele was shocked. Are you saying that all the bandits on Apricot Blossom Mountain are women? Huang, the steward, replied. The backgrounds of the Apricot Blossom Mountain bandits and little Bai Lang are similar. Some are widows whose husbands died, some were abandoned by their husbands, families. Cheng Dele sighed. Such important news, why didn't you tell me sooner? We must get close to Apricot Blossom Mountain in the future, and become mountain strongholds helping each other. Huang the steward glanced at him askance. The people of Green Willow Mountain want to attack Apricot Blossom Mountain, and they see women as a disaster. I advise Boss Cheng not to have such thoughts. While they were talking, there was a quarrel behind them. Unconvinced, I'm not convinced. You're deliberately ganging up on me, no fair. This doesn't count. You guys deliberately gave me a blind horse, Huang the steward retorted. Once the price is paid, there's no going back. I tried to stop you just now. Cheng Dele stepped forward and asked, What's the matter, steward? Huang. The steward replied. I tried to stop him, but he was acting like he had cramps, insisting on bidding for a blind horse. The horse buyer was annoyed, seeing all of you constantly trying to stop me. I thought it was a good horse that you didn't want to sell, so I went crazy bidding. What a scam. Same old tricks. Thinking this, he got angry. Boss Cheng, this is a classic bait and switch. I don't care. This doesn't count. How could my dozens of shin of grain be exchanged for a blind horse? Huang the steward was flustered. Cheng Dele spoke up. We have already set the rules for this matter, and everyone has agreed. If second boss feels that it doesn't count, then everyone here will say it doesn't count. Seeing that their rights were being violated, everyone protested. Of course not. A real man's word is his bond. How can you go back on your word? You can only blame your own bad luck. Gao Fei Hu ordered. Give them the grain, let's go. The man could only grudgingly say, Ruthless. You guys are good. Remember this. Give me a 20% discount. Then he handed out the discount voucher. Seeing that these people had left, Huang the steward continued to shout, Boss Cheng, next. In the end, each horse sold for about 8 shi. A total of 76 horses were sold, exchanged for 500 shi of grain, weapons and other things. 1 shi of grain is about 50 jin, 500 shi is about 25,000 jin. For Mark's gang, this is a huge amount.
Mark's gang has never had so much grain. Now, grain and cereals are piled up everywhere, all flour, black beans, soybeans.
Cheng Dalei thought to himself.
War is indeed the fastest way to get rich. 25,000 jin of grain. I don't know how long it would take to grow that much. I remember there was a lucky draw after repelling Han Xuanji, a system reward. The weather is good today, I'll draw tonight. On the other side, someone complained irritably. Rocks, 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 stop going in circles. Gao Feihu's men saw that their boss was struggling with the blind horse, and asked, can't you get down and lead the horse?
Gao Feihu replied, no way, I have to ride the horse at least. If I get off the horse, everyone will think I'm pulling a cart. His younger brother muttered, This scene makes me want to write a poem.
Gao Feihu interrupted. Shut up. With your little learning, you still want to write poetry. His master asked. Boss, do you think there really is 5 thunder skill in this world? Gao Feihu replied. I heard there is. We've seen it with our own eyes, how could it be fake? We'll wait for the advisor to come back, he's the most knowledgeable, he'll definitely know. In the distance, a naive voice asked, Dad, do you think there are really gods in this world? That uncle replied. Why wouldn't there be? Otherwise, how did Li Gucheng get those 2 horses? It could only be a gift from the immortals.
After Li Gaocheng bought 2 horses from the Marks camp and brought them back to the village, rumors started spreading. Qingniu Mountain has immortals giving away horses.
Young Master Qing was frustrated. So you're saying we've been standing here for so long and haven't seen any immortals, his father advised. Be patient. This requires sincerity. Just then, a noisy voice shouted, Left, left, right, right. Li Zhuang quickly ran over to show off to them. You all come up and watch me perform. On Cao Feihu's side, he comforted Lao Er. Don't be angry anymore, let's go back and cook some dishes, drink some wine. Lao Er sadly asked. Bro, do you think anyone would buy my 2 horses if I sold them?
Cao Feihu shook his head. Probably not. No one's as dumb as you. Lin Zhuang suddenly appeared, blocking their path. But somehow he tripped and did a faceplant. He cried out in fear, Mountain King, spare me, Cao Feihu. And the others were confused. Looking at you, who are you guys?
Li Zhuang said, Great King, we're all poor people from down the mountain. We have wheat to cut, and since we don't have horses, can you lend us one, or even both? Lao Er was furious. What are you saying? I just got scammed out of dozens of shis of grain, and you guys want my horses, even dozens of them.
Tell me, who sent you here to provoke me? Li Zhuang cried in fear. Spare me, great king, spare me. We're all poor, we have nothing on us. Cao Feihu realized something and said, Wait, isn't this the boss, Li Zhuang of Li Family Village? Brothers, we've stepped on his turf before. This old geezer thought he had the numbers, so we wouldn't dare to act, but today he ran into the mountains himself, Lao Er added. It must be because I usually do good deeds. The immortals are taking pity on me. This is karma, brothers. Tie him up. Let him go home and get money. That night, Cheng Dalei snapped his fingers and called out, System, come here, it's lottery time. The system responded. Coming. Cheng Dalei excitedly looked at the lottery machine. System, I don't want much. Cannons, tanks, helicopters. The more the better. The system fell into silence. Seems a bit stuck. Wait. Then she shook the machine, but it didn't work. The system was angry. Can't even handle a single malfunction. Dare to make this queen take action. With that, the system punched the machine hard. The force sent a ball inside flying out of its orbit. It landed perfectly on Cheng Dalei's face. As soon as it hit the ground, the ball automatically opened. Congratulations, you've won a beginner-level stronghold defense blueprint. Cheng Dalei was surprised. This reward is different from the last one. Building a stronghold was already something I had to do. The stronghold only has 5 people, and they don't have anything, so others will try to rob you. But now it's different. The stronghold has 25,000 jin of grain, and it's in the den of the Xingniu Mountain bandits. Who knows how many people are drooling over it. The Marks camp is just a tiny bandit to me right now. When the age of chaos arrives, and heroes compete for the world, how will I even have a place to stand? Cheng Dalei asked. Steward Huang, you're knowledgeable. If the stronghold wants to recruit more people, where do you think we can get them from? The steward paused before replying. This is hard to calculate, Cheng Dalei pressed. Why is it hard? Tell me, the steward explained. The people of the empire can usually be divided into 4 classes. Have you heard of this before, Great King? Cheng Dalei was confused. 4 classes, how are they divided? The steward continued. The first class is of course the Daiyu Li royal family. Founded in 2020, they hold all the power. They don't need to work, they are provided for by the empire. The second class is the nobility. This class includes influential families, city lords, and wealthy merchants. The third class is the commoners, including landlords, rural gentry, and small traders. The fourth class is the destitute, including peasants, refugees, and slaves. Cheng Dalei asked further. So what kind are bandits? The steward replied. Bandits have no rank. You could say they're the lowest of the low. The empire doesn't even recognize bandits as citizens. They're lower than refugees, slaves, and beggars. If an ordinary person is driven to the brink, some would rather die than become a bandit. If a family has a bandit, The shame of the whole family will disgrace their ancestors.
Cheng Dalei sighed. So, bandits are such lowly beings.
Steward Huang. I'm planning to build a wall around the Marks Gang camp and reinforce the defenses a bit. The steward nodded. That would be good, but we don't have enough manpower.
Cheng Dalei continued. I've already thought about that. Moreover, I've come up with a plan. See what you think of my defensive design.
Looking at his design, the steward couldn't help but exclaim.
Did you do all this, boss? Cheng Dalei hesitated inwardly.
I guess you could say I did.
Thinking this, he nodded cheerfully. The steward suddenly knelt down.
Boss is a genius.
Huang Sanyuan will definitely do everything in my power to assist you, Cheng Dalei continued. As for the number of people, I already have a way. If we don't have people, we'll just rob them from other bandit camps. The steward hesitated.
Boss, that's not a good idea. If something goes wrong, spies will infiltrate our camp, Cheng Dalei continued.
We'll discuss the specifics later. If that doesn't work, the camp still has some explosives.
You go back and prepare this with military advisor Shu first.
I still need to scout the terrain of the camp.
After the steward left,
he looked around, noting the different positions of the magic stones.
Observing the local position of Marks Gang camp from a high altitude,
it could only be described as messy. It seems the first person who built the Marks Gang camp just built whatever came to mind, adding whatever was missing. All of this will be overturned and rebuilt in this renovation plan.
The system suddenly announced.
You have achieved success. Scouting the Marks Gang camp.
Reward.
Marks Gang camp map. Imprint in the brain. Cheng Dalei rejoiced inwardly.
What does this mean?
Can I get a map of any place I scouted from now on?
This is really good intel.
At the Flying Tiger camp, while he was grilling meat, a very clear shout came.
Good news! Good news!
He sweated. It's that voice again. I have a bad feeling. Lao Er ran over and said, Boss, let's go out and see. The group of people looked at the notice. His underlings urged, Boss, read it to us quickly. What does it say?
Gao Feihu reminded everyone.
No need to rush. I'll read it to you all. The notice said that Dalei was recruiting talent, and it also had wonderful terms like riding the best horse
and sleeping with the most beautiful women.
Lao Er disdainfully. Riding the best horse, sleeping with the most beautiful women. This sentence is really good. The grammar isn't bad either, Gao Feihu snapped. Damn it, I've never seen anyone so thick-skinned and shameless, so shameless.
He actually dared to poach people from our Flying Tiger camp. No way, grab my broadsword, I want to go find him and settle the score. Lao Er, who was still captivated by Dalei's charm,
as if feeling the lustful aura, hastily advised. Calm down, boss, Gao Feihu angrily said. How can I calm down? This is clearly bullying us at our doorstep, Lao Er advised. Let's wait for the military advisor to return and have some wine to calm down.
Gao Feihu then grabbed the wine gourd and chugged it down.
The people of his bandit camp were already restless. Do you think it's true? If we go, will we get weapons? And fragrant white steamed buns. I'm drooling just thinking about it. Should we try our luck?
Lao Er suddenly smiled.
Boss, I have an idea.
Isn't he trying to poach people from us? Let's just use his plan against him. We'll send a few brothers over there to eat his food and drink his wine.
If there's an opportunity to directly seize the Marks Gang camp, what do you think, boss? Could it be that my plan isn't any good? Gao Feihu finally snapped out of it and looked at him. It's not just that. I didn't expect you to know the using their own trick against them strategy. On the street, a teenager was wandering around. His name was Zhao Xiaoshu, a servant to Flying Tiger camp. His parents were bandits, so he was born a bandit too. Life as a bandit wasn't actually that great. They talked about drinking wine and eating meat, but Zhao Xiaoshu hadn't eaten meat in years. The harvests hadn't been good for the past 2 years, and sometimes the crops were completely lost. When there was no food, everyone had to dig wild vegetables in the mountains to eat. Today, he came with the second-in-command to join the Marks camp rally. He thought to himself, do they want to recruit us? The second-in-command said this was a counter-espionage tactic, but I didn't really understand it. I just heard the chief say so. People from many bandit camps had come. A man surnamed Huang was blocking the door, not letting anyone in no matter what. Everyone was lining up to enter. The second-in-command wanted to cut in line, but he was chased away. The second-in-command could be quite a jokester sometimes. I can't read, so I didn't know what was written there. I just copied the person in front of me and drew a circle on the paper.
As a result, someone handed me a saw to go to work.
If they want me to work, then I'll work. The second-in-command didn't have any objections. However, his assigned task was to chop trees, and the second-in-command was to carry wood. At noon, a very pretty girl was working diligently, eating dumplings for lunch. Seeing the dumplings, he couldn't help but be surprised. Isn't it only during the new year that we eat these? He remembered last year when he bought a bowl and didn't want to eat wild vegetables for days. Lunch really was dumplings. Dumplings filled with white wild vegetables, and it seemed like there was meat in them too. Zhao Xiaoshu himself ate 3 bowls. He never expected that there would be a day when he couldn't keep up with the dumplings. During the new year, he only ate 2 before his dad scolded his mom. In the evening, the Marks camp even distributed 5 caddies of grain. After returning to the bandit camp, everyone who heard about today's events suspected what they heard was false. Someone suggested that the chief should go. If such good things aren't for them, is the chief being unfair to them?
Amidst such a ruckus, Xiaoshu was saddened that he couldn't go tomorrow. Such good things couldn't be for him every day, but if he really couldn't, he'd work for one day. That 5 caddies of grain would mean they wouldn't be afraid of winter anymore, and his parents wouldn't have to go without white buns for almost a year. The harvest this year wasn't very good, and it hadn't rained in a long time. He was overthinking it. Okay, time to go to sleep. That night, when everyone had fallen asleep, Lao Er confided in Gao Feihu. Big bro, they really cook well, the salt is just right. I even secretly mixed in their bag of salt, they definitely didn't notice. Gao Feihu ate while glancing at him. So the purpose of sending you was to do this. I'm mainly wary of Zheng Dalei's 5 thunder technique. Did you see anything today? Lao Er shook his head. No, he didn't show his face all day, Gao Feihu continued. Then keep going tomorrow. Bring a few more people, we must find out the inside story of Zheng Dalai. Lao Er nodded happily. I also want to go earlier tomorrow. I won't eat breakfast tomorrow. I'll eat more of their food. Big bro, do you want to go? The food is all white buns. Gao Feihu was annoyed. The number of people who came the second day was several times the number of people who came the first day. There were more than 1,000 people. Huang Sanyuan was indeed a steward who had once managed a city. Even 1,000 people were commanded in an orderly manner. Some built walls with stones, some dug earth to bake bricks, some chopped down big trees on the hillside. The entire bandit camp was bustling with activity from early morning. On Su Ying's side, she was extremely annoyed. What are you doing here? Dalei calmly replied, maintaining a sense of mystery. Now everyone outside is saying that I've learned the 5 thunder technique from the immortals, and I'm cultivating by breathing in my room every day. Mu Changsheng, if I go out often they'll see me, even a great master has to go to the bathroom. What would happen if their idol worship collapsed? Su Ying asked again. Then why do you have to be in my room? Dalei said logically and plausibly. Because you're beautiful. Su Ying pouted, unable to refute. Dalei smiled. Don't be angry. It's very boring for me to stay like this all the time, right? No, in the entire bandit camp, I only find you beautiful, Su Ying said nonsense in a fit of pique. Outside, everyone was still working hard. The crowd saw Qin Man carrying a huge log and exclaimed, Brother Chen, do you have 300,000 or 400,000 caddies of strength in your shoulders? Qin Man smiled awkwardly. Why be so exaggerated? Someone pointed to a rock in front and said, Brother Qin, show us a move or two, broaden our horizons. Qin Man nodded. Then let's give it a try. With that, he went and lifted the rock in front of everyone. Everyone was terrified. Brother Qin, this rock must weigh 4 or 5 10,000 caddies. Be careful. Without saying a word, Qin Man lifted it into the air. Everyone exclaimed in admiration. You really are a celestial being descended to earth. Lifting this stone requires strength exceeding 500 caddies. After a while, Qin Man put the stone down, and he said humbly, It's nothing. I'm not the strongest person in this bandit camp. My strength isn't even half of our chief's. Everyone couldn't help but exclaim. Dalei watched everything from a distance, and he smiled. All right. It's my turn to perform. Saying that, he also stepped out. Su Ying couldn't help but curiously observe. The people outside clamored, The chief is here! The chief is here! Qin Man challenged. Chief, let's arm wrestle. Dalei scolded. What arm wrestle? Get to work. Qin Man looked angry. Great boss, are you looking down on Qin? Watch this, he said, throwing a punch, wanting to attack Dalei, but he easily blocked it, then increased his strength. His fist made Qin Man tremble. Their eyes met. Dalei threw him away. Scram. The throw sent Qin Man crashing into a pile of wood. Dalei went over, concerned, and asked, Are you okay? Qin Man struggled up and replied, I'm fine, thanks for the great boss's mercy. Dalei reached out to help him up, reminding him, Alright, don't get so worked up in the future. I only used 60% of my strength today, or you would have really been injured. Everyone watching was shocked. That was only 60%. Butler Huang ran over at this time and reminded everyone, Get to work, you guys. There's a big job to do. Smash this rock to use for building the wall. Looking at the huge rock in front of them, Alatu sighed. This rock must weigh over 10,000 jin. Who can smash it? Why doesn't Butler Huang give it a try? Or great boss Cheng Dalei? Isn't his strength like a dragon? He can pick it up and throw it. Butler Huang turned to look at Dalei. Great boss, this rock is up to you then, Dalei nodded. You need me for such a small thing. Step back, I have divine magic, he said, forming a hand seal. And as soon as he finished chanting, the rock exploded. Everyone was terrified. Dalei waved his hand. Don't bother me with such a small thing. Why aren't you guys working? What are you standing there for? Everyone quickly got to work. When Dalei was about to leave, Butler Huang called out, Great boss Cheng Dalei, wait a moment. That evening, in Su Ying's room, Dalei hugged her body and howled. It hurts, Su Ying sighed. What's wrong with you? Dalei, dripping with sweat, replied, My back. Sometime later, the entire project was completed, and Camp Marks was shining brightly. It was divided into several orderly areas. The outer area was the defense zone, with walls built of stone.
There were observation posts on the walls, so any approaching enemies could be spotted from above in a short time.
Behind the defense zone was the martial arts arena. If the enemy suddenly surrounded and attacked, it would provide reinforcements. Behind the arena was the work area, including places for essential tasks such as the conference room, the horse pen for blacksmithing, and the pharmacy.
In addition, there were public toilets built next to the horse pen. The toilets were close to the fields. For fertilizer, the fields were also very important.
Behind the work area was the living area, including housing, kitchens, wells, armories, and grain storage.
Dale and Butler Huang stood observing on the platform in disgust. The trees outside had been cut down, and the ground was almost flat, with traps designed by Qin Daj, including pit traps and tripwires, which could trap wild boars.
Over 50,000 liang of the mountain camp's food had been used up, leaving only a little over 1 jin. But there weren't many people in the mountain camp, so it wasn't a concern. Daylight listened and instructed Butler Huang. Go back first, arrange housing for everyone, and arrange food for use. We must conserve food during this time and prepare to recruit people. The butler happily accepted the order.
As the butler left, the system spoke up. The mountain camp has been completed. The reward is 1 mu of ripe chili peppers. System evolution. Dale was shocked. A reward of 1 mu of ripe chili peppers. This reward is too watered down.
He turned around and was startled by the appearance of the girl in front of him.
System duo, who are you? The system chuckled. Each time the mountain camp completes construction, the design of the terrain can make me grow. Go forth, brave young man. You must become the king of bandits.
Receive new task.
Complete 10 robberies. Currently 1 out of 1 completed on the Flying Tiger campsite.
Gao Feihu, while drinking,
listened to Lao Er recount. You guys didn't see him at the time, he just went, huh, and that big rock exploded. Honestly, we were all scared. This Cheng Dale guy must know the 5 Thunder Palm, too, OP.
Gao Feihu turned to ask the strategist.
What do you think about this?
Yu Qiran replied.
That rock was one I picked up from a dangerous valley. These are the traces of explosives. What 5 Thunder Palm is there? You've all been fooled by him.
Gao Feihu pondered.
Explosives, Yu strategist explained. It's like the gunpowder in firecrackers, just more powerful. Although it's rare to see outside, and Xingyu Mountain is so far away, it's not strange that they don't know about it.
Gao Feihu asked again.
So you're saying we've been trolled by the Marks camp? The strategist nodded. That's right. Lao Er also blankly turned to ask, no 5 Thunder Palm. The strategist shook his head.
Nope. Gao Feihu angrily smashed his wine jar. Bastard, I'm leading the guys to attack the Marks camp right now. How dare they fool me? Jung's strategist immediately stopped him.
Great boss, don't rush. The Marks camp isn't going anywhere. What's the hurry? Gao Feihu replied unhappily. But keeping this anger inside is so uncomfortable. The strategist smiled. It's just a matter of time. We have a big deal coming up. We'll deal with the Marks camp later.
Elsewhere, Dele sank into thought.
Currently, there are 3 tasks. Recruiting people is temporarily not possible. The task of robbing can be given to Qin Man and Lin Xiaoyu to complete. The final task is to use non-violent means to make Su Ying's heart flutter, completing phase 2 of the robbing a wife. To be the camp's Madame task. The first task has so many rewards. If completed, they must be generous. Facing a beautiful woman is definitely better than going to rob in a den. Isn't it just sweeping up affection points? All those gal games I played before weren't for nothing. He gleefully ran off. Inside the mountain camp, a sweet voice rang out. Su Ying, Ying, I'm calling you. Su Ying froze. Looking at Dale, without a word, she turned away, not responding. In Dale's heart, puzzled. The reaction isn't right. Could it be that the plot isn't like this? Su Ying would show embarrassment and ask, who are you calling Su Ying? I would answer, Cheng Dale is calling Su Ying. At that time, the scene would be very sweet.
Plan A failed. No worries, I still have countless plans, countless methods. So Dale actively appeared in front of Su Ying, using cheesy pickup lines. But every time, Su Ying didn't respond to the poetic words, there is no shortage of good people. But you are the most important. He even threw a pile of papers at her, each one a confession. Su Ying was speechless. Suddenly, Dale appeared in front of her. He recited the line, there was once a sincere love in front of me and I didn't cherish it, only regretting it when I lost it. The most painful thing in life is missing out. If God could give me another chance, I would say 3 words to that girl. Before he could finish, Su Ying interrupted. Are you sick recently? Seeing that she wasn't moved at all, Dale was frustrated. Before he could recover, Shu's strategist hurriedly ran in. Great boss! It's terrible, Xiao Ling has been poisoned. Dale worried. What? Take me to see her quickly? Xiao Ling's body trembled on the bed. Dale hurriedly ran in. Xiao Ling. She blankly said to him, Great boss, I'm afraid I'm done for. Dale asked her. What happened? How did you get poisoned? Exu strategist replied. The child was picking mushrooms on the mountain and saw a red fruit on a tree, ate one, and as a result her mouth was burned and her whole body was sweating. He sighed sadly. This silly child is just greedy. Linger, don't be afraid, I will definitely find a way to heal you. Dale looked at the fruit clearly and asked, What poisonous fruit did she eat? Shu Junshi looked at the fruit in his hand and said, This is it. That silly girl. Cheng Dalei was dumbfounded. This is chili. Junshi was confused.
Could it be that Dalei knows this poisonous fruit? Dalei explained. This isn't a poisonous fruit. This is called chili, a type of vegetable and fruit, which can also be used as a cooking spice.
It's just too spicy. She was scared, and will be fine with more water. Saying this, he was secretly shocked. Wait, why don't they know about chili? Was chili introduced to this country at the end of the Ming or Qing dynasty? I don't remember clearly. Could it be? He said.
I have to verify this. He held the chili towards Su Anker and asked, Do you know what this fruit is? Su Anker was puzzled. What kind of mountain fruit is it? Go. Dalei shook his head. No, it's spicy. Do you think if we sell this fruit we can get a good price?
Su-an pondered and replied, I've never eaten it before. Dalei was overjoyed. Try it, and we can have a long-term partnership in the future.
In his heart, he thought that even Su-an had never seen chili. So he could almost confirm that chili didn't exist in this world yet. I remember that chili was introduced very late in history, but it swept the whole country in a short period. Because of the reward system, I'm using this fruit thousands of years earlier, and it's a monopoly. Monopoly means making a fortune. Maybe this will become my first pot of gold. Su-an took a bite and started drinking water non-stop. It's so spicy, Dalei nodded approvingly. That's right, you've been kidnapped here for so many days. Why hasn't anyone come to redeem you? Does no one care about you? Su-an looked at him unhappily.
Dalei smiled. Don't worry. Even if the whole world turns against you, I'll be by your side, turning against the whole world.
A moment later, Lin Xiaoyu returned with his loot. Big boss, I'm back from robbing.
Dalei glanced at him and asked,
How was it? What did you get today? Xiaoyu smiled. It was all right, I caught a rabbit. And a maid from the Shu family of Luoyi City came looking. The little girl arrogantly shouted, What did you do to my young lady? Did you eat her? Dalei was confused. How could such a young girl run all the way to Green Ox Mountain? Su-an exclaimed. Zhao Dai. The two embraced each other tightly. Zhao Dai sobbed. Young lady, you're still alive? They didn't eat you? That's so great. Su-an patted her head. You've been through a lot, Zhao Dai continued to ask. So, did he violate you? Su-an retorted embarrassedly.
Don't talk nonsense, I'm fine. Cheng Dalei felt that the Zhu family must have had something happen.
He called Huang Sanyuan and Lin Xiaoyu to find out the situation. Speaking of Lin Xiaoyu, going down the mountain to keep watch today was also to rob, and he finally waited for someone, a 14 or 15-year-old girl. According to what she said, she was Zhao Dai, a maid of the Shu family, who came to Green Ox Mountain specifically to find Su-an.
Even though Zhao Dai was robbed, she wasn't afraid that Lin Xiaoyu was a mountain bandit, and insisted on going up the mountain to find Su-an. Lin Xiaoyu originally wanted to take her back to Luoye City, but as soon as Zhao Dai heard that Lin Xiaoyu came from Camp Karl Marx, she insisted on following him to the mountain stronghold no matter what.
Dalei and Huang Guanjia fell into thought. Any other mountain bandit would have been begging for mercy. Is this the benefit of being handsome?
Thinking of something, Dalei turned to ask the manager.
If we handle the Shu family's affairs, should we ask for a ransom? What should we ask for? The manager hesitated. It's going to be very difficult to get a ransom. The Shu family's situation is a bit complicated. Dalei asked. How so? The manager continued. The owner of the Sihai trading company is Shu Sihai. He doesn't have any sons, but he has many daughters. Shu Sihai is getting old, and the family business can only be taken over by his daughters. Among these daughters, Su-an Shu is the most qualified, but the problem is that Su-an's mother passed away early. Now the one in charge is Sihai's concubine, and of course she hopes that her daughter will inherit the family business instead of Su-an. I feel like she's hoping that Su-an gets eaten by the big boss. At this moment, Su-an interrupted them to leave. You want ransom money? I have a way to bring you the money, Dalei asked. You really want to go? Su-an stared blankly at him. Dalei blamed himself inwardly.
What am I saying? Huang Sanyuan said that people who want a way out won't choose to be a hostage. Moreover, Su-an is the young lady of the Xinhai Trading Company.
Dalei wrote diligently and said, Are you sure you can bring it here? If you dare to trick me, don't forget I'll eat you. After a moment, he put down his pen.
Shu Ying checked the papers. 500 xian of grain, some cloth, some xuan paper, salt, wine, and a few books.
Your mouth isn't as big as a lion's. After I go back and settle things at home, I'll send you double what you wrote down. A moment later, the carriage was ready. Cheng Dalei instructed, I can only take you this far. Luoye City is still 70-80 line away. I'll have Lin Xiaoyu and San Yuan see you off for the rest of the way. You guys brought her here last time, so you should be the ones to send her off. This time, I heard her family has a wine shop. I left her some chili peppers. Take them, and see if you can sell them at the market. Zhu Ying pondered these instructions. In Dalei's heart there was regret. Today we part ways. Where else can I find such an amazing wife to keep the house in order? But I've tried everything and still can't move this girl's heart. Is her heart made of stone? Then he walked away. It's getting late, get ready to get on the carriage. With that, he walked past her. At this moment of parting he recited a line of poetry. Mai shang hua kai, ke huang huang gi yi. It means, the flowers are blooming in the distant fields, you can enjoy the flowers.
While slowly returning, Xu Ying remained silent. She couldn't hold back anymore and stopped him. Wait, can I talk to you in private for a bit? Nearby, when the two of them had found a quiet place, Dale asked, what do you want to say to me? Xu Ying said, over the past few days, you've said so many nice things to me, and done so much to make me happy. I don't know why. Probably because you want me to like you. But I can tell which words are true and which are false. And everything you've done for me these past few days has been fake. Dale didn't argue. Xu Ying continued, if everything you give me is fake, how can you expect to trade fake for real? And whether you're sincere with me or not doesn't matter, and whether I'm sincere with you or not doesn't matter either, Dale asked. So what do you want? Xu Ying continued. Today we part ways, and I don't know when we'll meet again. I want to ask you one question before we part. Can you tell me one honest thing? Dale was taken aback. Honesty? What's honesty? What was your first impression of her? Red dress like fire, skin white as snow. You say she's Lin Daiyu, but she's full of life? If she's Wang Shifeng, she has the innocence that only belongs to her age. What was the most genuine emotion at that time? Then he whispered into her ear. The moment I saw you, I was petrified. Intense emotions spread around them, and all things in heaven and earth seemed to feel it. Dale was extremely embarrassed. Yet Xu Ying was confused. What does that mean? Dale froze, unable to speak. Xu Ying reproached. Why are you blushing? What does that mean? Annoyed, she turned away and left. I'll ask someone else when I get back, Dale shouted. No way! If I have the chance later, I'll tell you myself. He watched the carriage leave and thought to himself, I'm only 17 this year. It's been said that Vietnamese girls can get pregnant from just kissing. That's right, she's only 17, she shouldn't be so knowledgeable or so cold. A young girl's heart is always poetry. I've said so much and done so much, even though it looks very stupid and ridiculous. But is Xu Ying's heart really an abyss? Once you enter a mountain, there will be no echo. I must have been tricked. Phase 2 of the mission, stealing his wife, has failed. On the carriage, Xu Ying gazed pensively into the distance, while Zhao Dai sat in a corner, munching on a steamed bun, looking blank. Young miss, I can't believe he actually let us go. I was scared to death. Young miss, are you troubled? Xu Ying hasn't said a word this whole time. Her face flushed. She asked Xiao Di, if a man told you he was hard, do you know what he means? Xiao Di looked confused. Hard. Like, hard and tough. And just like that, they arrived at Luoye City. After seeing Xu Ying off, Cheng Dalei tidied things up. First, in the storage shed, he rummaged around and found a heavy Qinma crossbow system. Staring in astonishment at the massive weapon, he exclaimed, Great leader, why is this murder weapon here? Dalei ordered. Brother Chen, take this and put it on the watchtower of the stronghold. After setting up the crossbow, Cheng Dalei began researching how to grow chili peppers. First, before planting them in pots, dry them to get the seeds. It's not that difficult. First, plant the seedlings in water-filled pots. Then transplant them into the ground in large quantities. He followed each step meticulously, sowing the seeds. Just as he finished, Xu Junxi walked over and said, Great leader, take me along next time you go robbing. Dalai squinted at him and shook his head. Forget it. I don't know, you don't want to plant chili peppers. At the foot of Xingnu Mountain, Dalai leisurely rested under a tree when a figure approached and teased. Chief Cheng, it's so hot. And you're personally coming down the mountain to work? Dalai glanced at her. It's a living, you know. I'm always like this. Xiao Bai Lang. It's so hot, and Chief Bai still has time to come here. Could it be you're looking for me? Bai Lang smiled. There's a big deal coming up. Swallowing it alone might be too much. I wonder if Chief Cheng is interested. Dalai gestured for her to go up the mountain and said. As soon as they entered the camp, Bai Lang exclaimed in surprise. So many peppers, Dalai explained. These are chili peppers, picked from the slopes of Baiyang Mountain. You can take some back to your stronghold and try growing them. He poured her water and said apologetically, It's just well water from Baiyang Mountain. Please excuse the poor hospitality, Chief Bai. So serious. What kind of business are we talking about? Bai Lang replied. In a month, it's Lord Yang Long of Yu Province's 60th birthday. At that time, there will be a gift coming from Xingnu Mountain. If Chief Cheng is interested, we can cooperate to swallow this gift. Xu Linger brought water and stared intently at her. So big, Dalei pondered. The empire has 13 provinces and 108 cities. Xingnu Mountain is in the north of Yu Province. Yang Long, Lord of Yu Province, is the master of Yu Province. So does this gift come from Xu Bangxian? Bai Lang smiled. Xu Bangxian is currently based in Heishi City, trying to subdue the local forces. If he gets the support of the Lord of Yu Province, his position will definitely be very stable. Therefore, this gift must be substantial, and the road from Heishi City to Yu Province must pass through Qingnu Mountain. Xinghua Ridge has 50 people, all of whom can cooperate with Chief Cheng. I came to you because I want to see Chief Cheng's 5 Thunder art. As long as we cooperate, this juicy piece of meat will definitely be ours. Dalai frowned. But my 5 Thunder art is a divine power used to punish evil. How can I use it for unrighteous deeds? Bai Lang hesitated. So, does Chief Cheng mean you don't want to get involved in this? Dalai immediately replied. I can't make a decision yet, let me think about it for a few days. Bai Lang was displeased. A real man should make decisions when they need to be made. Now you're so indecisive, maybe I misjudged you, Dele thought to himself. I want to get angry too, but if I do, the entire stronghold will be screwed. Bai Lang turned around. In that case, farewell, Chief Cheng. Just because we don't cooperate doesn't mean others will refuse, Dele reminded her. Chief Bai, take some chili peppers back and plant them. When you harvest, can you trade a pound of peppers for a pound of grain? Bai Lang ignored him. Keep them and plant them yourself. That night, someone came to the camp. Shu Junshi. Is Chief Cheng here? As soon as he saw Dale, he spoke. Chief Cheng, I'm from Zhu family village. We don't have any seeds for planting. Can you lend me some? I'll repay you 2 for 1 when we harvest. Dele thought to himself. Zhu family village only has 30-odd people, but most of them are old and young. They don't have enough manpower for planting. Could it be that they're so poor this year that they've eaten all their seeds? Thinking this, he asked, Do you want to plant chili peppers? The man was confused. Chili peppers, Dale continued. Our stronghold is growing chili peppers. If you're interested, you can take some back. The production and sales of these chili peppers are better than other crops. After harvesting, you can trade a pound of peppers for a pound of grain, like wheat, soybeans, or millet. If you agree, go find Huang Laoye to get the seeds. The man happily ran off. This situation worried Dale. These bandits don't pay taxes and don't have any surpluses. Could there be a famine this year? A few months later, Lin Xiaoyu and Huang Sanyuan returned from Luoye City. This time they came back with 2 more pigs, a dozen chicks, and some necessities for the mountain stronghold like cloth, salt, paper, brushes, and food. In the forest area, within 510 kilometers around Xingnu Mountain, about 50 or 60 bandit groups are lurking and active. News of the birthday gift has spread throughout Xingnu Mountain, and many bandits are trying to get their hands on. Everyone doesn't want to miss out on this gift. While all the gangs are rushing to prepare, Cheng Dele is busy raising chickens, planting vegetables, and going down the mountain to scout out potential robberies. Cheng Dele, Xin Man, and Lin Xiaoyu take turns doing missions down the mountain every day. Over the past 10 days, the mission completion rate has been like 5 out of 10, you know? The robberies are mostly small merchants. Sometimes, even picking up a few buttons or trinkets is considered robbery. Sometimes they even have to escort them safely out of the mountains. Cheng Dele really can't bring himself to harm innocent people. Tian Yu asked, confused. Big boss, does what we're doing even count as robbery? Dele said sadly. Too poor. Can't bring myself to do it. It would be great to run into a rich one. Someone was running and shouting from under the mountain. Bro, wait for me, don't walk so fast. Just when everything was good in Yuzhou, we came here. I'm afraid you and I are about to suffer, the young man said excitedly. How can you know the world if you don't go out? All you see in Yuzhou City is beautiful scenery, the young woman said unhappily. What's so good about this backwater place? I heard there are bandits here. Don't become a bandit yourself, the young man retorted. What's so scary about bandits? If they dare to come, I dare to fight. We'll pave our own way. As he was speaking, Dale flew out of a bush. He landed hard on the ground, startling them. The young man, who had been so enthusiastic just now, screamed, Robbers! Robbers! Dale threatened the guy, then stood to the left, the girl to the right. He looked at the girl dressed in men's clothing and said, You, stand in the middle. The young man took out his weapon to protect her. With me here, there's no need to be afraid. Dale also took out his sharp iron axe. The young man began to compare his sword with the axe, and realizing the opponent's weapon was more powerful, he immediately surrendered to everyone's surprise. He even didn't forget to pat his younger sister's head and said, This is my younger sister, born with stunning beauty. Keep her, let me go, and it's all good. The young woman was stunned. The young man patted the girl's head and comforted her. Little sis, I have a great future ahead of me. Sacrifice a little, and I will remember you, the young woman said angrily. Who needs your memories and reminiscences? You're a jerk. Dale interrupted helplessly. What are your names? The girl spoke up. My name is Li Wanhair, and his name is Li Jingtai. Dale asked further. What do you do? Li Jingtai replied. Write poetry. Dale was discouraged. That's it. A broke-ass poet, he hesitated and asked. A poet? Li Jingtai nodded dreamily. Exactly. My dream is to travel all over Shenzhou, writing outstanding poems that will be passed down for generations. Dale was confused. Why do you have to go to so many places? Great, congratulations, you guys have been kidnapped. Inside the camp, Li Wanhair looked at the scenery before her in amazement. Is this the legendary Mark's camp? Dale was surprised. Where did the legend come from? Li Jingtai looked at him and asked. Could it be that you are also the great King Marks? Did you defeat the Blackstone City soldiers, leaving none with their armor intact? With the strength of 5 people? Dale scratched his ear. Is my reputation that big now? Li Wanhair looked at him in fear. The legend says you eat human flesh and drink human blood every meal. You guys didn't kidnap us up here to eat us, did you? Cheng Dele. Do I look like a cannibal to you? Wanhair immediately nodded. Yes, Cheng Dele retorted angrily. Fine, now listen up. I'm going to tell you some rules. We won't beat you or anything while you're here, but Xingnu Mountain is full of bandits. If you're confident you can make it out of Xingnu alive, be my guest, Wanhair exclaimed in shock. Then why are you keeping us here? Don't tell me you actually want to. Cheng Dalei ignored them and started giving orders. Aren't you a poet? Write down everything you've heard. Once you're done, I'll have someone escort you out of Qingnu. Xu Junxi gave them paper and pens and arranged a room for them. Then the two of them returned to their own room. Wan Shi asked, confused. Bro, why did you purposely stay here? Master always praised your swordsmanship, Li Jingtai chuckled. Don't you think this stronghold is interesting? Wan Tai'er pouted. I don't see anything interesting here, Li Jingtai said with glee. It's my first time meeting bandits, plus I feel like there's something else in this stronghold. Come grind the ink. Since I'm a poet, let me compose a poem. On Cheng Dalei's side, the housekeeper said to him. Have you heard the news? A convoy escorting a gift will be passing through Qingnu in about 2 weeks. The word comes from the other strongholds. This time, Shui Bengshuan has Lu Heng as his escort. Cheng Dalei asked in confusion, Lu Heng? What do you know about this guy? The housekeeper replied. Lu Heng is almost 30 this year, good with a staff, no parents, no relatives, an orphan adopted and cared for by Shui Bengshuan. Who doesn't know him? All anyone knows is that Shui Bengshuan is a formidable character. Cheng Dalei nodded. He must be a formidable character, otherwise Shu Bengshuan wouldn't send him. What are the other strongholds planning to do? Rob them, the housekeeper answered. Nothing but night raids, poisoning, ambushes on the road. Anyway, everyone has their own way, boss. Are we really not going to get involved? Cheng Dalei shook his head. The dogs are fighting over the mountain? We just have some skills. If we want to compete with others, we need to be qualified. An atmosphere of unease permeated Qingnu Mountain. Inside the room, Li Jingtai stood outside and shouted, Wanzher, wake up! I've got something good for you to see, Wanzher complained. Annoyed. Bro, can you not have that perverted look on your face? It makes me think you're into stealing women's clothes again, Li Jingtai chuckled awkwardly. Can we not bring up the past? Come on, I have some cool stuff to show you. As they walked to a lakeside, Wan Shi asked, confused. What's this? Is it for taking a bath? Are we taking a bath outside? Li Jingtai shook his head. No, the important thing is that under this lake, there is mineral water flowing from the mountain into the lake. Covered with lemongrass, insects can't fly into the lake. And there's gravel and charcoal. Wan Hare asked, confused. With charcoal? Is this water drinkable? Li Jingtai answered. Yes, they say charcoal can be used to block small insects. Wan Jie exclaimed. There are small insects in the water. Li Jingtai hesitated. I don't really understand either, but they went through the trouble of digging such a big lake, so it must be useful. Let's go. I'll take you to see this. After a while, Wan Care looked at the scene in front of her, and her face turned bad. Why are you bringing me to the outhouse? Isn't it stinky? Li Jingtai urged. Go in and see this. Wan Care was angry. I'm not going, Li Jingtai said in despair. Okay, if you don't want to go, I'll tell you about it. The outhouse is connected to the horse and pig pens below, and there's a big pond. They say the outhouse also has small insects, and if those insects don't fly outside, they will fly into people's bodies and cause disease, so they dug a hole, so that the insects act as fertilizer for the land. Wanner asked, confused. What's the point of that? Li Jingtai smiled. I'm not really sure either, but I always feel that these things have a big effect. After traveling so many miles and knowing so many things, Wan Shi, do you still think this is a normal, simple stronghold? Wan Shi asked, confused. There are only 6 people in total, how is it not simple? Li Xingtai nodded. That's right, only 6 people, so why bother to make it so grand? The master of this camp has big plans. Wan Shi embarrassedly looked in the direction he was looking. Bro, can you not look at this outhouse with the same expression as looking at girls? Li Xingtai cut him off. Don't say any more. That night, Cheng Dalei walked in from outside and asked, How's the writing going? Li Jingtai answered as he wrote, I'm still writing. All about the things I heard in Jingzhou. Big boss, what are you going to do with this stuff? Cheng Dalei replied. Write a book. The two siblings stared blankly. Write a book, Cheng Dalei continued. You're a poet, and I'm a writer. My dream is to write a masterpiece that will be passed down throughout the world. Don't I look like one? The two didn't know how to answer. Cheng Dalei didn't care, and asked again. What kind of poet are you? Let me see some of your poems. Li Jingtai smiled and handed it over. I've written a few. I'd appreciate it if the big boss could take a look and give some feedback to this humble student. Cheng Dalei immediately took it. Let me see. He read the poem, humming and hawing, and then criticized. This can be called poetry. The future of the Empire's poetry seems a little worrying. Wan Shi retorted angrily. Do you even understand poetry? His poetry is famous throughout Jingzhou. Cheng Dalei waved his hand. Okay, let me open your eyes and show you what real poetry is. If my words here were to spread, I fear that all the talents of the Empire would not dare to pick up their pens again. Li Jingtai chuckled. Big words, indeed. Cheng Dalei began to write. Wan Ke seemed uneasy. Such bad handwriting. But in an instant she paused. Cheng Dalei finished as well. He put down the pen, then bid them farewell. It's getting late. Rest early. Just as he stepped outside, Wan Shi asked, puzzled. Why only one sentence? Cheng Dalei smiled. One sentence is enough. Writing more might scare you guys to death. Li Jingtai was stunned. Forget about the talents of the world. Even I wouldn't dare to write after hearing this. The next day, military advisor Shu rushed in, flustered. Great chieftain, something big has happened. The people of Zhu family village have all been killed. Cheng Dalei panicked. Go, take me to see. At Zhu family village, which was ablaze, This scene drove Cheng Dalei mad. Over 30 people of Zhu family village, young and old, big and small, were all slaughtered. The Zhu family was full of old people and children, and they still went through with it. Which bastard, which camp, would commit such an act? Everyone in Green Bull Mountain makes a living, no need to do such things. Bai Lang looked at the blade and said, still can't tell, it's not one of us, but an outsider. They left behind a blood letter, everyone urged. Little Bai Lang, what's written inside? She began to read. 3 days later we will pass through Green Bull, anyone will be met at the foot of the mountain, otherwise we will slaughter everyone in Green Bull. The Blackstone City camp was in the middle of a storm, which seemed to be showing Cheng Dalei's anger. This is killing the chicken to scare the monkey. The lives of mountain bandits are even cheaper than the lives of animals. At Flying Tiger Camp, Old Second spoke up. Big brother, I've added 2 mounds behind the mountain. Tonight have the brothers take turns guarding them, Gao Feihu instructed. Tell the brothers to be alert today. And if there's even the slightest movement, strike immediately. Military advisor. What do you think? Is there anything overlooked? Yu Qiran replied. Great chieftain's arrangements are surely without flaws. As long as we can endure these 3 days, once they pass through the mountain, then we will be fine. Gao Feihu said sadly. Originally, I wanted to rob that birthday gift, so the brothers could safely get through this winter. Who on the Green Forest would be so cruel? Is there any news from Cheng Dalei? Old Second sneered. Big brother, don't mention that name. That kid was so scared he pissed his pants. Heard he went back to the mountain and fell ill. Now he's lying in bed like a woman in confinement. Gao Feihu sighed. After all, he's still too young, never seen such a tragic scene before. It's all the Green Forest's fault for being too cruel. Don't even mention him. I was scared out of my wits today. In the room. I said. They even kill children. Even though they're mountain bandits, the Green Forest is really ruthless. Li Xingtai added. Before, I heard people talk about battles. A single battle could take tens of thousands of lives. Now that I've seen it, killing people is no joke. Wanshur said worriedly. Brother, let's find a chance to leave. It's not safe here now. Li Xingtai nodded. Let's leave secretly, without alarming them. Just as the lamplight was burning an insect, suddenly, Cheng Dalei walked in. Is something wrong? Can't sleep? Wanshur spoke up. Great chieftain, I heard you're sick. Why are you still here? In her heart she was worried, unsure if he had heard their conversation. Cheng Dalei said dispiritedly. Just caught a bit of a cold, it's not too serious. Still wanted to come find you to talk. Li Xingtai smiled. What shall we talk about today? Cheng Dalei replied. Let's talk about the empire's past. Anything is fine. In the past few days, Cheng Dalei had heard Li Xingtai tell so many stories that he had a vague impression of this world. This world, compared to Cheng Dalei's previous life, also had Panji Yu separating heaven, Nuwa creating humans, followed by the 3 sovereigns ruling the world, the 5 emperors establishing order, and finally, the Xia, Shang, and Zhao dynasties, the spring and autumn 5 hegemons, the great chaos of the world until the great Qin unified the world. The Chuhan contention, the Han dynasty, was established for 400 years, and in the final years of the Eastern Han, the world fell into great chaos. The rebellion of the 10 eunuchs, and Deng Zhuo's disturbance of the world also occurred at this time. History took a detour. Originally, Cao Cao was supposed to be a big name, but he got caught and killed when he tried to assassinate Deng Zhuo. He didn't rack up enough war exploits to kickstart the 3 Kingdoms era, so instead we got 19 squabbling states. This constant infighting plunged history into chaos and death, until the rise of the Great Wu dynasty. Summing it all up, Dalei thought. So, the badass 3 Kingdoms generals I know probably never existed, like Zhuge Liang, Liu Guang, Zhang, no 5 tiger generals of Shu, no Zhao Yun, and no Dao Cha, Li Xingtai said while sketching. Back in the day, Li Manzi founded the Great Wu Empire with just a spear. Then, a century ago, the Rong tribes invaded. The biggest recent campaign was 30 years back. Even though the Rong tribes were driven off, they keep raiding the borders and skirmishing. Wang Jie chimed in. The Empire throws so much money at the border troops, but they keep getting their butts kicked, bro. Why can't we beat the Rong after all these years? Li Xingtai fumed. It's because the border generals are a bunch of incompetent crooks, lining their own pockets and neglecting military affairs. Dalei cut in. Why are you so worked up? Li Xingtai scoffed. Just saying what everyone's thinking. Fighting the Rong tribes these days is just one loss after another, and they're faking their kill counts. They lose a few hundred men, but they report killing 500 to the Empire. With that kind of reporting, it looks like we're winning, but the border troops are getting slaughtered. Big boss. How do you think the Empire can win against the Rong tribes? Dalei replied. How would I know? I'm just a mountain bandit. Li Xingtai continued. Someone once told me there are 3 tiers of armies. The lowest tier fights to survive. Those soldiers only care about their own lives, and they scatter like chickens when they see the enemy. The second tier fights for profit. Their morale is sky high when they're winning, but they lose heart when they're losing. The top tier fights for glory, for honor. That's a true elite army, Dalei calmly said. Someone told you this. Li Xingtai nodded. An old-timer? Dalei looked at him thoughtfully and asked, Are you sure he wasn't BSing you? Li Xingtai broke out in a cold sweat. The guy who told me that is the current marshal of the Empire. Then he turned to ask,
It sounds like Big Boss has some brilliant insights, Dale replied. Actually, an army that fights for glory isn't the strongest. The strongest army probably fights for faith. Right? Everyone shares the same belief. They're not afraid to die, not afraid to fail. One dies, and 1,000, 10,000 more take their place. That kind of army is invincible, and nothing can stop its advance. Li Jingtai mused. Faith, does that kind of army really exist? Dele sniffled and replied. Of course. But even an army fueled by faith isn't the strongest. The strongest army fights for survival. Wancher was confused. Survival? Really? Wouldn't everyone just desert? Dele continued. But running away doesn't guarantee their survival, does it? Take the war between the wrong tribes and the Empire. Why do the wrong tribes keep winning, and the Empire keeps losing? Li Jingtai asked. Big Boss, you got any brilliant ideas? Just spitballing here. Ever think about why the wrong tribes want to invade the Empire? Wancher declared. The Empire and the wrong tribes are age-old enemies. They've been fighting for centuries. The wrong tribes will invade the Empire whenever they get the chance. They're brutal, uncivilized, just a bunch of bandits. Li Jingtai hesitated. Well, Dale cut him off. That's what everyone says. The Empire thinks the wrong tribes are like demons, always looking for trouble when they're bored, but it's because they're starving. The wrong tribes live on the grasslands, herding for a living. Natural disasters and human calamities make their lives even harder than the people in the Empire. One blizzard can turn the grasslands into a desert, killing all the cattle and sheep. On one side, they can't survive. And even breathing the northwest wind depends on the heavens' mood. On the other side, there's a prosperous world like the Empire. With food and women, if you were them, wouldn't you fight? What's death anyway? Going back to the grasslands is a death sentence too, might as well die with a bang. When a whole group of people is pushed to the brink, they'll unleash incredible fighting power to survive. Li Jingtai added, 30 years ago, when the wrong tribes invaded the Empire, there was a rare drought, and not only the wrong grasslands but many parts of the Empire had no harvest. Over the years, when the harvests are good, the wrong tribes cause less trouble. When the harvests are bad, the scale of their invasion is bigger. Dale said again, the wrong tribes are willing to die, but what does the Guardian General of the Empire think? If they can't protect the borders, they're still the interior. If they lose a battle, they can still run away. On one side, they starve if they don't fight. On the other side, they won't die if they run away. Not to mention the infighting and corruption in the imperial court. How can the Empire not lose fighting like that? Li Jingtai smiled. Cheng Xiansheng, will you agree to come with me to Jingzhou? Cheng Dale was confused. Follow you back to Jing province for what? Li Hangtai tried to persuade him. Sir, you have a heart of gold and boundless ambition. It would be a waste for you to be buried in this desolate place. If you come with me to Jing province, you will surely have a bright future. Cheng Dale was dubious. Is this guy getting scammed? I'm just saying, whatever comes to mind. It's not like I'll get beheaded for talking nonsense. But Li Hangtai seems to be taking it seriously. Back in my past life, when we were shooting the breeze in the dorm, everyone was an armchair general, criticizing those scum cultivators. Back then, even the Wanhu Marquis didn't have to be responsible for distinguishing right from wrong, and criticizing still required responsibility, huh? So he loudly replied, this won't do, you're thinking too highly of me. Li Hangtai hurriedly said, Sir, you are a great talent. How can a small Rao mountain contain you? Of course, there must be a wider world for you to write your name into the history books. Cheng Dale waved his hand. Come on, I don't have great ambitions. I don't want to wield a blade for others, nor do I want to stand guard for them. While it's not too late, I'll go see how drunk Chili is. As soon as he reached the door, he stopped. Oh right, your sword isn't bad. How about leaving it for me? Li Hangtai stared at him, and after a while he smiled. He smiled back. There was a call from Ling'er. Big Boss is here, Chili needs help, Cheng Dale replied. Coming. After he left, Li Hangtai muttered, wants my sword? Such arrogance. Then he pulled out the sword, revealing the inscription on the body. 3 days later, Lu Heng's party set out, passing by Qingniu. A soldier rushed over to report. Reporting to General Lu. Ahead is Qingniu Mountain. This subordinate has checked. There are no ambushes on the road. The mountain villages of the Qingniu Mountain Camp are all at the foot of the mountain, Lu Heng reminded. Check again. Flying Tiger Camp is the largest mountain village in Qingniu Mountain, with hundreds of people, but only 100 or so of them, including men, women, old and young, can actually fight. Seeing Lu Heng's party passing by, they hurriedly reported, they're here, go back and report to the big boss. Even if they could rush up, recklessly risking their lives in front of the elite army would be like moths flying into a flame. Everyone thought the same. Get through today and look up as if nothing had happened. Mountain bandits are just a rabble. Lu Heng strode up to Gao Feihu and coldly glanced at him. Why are you carrying a knife? Is this your attitude? I'll count to 10. Drop your knife and kneel down. Otherwise I'll break down the gate, kill people, and burn the camp. Gao Feihu was extremely angry, but he didn't dare to resist, and his whole body trembled. The brothers behind him shouted worriedly, Big bro! Big boss! In the end, Gao Feihu had to kneel down to see General Lu off the mountain. Lu Heng was pleased with this submission. Good, then you can just follow behind. And so the group passed by. On the mountaintop, at Xinghua Ridge, the group of horses advanced here. The situation wasn't much different from Gao Feihu's. Bai Lang respectfully saw General Lu off the mountain. Lu Heng gleefully ordered, Raise your head. Seeing her face, he clicked his tongue. The famed bewitching Mar lives up to its name. He kept making noises of regret as the staff touched by. The rumors on the streets really weren't lying. They really are big. Bai Lang was extremely indignant, and the sisters behind her felt injustice on her behalf. The chief, Lu Heng, was excitedly waiting. Unleash your fury. Explode. Then, I can kill this infamous bewitching mare with one strike. Bai Lang seemed to sense the killing intent from him as well.
She could only lower her head for everyone's sake. Please, General Lu, pass through the mountain.
He was delighted, then couldn't help but burst out laughing. His horse troop swaggered through, just a bunch of bandits.
The cavalrymen raised their spears.
Having just received the order, that guy raised his spear high towards the group. Lowly bandits are worse than dogs. It's true, not an exaggeration. Huang Sanyuan once said the empire's citizens are divided into 4 classes, while bandits are nothing but trash in the eyes of the noble. Bandits aren't even considered human. They're the same as wild beasts in the forest, stray dogs in the alleys. And the head that guy just raised was none other than the chieftain Zhu's. The mountain bandits aren't considered human beings. Even commoners groveling on the ground are only afraid of the bandits and have no respect for them whatsoever. This kind of subhuman creature, it's fine even if they die. It even feels good, like getting rid of trash, as lowly as ants, as filthy as beasts.
At the Jimo camp, Lu Heng looked at the fortress walls ahead and asked,
Is this the Gimo camp? Why isn't anyone showing their face? He angrily challenged. If the camp gate doesn't open within 5 counts, I'll break down the gate, kill everyone, and burn down the camp. Gao Feihu was extremely worried. What does Cheng Dalei want to do? Could it be that blood will really be shed today? At this moment, someone opened the camp gate, and a valiant warhorse stepped out. Dalei appeared valiantly.
Gao Feihu secretly felt relieved. That's more like it. Don't escalate things beyond repair. Once Lu Heng passes through this place, it'll be like nothing happened today.
Dalei hadn't been valiant for long before he was stunned.
His face was extremely pale.
Lu Heng swaggered. I don't want to see you carrying weapons. Cheng Dalei sized him up, then said coldly.
His words turned Gao Feihu pale. Why? Didn't he see the Chu family fort turned into a river of blood? Didn't he see Lu Heng's elite troops numbering over 100? He had to have seen it. Why would he still dare to step out and interrupt?
Lu Heng raged. Within 5 counts of breath, come kneel before my horse, and I might consider forgiving your earlier words. Cheng Dalei ignored him, and raised his axe high. Knock the arrows. Heavy arrows were immediately drawn. Zhu Linglair beat the drums, boosting morale.
To the rhythm of the drums, the arrows were released. It flew with terrifying force, one arrow piercing through several soldiers.
Lu Heng roared. Cavalry, disperse. Infantry, use the carriages for defense.
Arrows continued to rain down. This time, the soldiers raised their shields for defense, but the arrows easily pierced through their defenses. Enemy soldiers were mowed down just like that. The rain of arrows never ceased, accompanied by shouts of urgency and panicked scattering. Retreat, retreat. Get out of the way. Take cover behind the carriages. But their fate was sealed, as they were impaled by the arrows one after another. Lu Heng immediately used his staff to defend against the arrows, which he shattered in half. After a moment, it stopped completely. He rejoiced. Stop. It stopped. Immediately he commanded, all troops, listen up. Kill. The soldiers surged forward. Cheng Dalei roared. Shin Man, I want his head on a platter. Just as he gave the order, Shin Man charged out. This subordinate will bring it to you, chief. Shin Man, alone with his spear and horse, charged down the mountain with imposing momentum, cutting a path through the enemy ranks unimpeded, his sole target being Lu Heng. Meanwhile, the troops attacking forward encountered horse traps that had been set up, triggering tripwires and hunting arrows. Just how many traps were laid on this mountainside was something only a few people from Gemo Fort knew. Therefore, from the mountaintop to the base, only the path that Shin Man had taken was safe. Every other path was filled with traps. The 4 or 5 steps felt like the longest journey these soldiers had ever taken. Cheng Dalei raised his axe. I have divine magic. I can summon heavenly lightning. As soon as he finished speaking, lightning struck. Gao Feihu was horrified. Not again. Look, it's heavenly lightning. Someone on the watchtower threw down firecrackers. The lit string of firecrackers burned brightly, exploding just as they reached the ground. The soldiers nearby were doomed, all of them being taken out. Bai Lang was confused. Why is the 5 thunder ritual red? Gao Feihu replied with difficulty. That must be fire lightning. Even as they were being killed, the soldiers kept charging forward. Cheng Dalei roared. Xiao Yu, with me, let's kill. On Shin Man's side, he shouted. The 5 plum blossom spear strikes. Lu Heng couldn't withstand and was struck. He was knocked to the ground. The soldiers behind him were also frightened. General Lu is dead. General Lu is dead. Fear engulfed them. And along with the sound of the battle drums, the soldiers' fighting spirit was shattered. Cheng Dalei shouted. Wait! Let me finish him off. He urged his horse forward. Lu Heng swung his staff to defend, but Cheng Dalei chopped down with his axe. I'll split your skull. The powerful blow was too much for him to defend, and he flew backward, the shockwaves sending chills down everyone's spines. It took him a long while to regain his balance. Lu Heng turned and ordered, Brothers, kill them for me. Cheng Dalei scoffed. Seriously? What brothers are you talking about? He didn't understand at first, but after a long while it finally dawned on him. The ground was stained with blood. littered with the corpses of soldiers. Some were still gasping for breath.
But now he was the only one standing there in front of Cheng Dalei's group. A 100-man team was scattered by just a few people. How humiliating. At this point he had no choice but to fight to the death. I'll fight you to the death. Before he could even touch Lin Xiaoyu, he was sent flying.
Cheng Dalei stood in front of him with disdain. You thought raising a few small camps was as easy as pie.
But you didn't expect it to end like this, did you? You flaunted your strength, thinking you were high and mighty. Then he kicked him hard and continued, I love tormenting arrogant blowhards for everyone to see, then knocking them down from their high horse into the mud. I'll spare your dog life. Go back and tell Zhuge Benqiu he can't go any way he wants. If he wants to pass through Hamo Ridge, I won't allow it.
Lu Heng threatened.
Aren't you afraid of Black Rock City's revenge? Cheng Dalei challenged. Tell them to come.
The Li Jingtai siblings watched from afar, astonished. I didn't expect that Cheng Dalei, with the advantage of terrain and manpower, could so stubbornly use the strength of 6 people to repel 100 elite troops. Lu Heng wouldn't have been so badly defeated, but he underestimated his opponents and was reckless, leading himself straight into a well-laid trap.
Wani, do you remember the poem he wrote? She replied. How could I forget? It's only 9 characters.
Li Jingtai nodded. That's right, how could we forget? If it gets out, I don't know how many talented scholars in the empire will be unable to pick up their pens again. I wonder how epic a whole book would be. Still pondering the vast earth, who dictates rise and fall? It means asking the immense heavens and earth, who controls life?
That day, the bandits following behind the horses clearly saw the Hangamo camp hauling cart after cart of silver and jewels back to the mountain, but no one had any intention of stealing from them. After this battle, the Toad Stockade had shown the Mountain Ox bandits their true strength. As for whether Cheng Dalei truly knew the 5 Thunders technique, it no longer mattered.
Manager Huang reported to Dalei, Big boss, there's a total of 10 carts, we don't know what's inside yet, and also 7 or 8 horses.
Dalei ordered. Bring the goods back to the mountain. Take the bodies back to the Zihu family for burial. The manager nodded and took care of everything. Then he called out, System, let's go. The system was overjoyed. She smiled brightly. Mission, robbed 10 times successfully. Very good. Completed very quickly. The spoils you get will affect the development of the system. Let me see what you've got while I was busy with the mission. The second time, you got a few coins. The third time, a wild rabbit, a cart of wood. The 5th time, a button. The 7th time, a tattered black cloak. Not enough food. Escorted some. Reading this, she couldn't help but complain, Are you robbing or doing charity?
Then she exclaimed. The 10th time, 10 carts of gifts. The system fearfully opened. Mission, rob, 10 times completed. Achieved the conditions to open.
Just as she finished speaking, something started beeping. The system excitedly announced.
Commander platform, Dalei exclaimed in surprise. What's this? The system explained. The commander platform is locked. When the fear reaches 10,000, the commander platform will open for you.
Dalei thought to himself. Could this commander platform be a shop for martial generals? My current fear level is 3,000, 7,000 away from the goal, so how do I get fear points? A moment later, he looked at Sun, the strategist, plotting something. Why not do an experiment? Thinking this, he grinned mischievously.
Taking advantage of the strategist's inattention, he shouted loudly,
Hey, strategist! This action startled him, and he yelled. After a long time, he calmed down and angrily said, Big boss! What are you doing? Dalei forced a smile. Nothing. Thanks to this action, he gained 1 fear point. At this time, Manager Huang reported, Big boss, we've checked everything. There are a total of 10 carts, 3 carts of brocade, 2 carts of bronze, 2 carts of herbs, 2 carts of silk, and there are some horses and some weapons left. Dalei asked, Can we use those things? The manager replied, Most of them can be used, but we can't use that much. Winter is coming, and we're short on food, Dalei continued. Then we should exchange those things for food, the manager worriedly said. But we don't know anyone, Dalei replied. We used to. But the strength of Hamo Camp is getting smaller and smaller, and this path is also the same. It can't be counted on at all. So why not try to open a new path with Miss Su from Su'an? The family affairs still haven't been resolved, and the money Zhu promised us hasn't been delivered yet. They're really ripping us off, the manager asked. Is there trouble over there? Dalei replied. Not sure. Let's see, I have to take some time to go there. In his heart, he felt worried. After she went back, there's been no news. And I don't know what the reaction is in Luoshi City. What's going on with Suan Krech? Could it be that her stepmother is very difficult to deal with? The next morning, Dalei opened the door and stepped into the room. Li Jingtai, today. Before he could finish speaking, in front of him was an empty room. On the table was a sword and a letter. Dalei was dejected. He ran away. It's about time. He picked up the letter and read, Cheng brother, farewell for now. We'll meet again if fate allows.
Cheng Dalei has always wanted a sword. He also thought about wielding a sword in white robes and roaming Jianghu. But after so long, he couldn't find a way to get a sword, and he's figured out the reason.
But at this time, instead of saying a sword is a weapon, it's better to say it's a ceremonial object. With today's casting techniques, how much damage can a double-edged steel sword do? Before you even see it, it's already bent. So now, most martial generals choose long spears and great swords when going into battle. Green Forest heroes also choose to use great swords and clubs. Sharp or not, who cares, as long as you can hit people. As for swords, they are indeed luxury items. First of all, the casting price is high, and you have to maintain it carefully, otherwise it will rust.
How embarrassing it would be to draw it from the sheath. So in this era, scholars carry swords, famous people carry swords, and royalty also carries swords.
Li Jingtai. What kind of person is he anyway?
Elsewhere, on the road from Qingliu Mountain to Luoxi City, Wan Ling called out wearily, "Brother, wait for me."
"Brother, what are you thinking? Why did you leave the sword with him?" Li Jingji smiled. "It's just a sword. What's the harm in giving it to him?" Wan Ling hesitated. "But that sword is the Shifu sword," the Huang steward said.
"Big boss,
"There are people from down the mountain. Seems like they want to see you," Cheng Dalei replied. "Go, take me to see." "What is he doing?" "I recognize him. Blackstone City has a local gang called the Wild Wolf Gang, with 100 or 2 subordinates,"
the Huang steward said.
"The person down the mountain is called Li Jia. He is the boss of the Wild Wolf Gang. This person has occupied Blackstone City for many years, and is a well-known figure, but we and the Wild Wolf Gang mind our own business, and we have never interacted before." "Big boss, what do you think he's here for?" "I think he might be here to be a lobbyist for Zhuai Banquan. Zhuai Banquan wants to redeem those birthday gifts," the Huang steward replied. "That's impossible. We robbed them. They should be attacking us. Why would they cooperate with us? We're bandits." Lin Jia stood anxiously below. "What are they whispering about?" Cheng Dalei said decisively. "It's not that he doesn't want to fight us, but that he doesn't have time. He just won the position of city lord, and is busy stabilizing his power in the city. The birthday banquet of the young province king is approaching, and he doesn't have much time, so redeeming the gifts is the best way. What the big boss says makes sense, but what I can't figure out is that it's okay for him to come to negotiate. But why is he just standing at the foot of the mountain?" the Huang steward replied. "I heard that this Li Jia is very arrogant."
Before, Han Hu kept wanting to meet him, and 4 hours passed. But he didn't say a word and still let Han Hu speak first before he would talk.
Dalei replied. "Oh, so he's an arrogant guy. I like arrogant people the most. How about I go down the mountain and invite him up?" Dalei replied. "Invite what? If he likes to wait, then let him wait. I'm going to sleep. The weather is really good today." Li Jia was aching. "It's so hot. Why do these bumpkins in the forest like to hide in the mountains? Like my Wild Wolf Gang, we all associate with powerful officials. Doing business and making money, we are civilized people. What's that saying? I hate robbers like you the most. You don't have any skills. What's so proud of using tricks to defeat Lu Hang? Damn it, why hasn't anyone come to open the door yet after so long? Why hasn't it been opened yet? Could it be that they are preparing a welcoming ceremony? How polite. I'll tell them about the things in the city later to broaden their horizons, and conveniently say that the city lord is very angry, but luckily I gave the forest face and suppressed it, helping you guys. Hand over the birthday gifts, and the generous city lord Zhu will reward you with some money." He started to fidget. "But it's so hot, it's so itchy. Will taking off my clothes to take a look ruin my image?"
3 hours later, the flattering Lian Jia still didn't come down, and it wasn't opened.
Why hasn't it been opened yet? He felt like he couldn't bear it anymore, and shouted loudly. Li Jia of the Wild Wolf Gang requests an audience. Sweat dripped down his forehead. The Huang steward then said, "Big boss, he's starting to look like a monkey down there. Do you need to torture him anymore?" Dalei stretched, full of energy after a good night's sleep.
"Torture what? If we torture him any longer, he'll die in the sun. You let him come up, and talk to him to see what price Zhuai Banquan is offering." The city gate finally opened. The Huang steward stepped forward.
Li Jia was like he had been resurrected. "Saved. Steward Huang. Long time no see. After we parted ways in Blackstone City, I didn't expect you to end up being a bandit here. I'm not a steward anymore. Now I'm the general manager of Hamo Fort. Don't mention the past."
Li Jia replied. What a pity, what a pity. Why don't I see Cheng Dangjia? The big boss is busy with important matters."
"You can tell me anything," Li Jia said. "If that's the case, City Lord Shu agrees to redeem the birthday gifts for 20,000 guan. I guarantee this. And it's also City Lord Shu's great kindness."
The Huang steward replied. "TCH, City Lord Zhu thinks very well. Selling those gifts outside would probably be worth more than that," Li Jia said. "Steward Huang, don't forget, these gifts were robbed by you and they didn't originally belong to your steward," Lin Jia replied. "Gang leader, don't forget, we are bandits. What we rob, of course, belongs to us. Hamo Fort. You only have 6 people. If you don't give this money, you want to level Hamo Fort, you can," the Huang steward said. "If Steward Huang can't make the decision, then quickly invite Dangjia Cheng out here." A cold-blooded Cheng Dalei opened the door and said, "Since that's the case, then let me talk to you. 10,000 strings of cash for ransom, deal or no deal." Li Jia sweated bullets. 10,000 strings. Is this the voice of Big Boss? Cheng Dalei replied. "I'm not one for haggling."
"If you don't agree, I wouldn't mind dragging your corpse away either." Extra snack for tonight. Lin Jia was horrified. Rumor has it that great king Ferocious Toad eats 10 jin of human meat and 2 jin of blood per meal.
I agree, Huang steward replied. "Then it's settled. You bring 10,000 strings of cash to Ferocious Toad's stronghold, and we'll return the birthday gifts, Li Jia said.
But the problem is, we don't have 10,000 strings, Huang Steward replied. No worries, we can do installments. Installments. We've already thought it through for you. If you don't have cash, you can use food, salt, and cloth to offset the debt, as long as you can pay 3 parts of the deposit.
As for the interest, whenever the army passes through Ferocious Toad Ridge, we'll take 2 parts of the profit until the debt is paid off.
If there are no problems, then sign the contract.
There are 2 copies of the contract. Sign them and bring them back for Shui Bangquan to sign and stamp. Once you have enough deposit, you can come and take the birthday gifts, Li Jia asked again. As long as we pay 3 parts, which is 30,000, we can take all the gifts.
Huang Steward nodded. Huang Steward? What should we do when borrowing money? Don't worry about it. In another room, Shu Shenji asked Big Boss,
when can we get out?
Cheng Delay replied. After Huang Steward finishes scamming that wild ice Lameo, he continued. I plan to go to Luoye City in a few days. Come with me. Do you miss your wife, Big Boss? You're still too young, he replied.
That's just part of it. The rest is that it's been so long since I've seen what the city is like.
Gao Feihu was leisurely fishing. These peaceful years are so chill. He jerked hard and hooked one right away. Awesome, so many dried fish, enough to eat for a few days. Suddenly, a loud call startled him and kicked the basket away. Row! The fish basket rolled back into the lake. There goes all the morning's work. The little bro ran over flustered. Big bro. The Ferocious Toad stronghold is in Dan Gao Market again. Gao Feihu turned around with a fierce look, grabbing his little bro by the collar. I'll kill him for fun, he asked. Don't make such a fuss next time. Speak. What's the matter? They're giving away chili pepper seedlings to plant. What is a chili pepper? Is it like a pepper tree? The Ferocious Toad stronghold said that after harvesting, 1 jin of chili peppers can be exchanged for 1 jin of food. How much is there?
They said at least over 1,000 jin.
1 jin of chili peppers for 1 jin of food. That's 1,000 jin per acre. What do you think about this? Is it reliable? Gao Feihu hesitated. This is kinda sus. Does anyone believe them? The little bro replied. Of course, Little White Wolf of Apricot Blossom Mountain has already taken some, and so has Baldy Big Bro. I also took seedlings for half an acre. Do I need to find a place to plant them?
Gao Feihu replied. Isn't this just nonsense? We can also plant some more beans this year. There's no empty land for you to mess with. Or give you a piece of land. I want to try to see what will grow out of it, Gao Feihu said. At most, I'll give you the land in front of the main house. Clean it up a bit and plant it there. 3 days later, Big Boss of Blackstone City sent someone to deliver the first ransom payment. Count it. 10,000 strings of cash, not a penny less, and also salt, iron, and food. Cheng Dalei replied. General Liu, happy cooperation, happy your head. The handover process was very smooth. After the transfer, Liu Heng did not return directly to Blackstone City, but directly dragged the birthday gifts to Yu Zhao City. You can see how anxious Shui Bangquan is this year. In the middle of a sunny afternoon, Cheng Dalei changed into the scholar's outfit. The system rewarded him, stuffed a knife in his waist, and rode his skinny horse, calling out to Shu Shenji. He was heading into the city. At the Shu household, this is the invitation from the imperial family. This year, Huang the landlord is 49 years old, and his first wife passed away last year. If Xiao Ying goes, she'll be the first wife. Doesn't that sound like it'd be making Xiao Ying suffer? Xiao Ying is only 17, what's there to suffer? She hasn't even stepped through the door and already killed the first wife. Plus, she was once trampled by bandits. The fact that Huang the landlord even wants her is already pretty good. Huang the landlord has thousands of acres of land, and his eldest son holds a position in the military camp. I'm afraid we're the ones climbing the social ladder. Zhu Ying was sitting alone on the porch, quietly feeding the pigeons, a young lady in the prime of her youth. Known as the most beautiful in the region, a little maid ran over in a panic. Young miss, do you know the madam wants to marry you off? To an old man surnamed Huang, with a completely white beard, I overheard a little bit, the little maid grumbled. But young miss, how can you let them marry you off to him? He could be little Dai's grandpa, Zhu Ying replied. Considering what I've been through, being able to marry is already good. Plus, this time I'll even be the first wife, little Dai insisted. But young miss, your heart still isn't happy, right? Zhu Ying sighed. Of course, Zhu Ying was as quiet as the pigeons pecking away at their food. Arriving at Luoye City, a wanted poster read, The evil bandit Cheng Dalei hails from Green Ox Peak. He's a total con artist, nicknamed Crotch Toad King. He has big ears, a large face, and a full black beard. This guy kills people like they're grass. His crimes are heinous. Anyone who captures him and brings him to justice will be rewarded with 150 taels of silver. Dele was surprised. Yo, the reward for me has increased. The drawing on top doesn't even look like me. How are they going to catch anyone? Dele ordered. Let's go into the city. Unexpectedly, they were stopped by soldiers. Hey, what's your business? Why do you look like that bandit on the wanted poster? Show me your road pass. Dai, who was not leaving Shu Shenji's side, stepped forward. Our young master is just out for a stroll. Please be lenient, officers. She slipped a few gold coins into his hand, the soldier replied. Not bad, not bad. What are your names? And where are you from? Dalai thought for a moment. I'm surnamed Oyu, named Ba Yin. I'm from the foot of Green Ox Mountain. He's named Ojia, and is my uncle. We're entering the city to visit relatives. Please allow us to pass, sir. The soldier scoffed. Oh, Ba, what a weird name. Alright, go on in. If you're coming from Green Ox Mountain, you must know that the bandits on the mountain are causing trouble. Until late at night, Dalai was astonished. Luoye City is so bustling. Young master, what restaurant should we find first? They found a restaurant. Waiter, bring us 2 jars of white liquor and 2 caddies of beef. The waiter replied. Boss, we don't have beef here, but we do have liquor. But what is white liquor? Shu Shenji said. Leave it to me. Arrange a private room for us first. Our horses are standing outside. Take them to the backyard to graze. As for the food and drinks, bring 2 jars of Huang liquor, half a caddy of mutton, half a caddy of pork, and quickly make a fish soup. Yes, sir. After a short while, the food and drinks were served. Enjoy your meal, sirs. If you need anything else, just let me know. Shu Shenji held out a few coins and asked, Wait, what dishes do you have? List them all out. All right, esteemed customer. Listen closely. We have, Shu Shenji thought. The waiter introduced over a dozen dishes. But the cooking methods were just steaming, boiling, and grilling, barely any stir-frying. The dishes were all light on oil and salt, and there wasn't much food. Seems like a business opportunity. Should I try spicy skewers, hot pot, plenty of seating, and 108 dishes, including the street vendors? The waiter replied. That's right. Our restaurant only recently added a new dish, and in limited quantities. If it weren't for discerning customers like you, we wouldn't bring it out. Seeing that you two are connoisseurs, would you like to try it? Shu Shenji asked curiously, and he replied, Have you two ever heard of chili peppers? Cheng Dalai replied, Ah, I've never heard of that. It's not that I'm looking down on you two, it's just that this dish has never appeared before, but its flavor is so unforgettable, even our city lord of Luoyi City wanted to take home half a jin after eating it. Tsk, our shop only got 10 jin ourselves, Dalai asked inquisitively. I just don't know where Si-Hai restaurant got such a valuable dish, the waiter replied. It was thanks to our mistress, a regular customer, who brought it from overseas. Fortunately, she had a discerning eye and didn't miss such a treasure. I bet this is the only portion of this dish in the empire, so how about you two try a dish made from it? Cheng Dalai replied, Nah, never mind, I'm feeling a bit hot lately. You can leave now. The waiter replied, Okay, then enjoy your meal, Shu Shenji said. Young master, Si-Hai restaurant is definitely a decent restaurant in Si-Hai. But the mistress of Si-Hai is definitely not Su Ying. Su Ying took the chili peppers away, so how did it end up somewhere else? Cheng Dalai asked. Oh Jia, do you know why I didn't bring anyone else with me this time into the city, but had to bring you? Shu Shenji replied. Of course, it's because I'm resourceful and clever. Taking Lei Fu with you would just be for scheming. Having confidence is good. But you have to remember that this time we came to the city not just to eat and have fun, but with a mission. I'm really afraid of your milk poisoning attribute. First, see if Su family's situation means they can't pay their debts to us. Second, see where we can buy some slaves and buy a few to take back. Military advisor, which mission do you think you can carry out? Shenji replied. Of course this old man will take on the difficult one. Give me the mission of investigating the Su family, Cheng Dalai replied. You bastard. In the afternoon, take a walk on the street and see where they sell slaves. Just determine the number and we'll immediately go back to get money, Shu Shenji replied. Okay then. I still want to have 2 floral outfits tailored for Linger in the city. Alright, the tasks are clear. After confirming the situation, you wait for me at the inn. Shenji said. I still don't know what the situation is on my side, I may not be back tonight, you don't need to worry. Cheng Dalai sat in silence for a while, then he called out, Waiter. Customer, is there anything I can help you with? Cheng Dalai hesitated, looking around before murmuring. The waiter saw the puzzled look, and spoke up. Oh, I understand, you want to find a brothel? Cheng Dalai was overjoyed, but still maintained his composure. Shh, keep your voice down. Which is the best brothel in Luoye City? He replied. Of course, it's Huiyan Brothel. Cheng Dalai rejoiced. It's hard to get into the city, so I can't miss this opportunity. Young master is so handsome, suave, and unrestrained, making my heart melt. As expected of a red light district, a good place so crowded. Cheng Dalai, suddenly startled. Huh, that back view. Looking around, he stepped forward and called out, Oh Jia, old man. Turning around, it's Dalai again. The two looked at each other, not knowing what to say. Cheng Dalai muttered, You, Shenji blurted out. Young master, I was wrong, I shouldn't have come here. Cheng Dalai raised his voice. What a waste of my trust in you. You dare to use the mountain stronghold's money to come to this place. The old man replied, Young master, I was just passing by, so I conveniently dropped in for a bit. Passing by, I followed you the whole way. Do you think I'll believe you? The old man then groveled. Young master, I was wrong. Please don't tell Linger, I'm heading out right now. All right, I'm not that unreasonable. Dalai patted the old man's shoulder. Since we're here, we should check it out. Critically, of course, see just how ugly they can get. The two of them headed together to Huiyan Inn. I heard this place is starting to choose a new flower queen again. And the master's already gotten rich and promoted. Someone write a good poem. In this age,
Rumors are the best way to spread information, Shinji said. Young master, I want to call for a girl to pour drinks, a whisper came from a nearby table. Gentlemen, have you seen the notice posted on the city gate? Duh! Who doesn't know about Great Toad King's matter now? What kind of person is Liu Heng? He couldn't possibly be fooled. What kind of move was that? Trisk, that's 150 taels. If anyone gets his head, they won't have to worry about food and drink for the rest of their lives. I heard that Great Toad King is 2 zang tall, and uses a massive axe weighing 300 jin. Shh, keep it down. I heard that Fiend was taught 5 thunder arts by an immortal, has the clairvoyant eye, and wind-listening ears. He knows everything we say here, the guy at this table timidly asked. You guys are talking so loudly. Have you ever met Great Toad King? Is Brother Shu saying you've seen that fiend before, mister? Shu replied. More than just seen him. That day I was passing by the foot of Hamel Mountain. I seemed to hear a loud shout, and a person fell from the sky. This person introduced himself as Great Toad King. I fought him. A grand battle of 300 rounds, but unfortunately, I lost by 1 move. Everyone burst out laughing. Do you think what you're saying is believable? Even Liu Heng couldn't withstand a single move from Great Toad King. Are you saying you're even stronger than Liu Heng? Young Master Shu's family heirloom magic sword is extremely powerful, I believe that much. Mister, Shung said. Last time I only used 1 move and already defeated that thief. If there's a next time, just with the sword in my hand, and justice in my heart, I'll chop off that fiend's head with my own hands, eliminating this menace for Luoye City. The 2 men laughed loudly. Haha. After his words, Mr. Shu was furious. Old man, what are you laughing at? Don't you believe me? Shu Shenji snorted. Not bothering to reply, Dale came over and said, not only does he not believe it, but I also don't believe you actually met Great Toad King, mister, Shu replied. Of course I've met him. Who are you to doubt me? Your humble self is OUB. In the martial world they call me Gentle Axe. The guys at the next table clamored. Oba! Oba! Dale felt his head spin, being called Opa by a bunch of people. How embarrassing. Mister, Shu said. HMPH. No matter who you are, I came here for Yan Jisheng. Are you guys here because you heard her name too? Dale replied. Just for fun. Yeah, so what? These guys scoffed. He wants to set his sights on Yan Jisheng too. Can't even afford silk clothes. Probably some country bumpkin from who knows where, ha ha ha. Dale didn't quite understand, so he didn't rush to speak. Amidst everyone's discussions, Dale gradually figured out who Yan Jihong truly was. This Yan Jihong's family name was Liu, her given name was Liu Jihi. Before, the Liu family was also a wealthy household in Luoye City. The young master of the family lived up to his reputation, truly serving in the military camp, responsible for protecting the sea from pirates, but he never managed to eliminate them. Later, the imperial court investigated, and discovered he was colluding with pirates for profit. Enraged, the city lord beheaded Liu's father, and all the male family members and servants were sent to forced labor. Liu Zihi, originally the Liu family's young miss, was sold as an official slave. He immediately thought, isn't slavery one of the reasons I came here? This year, young Miss Liu is 18 years old. Although she's fallen to this pleasure quarter, dropping from nobility to a 4th-class commoner, she's not someone just anyone can meet. First, you need a string of copper coins as a knocking brick. And you must write an interesting poem that pleases her. Only then will you have a chance to enter Liu Zihi's boudoir. There's still a curtain between you and Liu Zihi during the meeting. As for how to make Liu Zihi come out from behind the curtain to pour you a cup of wine, there's a saying. As long as you make young Miss Liu happy, she might lazily say, "This humble one is tired today, young master. Please come again tomorrow." Whether you can meet her after doing this repeatedly depends on fate. And finally, if you want to get into bed, you'll need to pay an astronomical price. So, those who couldn't get her never will, while those who want to spend money flock endlessly. Cheng Dale grabbed the paper on the table. The ex-Shu guy asked, "Is Miss Yan Jisheng free today?" Dale said, "Trouble you to get me some ink and a brush." "Yes, young master," Shu Shenji asked. "Are you all right, young master?" The underling said that Hena Mo really wants to eat swan meat, Dale wrote. Hena Mo was born from the earth. A single bed on the ground, like a tiger sleeping on the floor. It's all just fluff, any kid in the city could do it. Dalai didn't care. Chuckling to himself, he placed a silver ingot in front of the paper. "Sorry for the trouble. I wonder who Miss Yan Jisheng will choose today. Probably that Zhu guy. The Shu guy has been coming for over 10 days now. I wonder how much silver he's wasted." I heard the Zhu guy found some expert to write a poem. Miss Yan Jihong also loves poetry. After a long time, a maid came out. "There's a result. She's coming out. She's coming out," the maid announced. "Young Master Otu. The young lady invites you to her room." The disciples were dumbfounded. "What the heo?" Dale sneered, sticking a piece of paper onto their backs. "He doesn't even know about that Zhu guy." Both guys exclaimed. "What's that Shu idiot whining about? I've been persevering for over 10 days. I clearly came to an agreement with Miss Yan Jihong yesterday." The guy said roughly, "It's probably because of the poem he wrote." "Poem? What poem?" This guy suddenly signaled, "Shu Gongzi, don't move. What's wrong? Is there something stuck on your back?" All of them suddenly turned pale. This is Great King Hamo. Could it be that he's here? What did I say? What did I say? 1,000-mile eyes, wind listening ears, and that shoe guy was scared shitless. Does 1,000-mile eyes and wind listening ears really exist? Hamo was born from the earth, a single bed on the ground like a sleeping tiger. Looks like if I don't speak up, no insects will dare to make a sound. Xiao Yanzihi asked. Was this poem written by young Master O? Dele replied. Just call me by my name. I'm a pretty casual guy.
Yanzihi called him Uba twice. Dale was satisfied. He stood silently before Yanzi's boudoir, unable to find a topic. But I want to take a good look at the young lady. 16 years old, but her body is not yet fully grown. Just how captivating and beautiful is she?
Yanzihi spoke up. Young Master Ou, it's getting late. It's getting late. Surely she's not hinting that we should go to bed early together, right? This is definitely a signal to kick me out. Being chased out like this would be a waste of money. Yanzihi anxiously said, Young Master, what do you want to do? Young Master, please have some self-respect. Young Miss Yanzihi earnestly tried to dissuade him, but Dale didn't care, and just lifted the curtain. Yanzihi appeared before his eyes. She really is a young lady just as he guessed. Dale glanced at her. Although the hype was a bit exaggerated, the little loli is quite pretty. I have to ask about her family situation first. Don't be afraid, little one. I won't hurt you. Don't scream. Dale approached. Hey, little one. Be good. Don't scream. You, don't come over here. A knight suddenly jumped in from the window. Dale was still oblivious. Little one, don't shout so loud. I'm a very gentle person. As he turned around, the knight grabbed him, holding a knife to his neck. Do we kill him, milady? Yanzihi replied. Yungage, don't kill him. Dale was surprised. Oh, so she's got a man hidden in her room. The knight interrupted. You're about to die. What's the point of talking nonsense? Name's Meng Ziyun, a renowned martial artist since childhood, 22 years old, skilled in the Liu family blade technique, attribute, concealed, none. Liu Yanzihi quietly lamented. Meng Ziyun cursed. Kill him! Dale shouted. This little punk, I can save your whole family. Yanzihi immediately stopped him. Wait. Just as the knife touched his neck, Meng Ziyun said, Milady, this bastard knows I'm here. We can't let him spread the news. Yanzihi replied. Yungege, let's hear what news he has to tell. Yanzihi invited him to sit down for tea and asked, Who are you? How can you save my family? Dale pointed at Ziyun. Who is he? Can he be trusted? Yungege is my father's adopted son. He treats me like a real sister. He's been protecting me these past few days. He's the one I trust the most now. Dale recalled seeing on his wanted poster this morning. It seems there's a reward for another person, Meng Ziyun. This guy was taken in by Liu Fu and taught martial arts, and held a position in the army. After the Liu family incident, he was also captured as a slave. Looks like he sought out Liu Yanji after escaping from prison. But this guy probably wants to turn his sister into a lover. You're already old, and you're hitting on a young girl. You have no shame, Yanji asked. Who exactly are you? Speak quickly, Dale replied. This humble one is none other than the great king of the mountain stronghold on Camel Peak of Sacred Ox Mountain. A bandit. You're Cheng Dale. Meng Ziyun cursed. Don't talk nonsense. The great king of Camel Peak defeated Lu Heng with just one move. How could he be as useless as you? You dare lie again and I'll chop off your head right now, Dale responded wittily. Oh, I knew I couldn't fool you guys. Alright, I'll tell the truth. This humble one is surnamed Ou. Name Ba. Character Fade. Just a small fry. In Camel Peak, Ziyun was stunned. Fade is your dad, Dale replied. Hey, my good son. Our great chieftain greatly admires Liu General's character. Although he's never met him, he's long admired him. This time, Liu General died unjustly, ending up like this. After hearing about it, our great chieftain was very angry. Liu Yanzihi was touched. Even a bandit knows my father was wronged. It seems justice still exists in people's hearts, Dale replied. The great chieftain said that Liu General's descendants absolutely cannot suffer injustice, so he specially sent me into the city to scout out the situation. If there's an opportunity, he'll send troops to rescue them, Liu Yanzihi asked. So what are you planning to do to rescue us? Dale replied. I've investigated the situation thoroughly. This time, I'll go back to the stronghold to get money to buy back the others. And as for Miss Liu, I'll come to rescue you later. After hearing this, Liu Yanzihi suddenly burst into tears. The great kindness of Chief Cheng, Liu Ziyi will never forget. If you can save the lives of my family, Liu Ziyi, Dale thought. Oh, is this the rhythm of wanting to repay me with her body? Yanzihi said. In the next life I'm willing to be your ox or horse, chewing grass and straw for you, Chief? Dale froze. Next life. Do I have to be reborn? I heard that King Hamo is also nearby. No way, it's not him, right? That's just old man Uba. It's been so long, has he been summoned already? He's so lucky. Looking at the target from Shenji, it's suspicious. Girl, go invite young Master O. The eldest miss invites you up. Shu Shenji was shocked. Call me up. Unexpected. Unexpected?
That young master is so righteous, it's rare for you to eat meat, and you even let me touch a little bit of the benefits. Talk about going big. Shu Shenji, the strategist, walked in, only to be threatened by Meng Ziyun with a sword. What's going on, young master? Cheng Dalei replied. This is Meng Ziyun, a subordinate of General Liu. Brother Meng doesn't trust us, so you take him back to the stronghold and bring money to redeem him. What about you? I still have some things to take care of in the city. After everything is settled, you know how to contact Miss Liu. After leaving this place, I'll wait for you to be my ox and horse, to repay your kindness. I said it. Cheng Dalei stepped to the door and jumped down, disappearing. The next day, at the Su family, Cheng Dalei observed from the wall. This Su family manor is huge. Moreover, knowing that the land and houses are so large, one shouldn't just barge in. With so many courtyards, how am I supposed to know where Su Ying's room is? Preft. Just look at her. Really thinks she's a young lady. Why isn't the old man seriously ill? Now the mistress manages everything in the house. Who dares to do anything to her, tch? She still acts like a young lady in front of me. I have to teach her some manners. Hearing this, Cheng Dalei understood that they must have just returned from Su Ying's place. Xiao Ying sat curled up alone in the cold night, feeling incredibly lonely. Cheng Dalei peeked from outside and jumped in. Who's there? Su Ying asked. He stumbled down and fell flat on his face. Su Ying looked at the stranger lying motionless for a while, then perked up. So it's Dalei Hamoka. He's moving. Fear level up 88. Don't you come over here. Xiao Ying scolded. The night is still long. I thought I was the only one having trouble sleeping. Turns out Miss Su is too. Moving closer. Xiao Ying finally recognized the old friend clearly. Cheng Dalei took out a Buddha amulet from his sleeve. Here, for you. Do you like it? The scent of a woman. You came from a woman, huh? How can it be? I specially bought it for you. It's just that the fragrance pouch seller was a little girl. Does it smell good? I specially gave it to you. It's very expensive. They said that pouch smells the best. Xiao Ying replied. I've never worn a fragrance pouch before. Why? Born dignified. Xiao Ying asked. Why did you come here since we parted at Xingniu Mountain? It hasn't even been a month. But the image of the maiden is still deeply etched in my heart. I can't eat or sleep. I can't forget. Xiao Ying blushed. You're not serious. This time it's for real. Today I deliberately came to visit you. Are you doing well lately? Are you sick? Are you trying to lose weight? Xiao Ying was silent, only glanced at Cheng Dalei. She couldn't hide her sadness anymore. At this time, it was midnight. Su Ying and Cheng Dalei were sitting outside chatting. Su Ying was robbed on the way to her wedding, and then the Han family was exterminated. Many people thought the Han family's extermination was done by the Su family, and said she was cursed, the Han family. Su Ying was considered not normal. The Su family wanted to drive her away, and also said she was a jinx. Seeing her so pitiful, Lei asked, Where's your father? Doesn't he care? Seeing brother Lei caring about her like that, Su Ying also told the truth. My father is seriously ill and lying in bed. I'm afraid he doesn't know about this. Lei Xiong sighed in frustration after hearing this. Feudal ethics are a menace. At this moment, Su Ying recalled the words that girl said. That jinx brings shame to the Su family. Might as well hang herself. The girl behind her also said. And she even thinks she can marry Steward Huang. Even a servant wouldn't want her. Lei Xiong heard this and patted her head, acting very gentlemanly, and replied, They're all jerks. You've got me. Seeing that Su Ying was still uneasy, Lei Xiong said, I'll protect you. Su Ying felt embarrassed after hearing this, but also a bit comforted. Lei Xiong finished speaking and stood up. Su Ying asked, How are you going to help me? He confidently replied, You're my lady boss. How can I let others bully you? After finishing, Lei Xiong left and instructed, Just wait for me here. I'll sort out the trouble for you. Wait for my news. Su Ying chased after him and replied, Wait. Lei Xiong turned back and asked Su Ying, What else? Su Ying then took out a cage of white pigeons and said, Take this with you. Lei Xiong thought that Su Ying was giving it to him to eat and replied, I've already had dinner. I don't really like roasted pigeon or anything. Su Ying looked helpless and said, Are you stupid? I'm saying use it to contact me after you're done. Lei Xiong grabbed the cage and flew over the wall, disappearing into the night, leaving Su Ying alone to stargaze. Cut to the next day, Shu Junshi ran over from somewhere, shouting, Big boss, you've arrived? Lei Xiong showed a suspicious attitude. Who else is here? Shu Junshi invited him in, and it turned out to be a young teenager. Lin Xiaoxia said, Big boss. That teenager asked Lei Xiong with a serious face, Are you Cheng Dalei? Cheng Dalei fearlessly replied, That's right, you got a problem with that. Seeing this, that guy immediately turned around, showing an angry attitude and rushing over, shouting, You brat dares to trick me. He flew towards Lei Xiong as fast as the wind. Before he even needed to act, Lin Xiaoyu rushed out and landed a kick, blocking that guy's punch. Lin Xiaoyu's stance made him extremely powerful, causing him to fly out and retreat. Seeing Lin Xiaoxia pull out his weapon, ready to fight, he said, A bandit dares to attack me. He pulled out the sword from his body and said, Got a death wish? Lei Xiong saw that the situation was quite tense. Not wanting a big incident to happen, he said to Lin Xiaoyu, We can fight whatever, but is fighting urgent or saving people urgent? Seeing this, that teenager also stopped fighting. After a while, Lei Xiong asked,
Did you bring the money? One person replied.
1,000 yang coins, delivered by carriage, Cheng Dalei asked upon seeing the yang coins. Is that enough? Is it a bit little? Xu Junxi replied based on his experience. It's enough. Even an ordinary slave girl isn't more than 1 yang coin. The amount I've given is enough. It's just the ransom for Liu Gunyang is a bit expensive. And secondly, it's convenient to prepare money to carry out the transaction. Lei Xiang didn't say much else and said, go to the Liu family to redeem the person this afternoon and come back tonight. How are the preparations?
Xu Junxi had already planned everything out and replied,
I've arranged for guards in the city. They'll buy us 1 incense stick's worth of time, enough for us to take the person away. Lei Xiang felt very relieved after hearing this, and then assigned the next task to them.
Xu Junxi, Xiang Daji, and I will go together to redeem the person. Xiao Yu and Meng Xiaoyun will go to redeem Liu Gunyang.
Seeing Cheng Dalei leading everyone so confidently, that teenager thought, no matter how you look at it, this person is useless, but why do the others trust him so much? Cheng Dalei walked away dignifiedly and said, we'll provide support outside the city.
Scene change. At this time it was already late afternoon.
In a city, lines of carriages were heading out. Seeing that Cheng Dalei had saved them, one group found it strange. We heard it was Hakamo's Hai who saved us. They don't want to rob us, do they?
One guy stood up and yelled, this old master will never coexist with them under the same sky. How could we become bandits? Another, seeing this, echoed, what an insult. Absolutely humiliating. They won't accept that Hakamo's Hai saved them and wants us to be bandits. We'd rather die than be bandits. We swear we'd rather die.
Cheng Dalei looked at them.
It seemed none of them wanted to submit to Lei Xiang.
Cheng Dalei waited until they were all gathered and said,
everyone's here. If you don't want to be bandits, then die. There are plenty of ways to die. If you don't want to use a knife, you can smash your heads against rocks or trees.
Lei Xiang adopted a resolute attitude and said, don't think you can feign loyalty and avenge the country. If you're so smart and want to die, then be my guest. Then the 3 of them looked towards the city gate. Xu Junxi worried about Lin Xiaoyu and said, Big Boss Xiaoyu and the others have been discussing for too long. If we don't move now, we won't be able to enter the city gate. Suddenly, Meng Ziyun charged out on horseback, looking fierce. Cheng Dalei looked up and said, what's going on, Lin Xiaoyu and Liu? Meng Ziyun, looking flustered, said, Miss, there's a royal banquet in the city today. The miss was invited. They took her away while we were gone. Lin Xiaoyu told us to return and report. He went to check it out himself. Seeing the situation, Xu Junxi disregarded the consequences and said, Big Boss, Xiaoyu is still in the city. What should we do?
Cheng Dalei looked worried, thought for a moment and said, now that we've gotten into the city, I'm afraid it'll be very difficult to get out.
Seeing that things were getting complicated, Xu Shenji suddenly had an idea. Boss, I know a way out of the city. It's a secret passage that the old master left behind back then.
Seeing this, Meng Ziyun also chimed in. Big Boss, I've already guessed that this situation might happen. I brought your axe. Lei Qiang brandished his weapon, his aura soaring. Then Lei Qiang smiled confidently as if he were ready for battle. If that's the case, Qinman, Meng Ziyun, follow me into the city to snatch the girl. With that, everyone got on their horses and charged straight towards the city.
Scene change. At the royal palace, a banquet was being held. With people bustling about,
Lin Xiaoyu was hiding in a corner, scouting out the situation inside.
Then suddenly Lei Xiang and the others arrived. Seeing reinforcements had arrived, Lin Xiaoyu said, Big Boss, why are you guys here, Lei Xiang? Cheng Dalei ran over and replied, Xiaoyu, what's the situation inside?
Lin Xiaoyu observed and said, Miss Liu is inside. Today is Huang Yuanwai's birthday banquet. There are quite a few guards in the city, about 70 or 80 of them. There are about a dozen guards in the courtyard.
Lei Qiang understood the situation before him and said, follow us, get the horses, we'll go check out the old back road. Inside, everything was still proceeding as normal. Completely unaware of the arrival of Cheng Dalei's group, a nobleman said, Huang Yuanwai has a lot of face. It's usually very difficult to meet Yan Zihong. Today it's thanks to Huang Yuanwai's blessing that we can have this good fortune.
At this moment, Miss Liu was performing a beautiful umbrella dance, captivating the noblemen and making them completely infatuated. Truly a stunning beauty. Huang Yuanwai looked at Miss Liu for a moment and said, the girl dancing there has some charm. Today I invite everyone to enjoy, chat, and drink wine. One nobleman drank wine while admiring, and said, the reputation of Huiyanlu is naturally different from those vulgar places. Those jade feet are very valuable. Huang Yuanwai noticed that he seemed very interested in Miss Liu, and said,
if Huang Yuanwai likes her, I'll have this girl accompany you tonight.
Seeing that Huang Yuanwai saw through his thoughts, he replied, oh, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. A gentleman doesn't compete for what he loves. It's just that my family is hosting a banquet in a few days, if possible. I hope Huang Yuanwai can let that girl come to my house as a token of Huang Yuanwai's affection. After finishing her performance, Miss Liu went back to her room to rest. I'm so tired, she sighed. Miss Liu's maid saw that she looked tired, and said, Miss, just rest here. Someone will take you back after the banquet ends.
Suddenly she felt something. The door opened, and a man walked in from somewhere.
Seeing a stranger, the girl shouted,
who? It turned out to be a drunken pervert, his face flushed red, looking for a beauty, and said, Miss Yan Zirihong, You have such a delicate appearance.
Seeing that he wanted to do something indecent, Liu Zihe shouted, "You, what do you want to do?" He flashed a sly smile and replied, "Hee, what can I do?" He rushed forward and grabbed her hand, saying, "Of course I want to do things that both husband and wife enjoy with you, miss." Seeing him trying to force himself on her, Miss Liu screamed.
She struggled, pushing his hand away, and immediately tried to run. He drunkenly watched her and said,
"Little beauty, trying to escape and find someone to help you."
Suddenly she slipped and fell to the ground.
"Looks like she's a goner with this guy."
He approached, touching her, and said,
"Beauty, the outside is already being guarded by servants." He smugly pointed out that this was his house, and said, "You can't escape my grasp."
Inside, the banquet was still in full swing,
when suddenly, torches came flying in from somewhere.
Torches were constantly being thrown inside. The wealthy nobles inside were horrified, their faces turning pale, not understanding what was happening. Suddenly, a servant rushed in to report,
"Master, Cheng Delay's here."
Cheng Delay's group just charged into the manor on horseback, trampling the opulence. Bravely rushing in, the frightened servants fell all over the place. Seeing the advantageous situation, Brother Lei pressed his advantage and shouted, "Quick battle, quick victory." Qin Man and Lin Xiaoyu, riding their horses, used their spears to beat them to a pulp. They fled and yelled, "Report to the authorities. Notification. Fear index increased. Fear value reached 99. Fear value reached 1008. Fear value reached 166. Each and every one of them was beaten senseless, screaming, "Si Lang! Si Lang!"
Suddenly, a burly man holding a staff spoke heroically. "Si Lang is here. Everyone, don't panic, don't panic." When people saw Si Lang, they felt like they had found their savior.
They shouted, "Si Lang! Si Lang!" Du Si Lang, with his burly figure and rippling six-pack, calmed everyone down, saying, "Master, don't be afraid, Si Lang is here." Seeing Shin Man charging towards him, Si Lang wasn't afraid at all and shouted, "You bandit, dare you!"
Thinking he was going to put up a fight, who knew he'd be kicked away by Shin Man in one swift blow? He was sent flying into a wall. Unexpectedly, Si Lang was instantly logged out by Brother Qin. Everyone's faces turned green when they saw this. They shouted, "Si Lang is dead, Si Lang is dead." Seeing Lin Xiaoyu and Brother Qin sweep away a whole bunch like that, everyone ran for their lives, shouting, "Run! Scene change!" Inside Miss Liu's room,
the pervert was tearing at Miss Liu's clothes. The frail girl could hardly resist.
Suddenly he felt annoyed and frowned. "TCH, why is it so noisy outside? Ruining my fun." Miss Liu also realized that someone was coming to save her, and said, He's here to save me." He got angry after hearing that and slapped her hard. Then he grabbed her hair and said fiercely, "No one can save you. They can't find this place." Miss Liu cried in pain, saying, He's here, he's going to kill you all." He said angrily again, "I told you, he can't find this place."
He continued to press his face close to her, squeezing Miss Liu's face. Despite the pain, she still believed Zhu Feng would come to save her. He will definitely come, you pervert." He replied, "I'll kill you now, let's see who can save you." As soon as he finished speaking, the wooden door was suddenly kicked open. It turned out that Cheng Dalei had arrived just in time to save Miss Liu. Lei Xiong, flying in like an arrow, awe-inspiring. The pervert was startled and turned around, not understanding the situation. Then, Lei Xiong finished him off in a flash while riding a horse. Fresh blood gushing out, Miss Liu, witnessing the hero saving her, suddenly realized it was Ba Lei Xiong. Lei Xiong looked at her anxiously and said, "We'll talk later." Miss Liu replied with tears in her eyes, "Yes." Meanwhile, inside a water vat, Huang Yuanwei was trembling with fear, hiding inside. He suddenly heard someone's footsteps. Cheng Dalei approached and asked, "You're Huang Yuanwei?" Seeing Cheng Dalei holding an axe in his hand, the old man was terrified and said, "Sire, Grandpa, just take whatever you want, don't kill me, don't kill me." Cheng Dalei angrily swung the axe down in a fatal blow, shouting furiously, "You dare to kidnap my future wife." Then Lei Xiong shattered the vat with a palm strike. Lei Xiong looked satisfied with his death. "Deserves it." Huang Yuanwei kicked the bucket right on the spot. Fear value gained, 388. Fear value gained, 10,000. The troop dispatch platform has been unlocked. At this moment, inside Huang Yuanwei's mansion, only a stick of incense had burned. Cheng Dalei had already set fire and rescued the person. The survivors were dazed, trying to put out the fire. After rescuing Ms. Liu, Cheng Dalei's group all fled the city. Cheng Dalei held Miss Liu on the horse. The girl said, "Ba Lei Xiong." Seeing this, he told her the truth. "Not gonna lie, Miss Liu. My name is Cheng. I'm the boss of Hanama Camp. I tricked you before." Miss Liu laughed happily and replied, "I already figured that out." Seeing that the girl had realized everything, Lei Xiong replied, "Miss, you are indeed smart." Seeing that Lei Xiong was so kind, the girl said, "Today I thank Dadangjia for taking action to save me, otherwise the consequences would have been unimaginable. I will definitely repay Dadangjia for this kindness." Lei Xiong saw that the girl was so polite and replied, "Miss Liu, you're too kind. What I value most is keeping my promises. What I said must be done. Good things travel fast." On the road, Meng Ziyun saw his young miss being so intimate with him, and came forward to ask, "Young miss, You've been frightened. Why don't we get off the horse and rest for a while and then go? Miss Liu replied. Young Gage, don't worry about me. We should still listen to Dadangjia and quickly return to Hama camp. Ziyun saw that she trusted him and replied. This is a matter of keeping distance between men and women. Dangjia is an outsider. Miss must worry about her reputation. Ms. Liu immediately defended Lei Xiong, saying, Chengda Dangjia is not an outsider. If Yungirig feels that my reputation is not good, then you don't have to follow me anymore, she reaffirmed. Dadangjia won't abandon me to wander here, right? Chengda Lei happily replied. Of course not, I'm a bandit. You shouldn't underestimate me. Meng Ziyin felt that Chengda Lei was getting closer and closer to the young miss, and felt bitter because his secret crush was being snatched away. The young miss said again, How could I underestimate Cheng Dangjia? The more Ziyun looked, the more annoyed he felt, thinking, The young miss is young and naive. Since she's been saved by this despicable man, she might be moved. His thoughts arose. He frowned and thought, It's a pity that I grew up with the young miss since childhood. Seeing the young miss becoming more and more beautiful. When he was still alive, my foster father mentioned the marriage between me and the young miss, seeing with my own eyes that the young miss was tricked into the tiger's den by this despicable man. I must make the young miss wake up soon. Then, everyone happily returned to Hama camp. Lei Xiong said, Miss, you don't need to be polite. Just call me by my name or call me Lei Lei. Family members all call me that. Xin Xiang replied. Lei Lei, how long until we get to the mountain camp? Chengda Lei only said one sentence after hearing that. Soon, scene change. At Hama camp. After Lei Lei's group returned, the drums of Hama camp sounded, calling everyone to gather. Everyone began to gather and discuss. Lei saw that there were only a few people and said, Why are there so few people after so long? Meanwhile, the Liu family was lamenting the matter of joining Hama camp. Liu Jia said, My Liu family has been loyal for generations. How can we degenerate to the point of becoming bandits, truly ashamed of our ancestors? The two disciples saw this and replied, Our Liu family will temporarily rest here for a few days. Wait until the arrangements for the women and children are settled. Our brothers will rejoin the army, regain our reputation, and bring glory to our ancestors. A man ran over and said, Rest assured these next few days, we can guarantee your safety, but don't even think we'll just let you loot. Another man replied, What kind of bandits can't even rob? You can forget about ever pulling off a heist in this life. The orphaned boy peeked out from behind the man and said, Mommy, when are we gonna eat? Just then, Lei Lei's crew was all gathered. Huang Sanyuan said, Big boss, them. Chengda Lei looked at the group and replied, This time, bringing in 90+ people from the Liu family. Is that 6 against 93? Is this carp mode camp run by the Cheng family or the Liu family? These mountain camps need these people to complete the system's tasks. If the mountain camp wants to develop, it can't always rely on just 6 people. I didn't even get a notification from the system about new people joining. These people have absolutely no loyalty. Lei thought for a moment, and an idea popped into his head. Let's stabilize them first, and then slowly cultivate their sense of belonging to the camp. He realized that only an idiot would accept them, and then decisively said, Shin Man, throw them out. Shin Man obeyed and replied clearly, Roger. Then Shin Man jumped down gracefully and headed towards the Liu family group. A burly man stepped forward, confidently saying, You originally didn't have the right to fight me, but today I don't mind playing a few rounds with you. Then 4 guys behind him also aggressively stepped forward, wanting to devour Shin Man. Chong Kulak. The Liu family has roamed the seas for decades. Pirates run away just hearing our names. You guys on the mountain probably haven't heard of us, that's why you dare to mess with us. The guy next to him also took the opportunity to brag, saying, If I had been in charge of suppressing Green Ox Mountain, there wouldn't have been any bandits here long ago. After speaking, both sides rushed into battle. Shin Man unleashing a punch with the power of 1,000 pounds. Chin Bro's punches are all one-hit KOs. One punch from him sends them straight to meet their ancestors. Chin Bro rushed forward, quickly taking care of 2 guys each, spinning them around, making the Liu family people dizzy. Those standing outside watching were dumbfounded, not understanding why Chin Man had such extraordinary strength. This scene also gave Meng Ziyun goosebumps, who said, This guy is too strong, many times stronger than when he was holding a spear. The battle caused dust to fill the air for a while, and Shin Man finally finished off a group of people. Shin Man's muscular physique made everyone who saw him cower. Seeing this scene, Lei wasn't surprised at all by Chin Bro's strength. The old man Liu Muyun witnessed this performance, and could understand why carp mode camp was so difficult to deal with only 6 people. Seeing that they weren't surrendering, Lei angrily said, Still not leaving? Do you think the rumors about me eating people are fake? From behind, Liu Miss slowly walked forward. She quietly said, Cheng boss. Nujia Chengda Lei didn't care about her words, but responded bluntly. But when the time has shifted to afternoon at Carp Mode Hill, that afternoon, the Liu family's people were driven out of Carp Mode camp. Chengda Lei stood on the city wall, watching the people of the Liu family leave, and said, You guys want to be Lin Cheng, but I am not Wang Lun. Seeing this, Shu Junshi also said angrily,
This group of people is truly heartless. We saved them, yet they're so ungrateful and want to seize our mountain stronghold. Cheng Delay explained that they don't want to steal our mountain camp. But if they live proudly for this, then they must also be prepared to die for this pride. After speaking, Cheng Delay assigned tasks. The two of them, Chinda Ji, go fill in a section of the pit nearby. Don't hurt them. Xiao Yu, you follow them. Don't let other bandits bully them. Lebro was worried about the safety of that group of people. They have tattoos on their bodies, can't enter the city, don't have farmland, and are carrying a group of women and children. They can't run far, they're probably moving around nearby. Then, Lebro decisively said, wait until it's dark, then spread my word outside the camp. Carp Mode Camp is starting to recruit talent. Wanting to join Carp Mode Camp must meet certain assessment standards, and at the same time abide by the regulations of the mountain camp. Scene change. When it was dusk, the moon had already risen. The Liu family's people were resting in the forest at this time. In the forest it was difficult to find food, and a child cried out, Mommy, when can we eat? The mother holding the child was also desperate and could only say, go to sleep. When you wake up you won't feel hungry anymore. Beside them, a man was screaming in pain. Another guy said, what's with you guys being all men are calling out, no face, even the Shidi can bear it. Say I am a crippled leg. On this side, the group of Liu Mis and Meng Ziyun were no better off. Other guys lamented, why do we have to endure this, why? Meanwhile, something was being cooked at Carp Mode Camp, and the aroma spread throughout the forest, making them unable to resist, saying, smells so good, so good. The fat guy was so hungry that he thought, if we were on the mountain, they would give us a full meal. The skinny guy smelled it and was just as dizzy. Another person, seeing everyone driven mad by hunger, exclaimed, this is a den of thieves. Every moment spent here, every bite of stolen food, taints you with banditry. You'll never wash it off. Another man replied, I'll be all right, I really will, but my kid is only 6. Meanwhile, that Liu family guy was still sitting alone by the fire, lost in thought. Hearing all the talk, he thought, people's hearts are turning rebellious. He turned to look at them, thinking to himself, some want to hold on to their pride, others want to become bandits in the forest. Can't really blame them, they're just servants of the Liu family. 2 Liu family members were slumped under a tree. One, starving, said, just having something to eat tomorrow would be great. The other replied, so hungry. An old man, seeing this, also said, that chili thing they have in the city, only nobles can eat it. Even if those guys go up the mountain now, it's just a sandcastle. They'll definitely be used by the bandits. They can't take control, compete for power with the bandits. Just wishful thinking. Meanwhile, Liu Muyun was sitting by the fire thinking, there's nowhere to go, and we can't become bandits, so is there a way to make everyone happy? Huang Butler slowly walked over from a distance and announced to everyone, tomorrow morning, Hamo Camp will start recruiting. Anyone who wants to can go to the camp gate for inspection. Liu Muyun suddenly realized something. This is part of your plan too. It was late at night. Meng Ziyun, seeing the situation was not good, came up with an idea and said, Liu Jiajia, I have a plan. I don't know if it will work. The old man replied. He didn't hide anything, saying, Bauer is too hungry. We'll take him to the front of the camp gate. I don't believe Cheng Delay won't open the gate. As long as he opens it, we can bring the old and weak in, leave the strong behind, and we can slowly negotiate terms with them. Hearing this, the old man felt that this was probably the only way to save the situation. While discussing it, he said, Ziyue, you have high ideals. You don't kill for survival. Only through sacrifice can one become wise. It was now the 3rd watch. A skinny, weak man slowly walked towards the mountain camp. He called out weakly, open the gate. He, alone, wanted to join the bandits to get food, to find a way to survive. He shouted loudly, open the gate, I want to go up the mountain and be a bandit. The Liu family, seeing this, whispered and mocked him. You want to be a bandit? How can you face the Liu family ancestors? The ancestor Ling Tian wouldn't rest in peace under the 9 springs. He didn't care, saying, I'm just a lowly servant of the Liu family. The Liu family has been destroyed, and I've been implicated as a slave. He leaned his head against the city wall and said, I just want to keep living. It's true that only when people are cornered, do their desire to live, and their yearning to exist, truly awaken in their hearts, and they find ways to escape death. They were once politely invited to the mountain camp, thoughtfully arranged with food and shelter, even prepared clean clothes, but they refused for glory. And now, he's kneeling on the ground, begging the heavens for a way out, hoping this gate will open a path to survival for him. Isn't kowtowing enough? Isn't crying enough? I've abandoned my pride, given up my dignity as a person, humbly kneeling on the ground, begging for mercy. Isn't this enough? At this time, inside Hamo Camp, Lele was still tossing and turning, thinking, respecting you is like talking to a brick wall. I gotta kick you hard, so you know your place. Beggars can't be choosers. Actions speak louder than words. Early the next morning, when the sun was shining brightly, the camp gate finally opened. Before him, the man widened his eyes, finally seeing the gate open. The Liu family people also noticed and said, it's open. Overnight, those who wanted to join had gathered in front of the gate. Outside the camp gate were the pleas of those on the verge of death.
We want to join Hamo camp, please take us in. Cheng Dele was very satisfied that they had finally submitted. Line up carefully, the first recruitment of Hamo camp begins. Huang Butler sat in front of the registration table and said, to join Hamo camp, you must pass an interview, and only those who meet the requirements will be accepted. The Liu family people were determined to shout, I want to join Hamo camp. Hearing this, Huang Butler picked up his brush and wrote on the paper, asking, Name, Sunju. What did you do before? Cooked for the master. Got a boo-boo on your leg, Sunju honestly replied. Got caught in a grinder. No biggie. But my arms are strong, I can do anything. Butler Huang stroked his chin, pondering for a moment, then said, Your situation is a tough nut to crack. Sunju couldn't help but panic, trying to persuade him. I beg you to take me in, I can handle any hardship, even being crippled is nothing. Seeing his earnestness, Butler Huang turned his head and asked Cheng Dele, Big boss, what do you think? Cheng Dele turned to look at Sunju, who was sweating like a pig, and the system displayed information. Name, Sunju. Age, 26. Skill, excellent chef. Hidden attribute, unviewable. Done, Cheng Dele instructed. Keep him for now. Assign him to third-class rank. Sunju was overjoyed to be accepted, but still puzzled. He asked, Thank you, big boss. Thank you, General Manager Huang. What is third class? Cheng Dele said. You'll find out later. Have someone treat your injury first, and remember, this is your probation period. You'll be fired at any time if you don't perform well. Then he cleared his throat and called out, Next. Just then, Lin Xiaoyu entered and announced, Big boss, Lu Heng, led a liquor squad here, coming from Luoye City. Hearing this, Cheng Dele happily said, Oh, take me to meet him in the canyon. Cheng Dele hurried over, waving his hand and asking, General Lu, weren't you all supposed to be bringing birthday gifts to Wang Yuju? Why are you back already? Seeing him, Lu Heng replied, Yeah, we finished our business and came back, suspiciously asking, Doesn't seem like things went very smoothly. Hearing this, Lu Heng felt guilty and shouted, Why wouldn't it be smooth? It was very smooth, okay? The truth is, this time Lu Heng went to Cheng Yuju. Not only was it not smooth, but it was also terrible. Wang Yuzhao, Yang Longting is the actual ruler of this land. As for Xue Bangshuan, after usurping the throne, he eagerly hoped to get the support of Yang Longting, but there was something Xue Bangshuan didn't know. 3 years ago, the Westerners attacked Hanhu garrison, who died defending the city, buying time for reinforcements in the rear so they could repel the Westerners. At first, the commander of the reinforcements was Wang Yuzhao, Yang Longting. Now the two joined the army at the same time, fighting together in a squad for 3 years, and became brothers. Originally, Yang Longting still didn't know that Hanhu had died. It was Lu Heng's birthday gift that let Yang Longting know about it. He kept the birthday gift, killed several followers beside Lu Heng to threaten him, then let him go back to tell Xu Bangshuan to live carefully. He would start a war to attack Blackstone City, and personally make sacrifices before his fallen brother's grave, using Xue Bangshuan's blood. Of course, Lu Heng didn't tell Cheng Dele these things to avoid him laughing at his misfortune. At this moment, Lu Heng spoke up and asked, Why are there so many people here? What are you doing? Cheng Dele happily replied, Oh, our Camp Hamo is recruiting, good pay, full benefits. Want to join, General Lu. Hearing what he said, Lu Heng was dumbfounded, doubting his life, thinking, Are you kidding me? We're enemies, I always want to kill you, and you want me to be your mountain bandit? Seeing Lu Heng's attitude, Cheng Dele just sighed and said, All right then, hand it over, Lu Heng asked with a dark face. Hand over what? Cheng Dele held up 2 fingers and said, Anyone who passes through Mount Hamo has to pay 20 feen as a toll. We don't bully the old and the young. Hearing this, Lu Heng gritted his teeth in anger and said bitterly, Cheng Dangjia, I advise you to be kind. Don't bully people too much. Cheng Dele naturally explained. Hey, let's be clear, okay? I have a contract signed and stamped by City Lord Shu. The hell? Bullying people too much. Don't pin the blame on me. Lu Heng became more and more angry, shouting, I have no money. Cheng Dele put on a vile face, expressing, That's not right. Someone with a noble status like General Lu can't possibly not have a single coin. Moreover, our Camp Hamo has protection services for taking money. Hearing this, Lu Heng pondered. Protection services. The last time I provoked those mountain bandits, they couldn't protect me. They got found out and took revenge. If Camp Hamo protects me, maybe those mountain bandits will show some respect to Camp Hamo, but I really don't have any money now. Seeing Lu Heng hesitating like this, Cheng Dele suggested, If you can't, leave 2 people for him. Although Lu Heng was angry, he still had to bite the bullet, telling himself, If you can't endure small things, you'll ruin big plans. If you can't endure small things, you'll ruin big plans. After a moment of ideological struggle, Lu Heng took out a jade pendant, tucked in his waist, and said, Sorry. They are my soldiers. I have to bring them back when I take them out. This ancient jade is considered my toll. Cheng Dele stared at the jade for a while without saying anything. After a few minutes he curled his lips and smiled, cupping his hands, and offering, I will arrange for someone to take General Lu La down the mountain. Lu Heng also made a similar gesture, saying, Please. Cheng Dangjia, see you again in this world, see you next time. With that, he left with his teammates. Cheng Dele watched the army and thought, Next time we meet, I'm afraid we'll have to talk with weapons. Returning to Camp Hamo, most of the people who came to apply had already arrived. Steward Huang reports to Cheng Dalai. First boss, 5 or so people have joined the Hamo camp, with 30-odd remaining. Hearing this, Cheng Dalai simply commanded, "Clean up." Elsewhere, the Liu family members are gathered, chatting amongst themselves. I'm telling you, First Boss Cheng is truly righteous. We treated them terribly at first, but he still rescued us from the slave camp, and even prepared food and lodging for us. We repaid kindness with malice. We owe First Boss an apology. In the distance, Old Master Liu sits alone before the fire, silent. A moment later, he sighs, filled with worry. The next afternoon, Cheng Dalai slumps at his desk, looking like he's fallen asleep from exhaustion. Miss Liu tiptoes in, sees he's asleep, but gently calls out because she has something to say. First Boss Cheng Dalai, dazedly opens his eyes. Miss Liu sadly expresses, "Would you be willing to go down the mountain and speak with the Liu family?" In their hearts they're actually very grateful to First Boss Cheng. Cheng Dalai props his head up with his hand and casually replies, "Miss Liu, I'd love to chat with old man Liu, but as you can see I'm super busy here, really can't go. Some other time. Hearing him say that, Miss Liu can only remain silent and quietly leave. Cheng Dalai furrows his brow, thinking to himself, "You guys want a convenient stairway to walk down comfortably? However high you climbed, you'll fall down like that for me. It's all your own fault for climbing so high." As night falls, Miss Liu comes again, hesitantly saying, "First Boss Cheng Dalai asks, what brings you back?" Miss Liu holds out a scroll and says, "The Liu family is willing to offer me to First Boss Cheng, only asking that First Boss Cheng shows mercy and accepts the entire Liu family, big and small, giving them a path to survival." Cheng Dalai takes the scroll, puzzled, and asks, "Offer? In what way?" Liu Zihi silently closes her eyes, not answering. The meaning of offering is that if Cheng Dalai nods, he'll have ownership over Liu Ji. This power isn't in the sense of Liu Zihi becoming his wife or Cheng Dalai getting intimate with her, but rather like she's an object. Cheng Dalai will have both Liu Zihi's body and soul. He can have her tidy up the bedding, warm the bed, wash his feet, or even gift her to someone else. After reading the scroll, Cheng Dalai can't help but prop his head up, thinking, the Liu family's been forced to the end of their rope and thought up this lame way out, using Liu Zihi to buy their own safety. He originally thought that if he and Liu Zihi built a good relationship, the Liu family would show consideration for their young miss and wouldn't do this kind of thing. Dalai struggles to hold his face, lamenting. Looks like people always think of the darkest outcome first, even if Liu Zihi is pure. But even entering a brothel would be considered dishonoring the ancestors, and now she's become a bargaining chip, Trisk. But if he refuses, her situation in the Liu family will become even more difficult. After thinking it over for a while, Cheng Dalai finally stands up. Compromising, he pats Liu Zihi's head, saying, "Alright, they can stay." The Liu family members below the mountain feel like they've been granted amnesty, and start heading up the mountain non-stop. They haven't eaten anything for 2 days. Below the mountain, Yun Ziyu approaches Old Master Liu, suggesting, "Old Liu, let's head up the mountain too. It's getting late." Old Liu hasn't had a proper rest for days either. Old Master Liu replies, "Ha, you guys go ahead first. I'll go slowly, no rush." In the end, only 2 people are left on the path up, Old Liu and Yun Ziyu. Cheng Dalai turns back to look at them. Seeing Old Liu's steady steps, slowly approaching the camp, suddenly, he stopped, took off the headband and shouted, "Ancestors of the Liu family, Liu Muyun has come to see you." As he finished, he slammed his head hard on the ground, fresh blood splattering everywhere. Yun Ziyue cried out in panic, "Grandpa Liu." The others from the Liu family were also stunned. Cheng Dalai couldn't help but be surprised, thinking, so there really are people like this in the world, willing to die for so-called honor. He blurted out, "Old man, did you have to go that far?" As she must be resolute and shoulder heavy responsibilities on a long road. To consider benevolence one's responsibility, is it not heavy? To strive for an ideal one's whole life, is this road not long? The people of the Liu family, seeing this scene, all thought in unison, "You forced Liu Muyun to his death." Cheng Dalai glanced at the crowd's expressions, thinking, using his death to leave a thorn in their hearts, which will fester one day, becoming a hidden danger. Well, let's see how I pull this thorn out. Suddenly, the system sound rang out with the notification. Ding! Gained 10 fear points. Ding! Gained 11 fear points. Cheng Dalai frowned, thinking to himself, so that's how you get fear points. When others hate you, they're also afraid of you. Butler Huang saw Cheng Dalai standing still, deep in thought, and secretly wondered, what will First Boss say? Cheng Dalai looked dejected, feeling utterly bored, thinking, what to say? With this atmosphere, the old geezers cleared their throats and pompously said, "Bury old Liu, then take them to eat, bathe and sleep." The village was hanging upside down. The dark and gloomy space, along with a thick fog, arrived just in time. Cheng Dalai took a purifying bath and emerged from the bathroom, clean and fragrant. He picked up a basket, rubbed his hair, and entered the room.
Yan Jihong was already sitting on the bed waiting for our male lead. She sat gingerly on the edge of the bed, her eyes downcast, deep in thought.
Cheng Delay asked in surprise,
Why are you here?
Suddenly the system issued a notification. Ding. 188 fear points gained. Yan Jihong was startled and stammered. First boss. Master. She hesitated, unable to speak,
Quickly stood up, her eyes filled with tears,
and said pitifully, The old master has prepared foot-washing water. I will serve you to wash your feet. Cheng Delay heard this.
His face darkened, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and he replied awkwardly, Miss Liu, I think you've misunderstood. It's getting late. You should go back to your room and rest. Miss Liu's cheeks flushed red, not daring to look Cheng Delay in the eye, and she shyly asked, Does first boss not need a servant to accompany him? This question from Miss Liu left Cheng Delay utterly bewildered. His eyes widened, his mouth gaped open, and his face flushed red.
The basin he was holding fell to the ground with a thud, his expression weary,
and he sighed. No, absolutely not, Cheng Delay's blunt answer,
decisive,
without the slightest hesitation, made Miss Liu feel hurt. Her face fell, and her eyes were filled with despair as she asked, Does first boss despise my body?
Faced with this question from Miss Liu, Cheng Delay didn't know how to answer in a way that wouldn't make her overthink. His cheeks flushed red, and he thought to himself, Although people can get married at 14 in this era, she's still too young for me.
No way. If I stay here, I'm afraid I won't be able to resist. If you won't leave, then I will. And then he immediately left decisively, leaving Miss Liu feeling lost.
Miss Liu lowered her head,
her eyes glistening, her arms wrapped around her body, looking truly pitiful. Her voice trembled as she said, First boss, if you leave, I won't want to live anymore.
Hearing Miss Liu's plight,
Cheng Delay stopped, turned around, and asked, Is there a misunderstanding between us?
Miss Liu took out the hairpin from her hair and said sadly, First boss must despise me for having been in a brothel, accompanying people with wine. She pressed the hairpin against her throat with a look of despair, saying, This humble servant only has death as an ending. Cheng Delay rubbed his forehead in exasperation, wearily saying,
You misunderstand. I'm not criticizing you. Put the thing down first. It's just that you're too young.
Miss Liu innocently asked,
Where is? Cheng Delay was speechless, not wanting to continue.
Miss Liu bowed respectfully and continued, Great boss is a man of heaven and earth, of course, different from ordinary people in this world. Suddenly, her eyes sparkled as she looked up at Cheng Delay and added, But if you leave this room today, others will probably say that great boss is looking down on me.
Even as a servant, no one wants Liu. Cheng Delay listened, pondered, and then just, once? He stroked his chin thoughtfully. What she said isn't wrong. Words are scary. According to the concepts of this era, such things will happen, maybe already have.
Cheng Delay smiled, clapping his hands together with excitement, creating a small sound.
Miss Liu had been standing by his side, watching him.
The two began to let down the mosquito net and straighten out the bedding, and the important thing was a tea table placed on the bed in the middle to separate the two of them.
Cheng Delay quickly lay neatly in the warm, comfortable bedding, and he coldly said, Let's get this straight. You're not allowed to sneak over here tonight. I have my limits.
Miss Liu had already taken off her outer coat, revealing her thin, pale shoulders, but it still couldn't move Cheng Delay's heart.
After tossing and turning for a while, unable to sleep, she softly called out, Great boss! Cheng Delay looked like he was sleeping soundly, but in reality he couldn't sleep because he was too restless, and quickly replied with a question. Still not asleep.
Miss Liu confided in him.
Well, Liu has never served anyone before. Does Great Boss have anything I need to pay attention to?
Then the two of them talked all night long.
Cheng Delay said, Pay attention to? That's right, one thing. You need to drink more milk later. Hearing this, admin. I feel a bit awkward.
Miss Liu innocently asked. Shanzhu doesn't have cows. Cheng Delay continued to tease Miss Liu. Well then, eat more papaya. Miss Liu naively asked again. What is papaya? Cheng Delay despondently replied. Do more exercise. Increase your bust size. Having said that much, Miss Liu, such a naive girl, this inexperienced woman, still didn't understand the profound meaning. She asked again. Doing more exercise to increase bust size? What's that? Cheng Delay, looking bored, replied. Well, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Then Cheng Delay fell into a deep sleep, his expression tense, sweating profusely. Someone was trying to call out to him,